got my topics on Diddy. I got my points on Diddy.
Got you guys.
Oh, there.
Well, let's try not to drag it out.
No.
I got my 1 point.
I have mine. I don't need it thing on me.
really?
So yeah,
Oh,
if you want,
okay.
you can put it on yourself if you want.
No.
All right.
Was biting me?
Yes, and I killed it.
So
You can hear them?
I did for one yesterday.
Yeah, my favorite part. The dust and everything.
Let's do Diddy as the last song before random. We're going to start with that first, since it's fresh in everybody's mind.
Yep.
Hot topic. We'll start with that. It's the hot topic, and then we'll go to whatever it is.
All set? Okay, welcome to another episode of We All We Got, the podcast.
Yeah.
Hosted by my best friend here, DJ H2O.
Oh, I feel so loved.
I'm your one and only Crispy Brown.
The real CB.
We got special guests up in the building.
Our very first guest on
This
our podcast. And yes, they're ladies.
So
We don't discriminate.
So I'm going to introduce you to them all. This is Special K. Round of applause for Special K joining us for the first time. We got Prep Eagle to my left, also joining us for the first time. And to our right, we got Jazzy joining us for the first time. So we're humbled.
For all you young folks out there.
We're humbled. We're grateful to have you three beautiful, intelligent women on our show. We look forward to having your opinions voiced. And again, don't be shy. Speak what's on the top of your brain. Don't hold back. And we're here to discuss culture,
Yeah, we got
society.
editing for the stuff you don't want. So
There we go.
just let it go, and then we can deal with it later.
Right.
Anything that's on your mind, speak up. Don't hold back. Okay? All sounds good?
Yes.
All right. First topic. What do we got? We're going to start off with,
Well,
of course, it's on everybody's mind.
the hot case that everyone has been following.
The
Mr.
Diddler,
Bad Boy himself.
P. Diddy.
Mr. Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Sean Combs, whatever he goes
Whatever
by.
he goes by.
Daddy love this, love that, oil me up. whatever he wants to be called. So, yes, ladies, what's your opinion on, let's say, the verdict? Or
So,
the 2 out of 5 he was convicted on?
So let's set it up. So for those that don't know, that haven't been following it, Diddy was convicted on 2 of the less serious charges that he was charged with, which was prostitution, and I forgot the other one, but he's not going to jail for life, pretty much. So that was what was...
Still get jail time.
He's still going to get jail
But,
time. But the general consensus was that he was expected to go to jail forever for the rest of his life. That's not going to happen. For all those people that were voting against Diddy and for him to be banished into oblivion, unfortunately that's not going to happen. He might get a few years here and there, but he was
I heard he
convicted
could
of
still
the
get like 20.
But here's
With
my
these convictions.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
He
here's
might-
my question though. If Diddy was white, would he be serving the same jail time? Because Diddy's a freak. There's a lot of other freaks out there. And how were you even trying to charge him with racketeering when he was the only
Only one.
person that was charged?
So
Right? So is he guilty of being a freak? Absolutely. Is he guilty of some of the other stuff? Who knows?
So-
But if he was white, he would have been out of jail already. But because he's a black man who was powerful,
Or it wouldn't have been in the news as heavy because
Correct.
Weinstein wasn't in the news
I was
as
just
heavy.
about to say
Correct.
that. That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Even though I think he was convicted,
he
it's
was
not
convicted.
like, I don't even know how long he's gone for. I know nothing about the case except that, yeah, he had some charges, had a bunch of charges, and then he was convicted. That's it. You don't hear anything about that case.
Correct.
I mean, you could even go deeper, and I hate to play the devil's advocate, but I think his financial status also plays a role in that. Because I can...
Who, Weinstein? Or
No,
Diddy?
Diddy's. Because I can also say as a rebuttal,
Well, yeah,
that
we know.
if he was poor, if he didn't have the financial resources, would he even...
Get less sentence.
Would he get less time? You know what I mean? Would he have... Would he... Because they're thinking of him getting only 2 to 5 years. You understand? If somebody didn't have money, like if somebody was just a regular Joe off the street, they're looking at pretty much life in jail. Like,
Correct.
he had the resources to afford these lawyers to get this limited time if he's going to go to jail.
But here's the other thing too, right? So if Diddy wasn't Diddy, I'm not saying he's completely innocent
No,
because
he's
he
not.
did some bad things
Oh, yeah.
along the way. And, I got to hold him up for Pac. But anyways, that wasn't part of the trial. But if he was a white man, he would not be facing these lengthy jail times. And we need to be real, and we need to say, because of the color of his skin, because of the amount of money he has, I just think he pissed somebody off along
He did.
the way,
They
and
said
this
that.
is the result of it, right?
It was the whole the liquor thing,
liquor
with the
license.
whole liquor case with him feeling like they weren't was it putting his stuff out there, putting it out or selling it as well as the other ones.
Yeah, I think from again,
They didn't like that.
don't quote me on this, but I think he wanted to create his own avenue. I wanted to be separate from that other organization that he was teamed up with, right?
Correct.
So he wanted to create his own alcoholic beverage on his own name, on his own terms. And I think when he wanted to do that, when he started to do that, these guys said, you know what, no, you're going to stick with us.
But see, there's a trend that I'm noticing. Any black man who levels up to
Yeah.
a spot that white America doesn't think that they should be, they come tumbling down. So let's talk about Bill Cosby. Let's even go into Shannon Sharp right now, right? And then you've got Diddy. Every time a black man reaches a certain status, he needs to walk on eggshells, or somebody's gonna bring him down.
I think it's when they try to pass the white man. Kind of basically what you're saying, right? Like they're cool with you being here, but the moment you're like, and they know it that, wait, he has the people with him, whoever it is. Now, if they try and go above us, they'll do it, and they don't want this. This is what they don't want. That's why when you get here, they're like, oh, and all of a sudden.
So is it the same mentality as house nigger, field nigger, and you can't go past those stereotypes?
I think so, because they'll let you into the house as long as you're following what they're
The
doing.
rules.
And you're not trying to go past them.
But that
or
means
be
that
above
you're
them.
being controlled at any point given.
Oh, yeah, but that's
In life, you're controlled.
But it
You're
feels
controlled at
that's-
work. You're controlled everywhere.
what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
We're controlled.
That's right.
But let's not be naive to the fact that it's also, you can blame, I guess, the white man, quote unquote, but it's also our people that put us down to that level.
Absolutely.
Case in
Yeah.
point. Do you remember the interview with Shannon Sharp and Cat Williams?
Yes.
Cat Williams, which is a black man, he's a black comedian, he foretold that, listen, 2025 or 2024 are going to be the years that you're going to have a lot of secrets come out. A lot of these people are going to be exposed to the light. And he wasn't just focused on white celebrities. As a matter of fact, he was predominantly focused on black celebrities. P. Diddy being one of them.
Right.
So we can make the case that, the white people don't want us progressing or want us elevated. But it's also, we have to hold our own feet to the fire.
But that
Now,
also
But
he
does-
then,
that
can
all
I
does
ask you?
stem from
Can I
them.
ask you a question
Of
though?
course.
Do you think that was a prediction, like somebody was speaking through him, that this is what was going to transpire?
No.
So then I'm going to ask you another question. Do you think? So we're talking about America. So is it the same thing in Canada, where as a black person, male or female, there's a ceiling, and once you get above that ceiling, then there's reputation, or you're going to be penalized, like the counselor in Vaughan, who was about to become mayor, but something came out about him, so he couldn't run in the election.
That's what it is.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Okay.
You,
No,
listen, you raise, you want to speak on it?
Go ahead.
You raise,
I lost
you raise a very good point, right? But I also think that there's also and you could disagree, but there's also a stigma where we as black folks think that, listen, and this has to change, by the way.
Absolutely.
We can only reach this level because we know there's nothing else for us above that, right? Because we've been put down for so long by so many other ethnic groups, we think that, okay, you know what? I reached this plateau, I don't think we're going to go much higher. And I don't think that should be the case.
But I want to challenge you.
Yeah, go ahead.
We are our own worst enemies
Facts.
because the East Asian community, they support each other.
Absolutely.
The Filipinos and the Chinese,
every other
every
absolutely
other
supports each
ethnicity support each other.
Absolutely.
When a black person goes up, there's a black person trying to pull
Pull
them
them
down
down.
because they don't think, if it's not me getting to the top, I'm going to pull somebody else down. I got to be top dog. When can we all support each other as black males and females in this society and build each other up?
But you know where that stems from, though, right?
Don't tell me it's from slavery, because
Absolutely.
that's been gone for so many years.
Doesn't matter.
It's our own mentality.
Doesn't
No,
matter.
but it's in you.
ingrained in us.
It's in
Let me tell
you.
you something, right?
100% in you.
100%.
The main slave, like how slavery was then, is gone. But
Mhm.
it's the mentality. That's why we feel like when we get to a level, it's not that we can't go higher. It's that, someone's gonna stop us. Someone's gonna come for us. So let me just get to about here and stay cool here, which you shouldn't have to do.
Right,
You
but
should
I'm
keep
not.
going up.
So I'll give you an example.
And that's where we all gotta come together.
You're
I'll
one of
give you
the
an
few.
example. I was the first black female to be a route supervisor. I went through criticism. I went through bullying. But in my mind, I was like, I'm going to do this because there's going to be another black girl or another brown girl coming behind me who's going to see me and make this possible. Then I moved to another division where I'm still the voice of people who can't be that voice. But we have to determine in ourselves that we're going to break that ceiling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How many black doctors do we know of? How many black people are in the Guinness World Book of Records because they're the first? It's the mentality that we instill in our children and within ourselves.
So, in that aspect, I think that you have to wait for generations to change that narrative, right? Like,
And we need to be the first.
Let's start somewhere.
100%, right? But you can't expect it to be right away.
By the way,
No,
right?
but
And then, go ahead.
but that's the thing. A lot, especially now with society, everything someone wants to do something and want results right then and there,
Boom.
and it's not gonna happen.
Right,
Like,
we're in that
whatever-
microwave generation.
Whatever we want to happen for us isn't gonna happen in our generation.
It
But
might
we
not
gotta
even
start
happen
it.
in our
We gotta
kids'
start it now.
generation.
It's like your boy Pac said, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't. He. What was it? The spark. He may not be the one to start it, but he might spark the
yeah.
mind to start. So we just keep doing what we need to do. Someone might see it and be like, "Hey, I like that. Let me continue it." And as you said, we cannot worry about white man or whatever man is above.
That's right. It's
Stop
not,
it.
it's a white man. Honey.
You know they're gonna.
Not
You know
just a
they're
white
gonna
man,
say
honey.
stuff.
It's all
You know
human
stuff's
rights.
gonna come
Because
up.
because back in the day, like you can't say like Rosa Parks she had the same mentality as you.
Right.
Someone at some generation has to start a trend somewhere, right? So it takes that quote unquote leader or that person to start that trend. Because if you didn't speak up, right? If Rosa Parks didn't speak up, if all these people never spoke up, then we would have still stayed in that box,
Bubble.
that
Absolutely.
bubble, right? So I promote what you're doing, but I think that it makes more. We need more of a collective group to start their individual trends to change the narrative. That listen, there's many plateaus that we can reach, right? There's not a ceiling, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? But
No, absolutely.
going back to the whole Diddy thing, to your original topic, I don't think it boils. Me personally, I don't see it as a black and white. I more or less see it as either you're rich or you're poor. You can either afford to get off.
Rich and poor, but
Or you can't.
there is the black and white when you get.
There's
to
the
rich
black and
poor.
white and rich
It's
and poor.
in there no matter
It's
what.
no matter what.
I agree.
Always in there.
Because
but
if
you
it
have
was
to,
you with the baby oil doing all of that
Sure,
stuff, you
sure.
would have been in jail for life.
cool. But if I didn't have the money to afford those
Or
lawyers,
people wouldn't
Exactly.
care.
if I,
Oh yeah,
right.
absolutely.
But if I didn't have the money like he did to afford all those lawyers, would I be even seeing would I be seeing 1 or 2 years?
No.
Hell no. So you have to put money as a factor.
No, money is a factor.
Money-
but
money
we're
is a
saying
factor. Absolutely
They
it
both
is
go
a factor.
together when you get to that level, right? But the thing is, should you really like? What,
Should money be the factor when you're a criminal?
Absolutely not. Morally speaking, absolutely not.
he's a freak. He's a freak. There's a lot of freaks out there. It's just it's not put in the
He's
public
just a
limelight.
freak with
And the thing is, it's funny because everyone keeps saying, "Oh, we knew this. Oh, you knew this about Diddy. Oh, we seen this. Oh, there was all this."
no one
But
said
no
anything.
one tried to stop it.
Right. Everybody went to the all-white parties, and they
Everyone
knew
allowed
what
it.
the all-white parties were about.
And you allowed it because there's other people in the industry doing the same thing. Everyone knew about the party. Doesn't Jay-Z has his white parties every year? Watch. When they're really ready to go at him, all of a sudden you're going to hear stuff that were happening at these white parties. All of a sudden now it's a big deal that it's happening. But right now, it's not a big deal. Why is it not a big deal now?
I'm not asking around to
Because Jay-Z ain't trying to really...
Jay-Z's trying to stay under the radar because he separated himself from Diddy,
Or
right?
he's making his moves, but he's not trying to keep it quiet.
Absolutely.
Because that was Diddy's problem, putting it out there that he was going for the companies. If he didn't, none of this would have been.
But
coming
okay,
out.
but you can look at Jay-Z and Rihanna. How old was Rihanna when she started?
Yeah,
I'm just
but
gonna
there's a
leave
lot
that
of
right
them.
there. Yeah,
There's a lot of them that are
I'm
young.
just leaving that one right
And I
where
know
it
they
is.
have the story with her in the office saying how you're not leaving here. The only how you're leaving out here is through the window kind of thing. And it's now people want to make a big deal about it. Like, oh my God, that's so this and that.
But why do you think
Who doesn't
Rihanna's
talk
not?
like that?
But-
He wasn't really serious about going. He's just saying, "Yo, we want to sign you, and you're not leaving this office. If you're leaving, you're going out the window. That's only how you're leaving.
But why do you think Rihanna hasn't put out any more music? She went into her fashion. She went into something else because she doesn't want to have that stigma and everything else
Or just,
attached to it, and with Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? But
I think a lot of the artists though will leave the music if something else is popping for them. They'll put it on the back burner for a little bit and deal with it. Why? Because it's probably a little bit less work,
It's less
and
work,
you're
for
making
sure.
probably just as much or more
More.
than you going on tour. You gotta practice. You gotta rehearse. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. Right. So
Let me ask a quick round table question. If you're Diddy's lawyer, starting with you, Special K, if you're Diddy's lawyer, what would you recommend he do as a public figure right now? Would you want him to stay
Onto the
quiet?
next. I'll be the last.
Jay-Z
You
on to the next.
I'll be the last to
You don't put
answer
yourself
this
in that
question.
position. Okay, if you're
Put me
Diddy's
on
lawyer,
the
what would
spot.
you recommend he should do right now? Stay out of the public eye, start to make some music, still be entertaining. What should he do? Go on a comeback tour? What should he do?
I think he should stay out of the public eye, concentrate on his family because his family's severely damaged, like his children and stuff, and just rebuild that relationship and then come out with something else after. Now's the time for him to fall back and reinvent himself.
Does he fall back permanently and just stick out of the public eye completely? And when you say reinvent himself, should he can he still reinvent himself behind the scenes where like he comes out with, he can still do a liquor license or a liquor brand,
He
right?
has to be silent.
He has to be
He has
silent.
to be like a silent
Completely
partner.
silent.
Completely
partner
silent partner.
Don't show his
good while.
face.
That's it.
What I think he's going to do, this is what I think he's going to do for the public. He's gonna go into church, just doing things like organizing stuff, helping out his community, small things like that to get people's attention. Oh my God, he's changed. Oh, look at him doing something good, for himself, and then he's gonna try to get the audience back on his side.
Is that gonna help him? Do you think in the
No,
long run?
I don't think it will.
I mean, no, because people are gonna still talk. Oh, he's doing it for this,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
his whole purpose is he's going to try.
Well, let's
Do it,
going
but
to
don't
try.
have it put out.
That's what he's gonna
Let's
do.
if someone else
No, he's gonna,
catches wind
what he's
and
gonna do,
they
he's
report
going
it,
There you
to
go.
know what he's
Leave
going to
that.
do.
No,
He's
but
going
you
to
can't do
pay
that.
someone.
you can't do that.
He's gonna pay
It'll come out.
someone
You can't-
to record him
No, it'll
I know,
and
but-
It'll
sneak
come out.
it.
I don't think he'll pay someone to do it
I do think so.
because he knows people are gonna do it on their own. He might I don't think he has to pay someone. He has family. They'll do it themselves.
That's what I'm saying. Well,
They'll put it out there, whatever.
yeah.
But smart thing is to don't have family put it out there. Don't have no one you know. You kind of need the paparazzi to kind of put it out there for you. Someone who doesn't know you and connection to you that says, "Oh,
wow, he's doing something good.
he did this."
He's trying.
And even then, I think he needs to like completely be silent.
He needs
for,
to
like,
be
the next
washed in the blood
5 to
in
maybe
order for
10
anybody
years
to even think
and
anything.
do everything behind
Behind
closed
scenes.
doors.
I
absolutely
You
agree.
guys can say that though, but I'll give you an example. Look at Chris Brown. Everybody thought Chris Brown's career was
It's a
completely.
different,
Thank
but that's
you.
a whole
That's a
different
different
level.
thing.
That's
That
a
was a
different
whole different
mentality.
thing.
He's still young when that stuff
No,
came
but
out.
it
I
was a
don't think
whole
it
different.
matters the
It
age.
was a whole different scenario, and even Rihanna came out and said Chris Brown wasn't at fault for everything he
She
did
said she hit
because
him first.
she hit him first.
She attacked him
But
first.
it was Chris Brown was also aligned by Diddy because Diddy didn't like him, right? So it still goes back to Diddy if you go back into everything.
I'm gonna go back a
I
little
don't know
bit.
if I'll say he didn't like him because he tried to put them back together or let
No,
them.
he didn't because it
When
was
he let
Chris
him-
Brown didn't want to sign to his label,
But he let
and now
Chris
Chris
use his
is
house with Rihanna to.
right
mend
because
things.
because Rihanna was with Jay-Z, but when Chris was like, I'm not signing to either one of the two of you, everything went south. And now you look today, Chris Brown owns the label, his rights to all of his music. Nobody owns him. He's his own independent self, and that's what they didn't want.
Okay, so long story short, is it
Maybe.
no? We're gonna get to it. Is it okay to assume then that his way of his business acumen, his natural entrepreneurship, that part of P Diddy isn't over?
No,
No,
that's what I'm saying.
We
Stay
can agree.
silent with it.
yeah, it's
Right?
not
He's
over.
still
So
do a lot
so
of
he's gonna
things.
so he's still gonna be a moneymaker.
Of
So
course
his
he is.
career
That's his norm.
so his career isn't done. Okay. So what would you do? What would you expect? What would you want? If you're his lawyer, what would you want him to do?
I don't really care what the lawyer wants him to do. It's your family. The lawyer is whatever, but it's your If he really wants it, you gotta let you gotta do what your family wants, kind of thing right now. Like, I know his son makes the music here and there. He's gotta get his. He's just gotta stay quiet, man. Honestly,
Lay low.
Honestly,
Lay low,
this
lay
is
low,
it.
lay low,
Shut up.
lay
You
low.
gotta just stay in the cut, stay in the back. If there's stories out about you, don't
rebuttal.
say nothing. Don't
Let it die.
Let them say what they want. Let all that. You gotta stay silent for the next 5 to 10 years.
Yep.
Right?
I agree.
Remember your own quote. That Biggie says too. Bad boys move in silence. You gotta move in silence now, dog. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Stay quiet. Stay behind the scenes. Don't even come out. Even after 10 years, don't just stay. Let the people bring you back into the scene, if anything. But yo, you gotta.
And the one thing that we're
I don't know if he will because he's Diddy, but
Right.
hopefully he has learned. He's old now. But when he
Older.
came in, older, whatever, in the rap game, you're old. By the time you're 30, you're old. But yeah, he needs to just stay
Right?
in the
And
cut.
I think the one thing that we're missing is when it comes to we as Canadians, we're forgiving people, right? But specifically when it comes to Hollywood figures in the States, they're very forgiving of these people. Like they're seen as icons, right? They put them on a pedestal that they're almost, I hate to say it, but they're almost godlike,
Yeah.
right? So in the States, you can commit literally murder, and once time passes,
I've seen that.
you can still be praised as an icon and still live pretty much a good life.
Right, because everybody else's career is tied to that icon because he provides all of these jobs for people to live off. So wrong or right, they're still going to support him because they're getting an income for their family.
Right.
So it's that double-edged sword right there, right?
And there's tons of celebrities in the States where, yeah, something will happen, but within the next few hours, a next celebrity's gonna do something stupid. And the
There you
next
go.
one, here, we don't have
All we have is Drake.
anywhere near that.
have
Do
Drake.
we have
Stop.
Wait, do we really have Drake the way
Drake is
the
not-
way they treat him?
No, we don't.
The only thing
And
that
then we're gonna get mad when he doesn't want to do anything to Toronto. He doesn't bring out Toronto or.
But he does. Like, he brings out the 416. He
But
does
again,
it where he
it's
can.
because it's not being boasted. But then
Right.
if he boasted it, people would have been like, "Oh, why does he
But
just
here's
be
the thing.
quiet about it?"
Drake also takes Canadian talent under his wings,
Yeah.
and he promotes them, right?
Yeah.
So he puts them on tour with him. But because he's not American, the world isn't seeing it that way.
And because he's not literally putting the he's giving them the light
Right.
and putting
There
the
you
work.
go. Exactly.
People want him to do everything. That's why people, how come you didn't put this guy on? How come this guy's not blowing up? Because maybe their music isn't that great. Just because Drake likes you, that doesn't mean, or any celebrity likes you, doesn't necessarily mean you're just gonna blow. You're gonna blow up and be successful continuously through your career.
No,
You might have
because
your
there's
one
ups and
spot.
downs.
After they help you, you gotta keep it going. It's like someone gets you a job. Cool, they got you the job. You gotta work now. Like you have to actually do the work
Absolutely.
to stay there.
I can help you get through the door, but what you do after that is up to you.
Exactly.
Jazzy, what do you think? What do you think of Jazzy? What do you think?
Young
what,
Jazzy!
What do you think Diddy should do?
What are the young people saying about Diddy?
Because we're out of
First,
touch.
hold on. Before we even get there,
Right?
what do you know about Diddy?
I mean, I haven't been following the story that much, but like, I don't know. I think he should stay low. But I mean, I've heard like comments about this stuff, and I've heard some people say like, because he's like so connected with like other like artists who probably do the same thing or like who know about it. That's like why the case ended the way it did.
That's right.
Right?
Good point.
So like, I kind of
Let me ask you a question. So say we're using your age demographic as an example, right?
Okay.
So Diddy was he had a resume of signing young artists who weren't really privy to what's written or educated on to what's written in their contracts, right?
Yeah.
If you're
Hold on. That's everyday work.
okay, that's fine. Well, Diddy was more known
It
for
was more
that.
put out about Diddy.
Okay, fair enough.
That's all it was.
So at your age, right? If you want to start a music career, entertainment career, knowing Diddy's history now, right? I know you're not too detailed on the case and what's
Yeah.
going on, but you have a general consensus of what's going on.
Yeah.
Knowing who Diddy is, would you, as a young, budding, up and coming artist, want to sign with Diddy's label?
No.
No.
Why?
Why? Tell me why.
I don't
time, boys. Our time.
But you're in the limelight. Diddy's.
Doesn't matter. It's our time. That's how they're gonna look at him. That's our time. Unless the label has young artists right now coming up making noise, they're only gonna look at it as, oh, okay, he has one young artist. All right, that's great.
No, but let me ask you this question. So you're a young artist, and Diddy's gonna sign you, and he's giving you $5 million per year, and you have to produce 3 albums. Are you gonna sign with him?
Knowing his history.
Knowing his history.
Like, I don't know. Like,
Get yourself a great lawyer. Go through the fine print. That's what it is now. That's what it is
Yeah.
now. It's not a matter of just signing one. Now you can hold stuff against it.
exactly.
You know what to look for. You know. I've heard the stories.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
That's
signing.
probably also why, like, I don't know, like, I wouldn't want to. I feel like he has a bad reputation, and some people.
He does with that.
Right?
So
A lot of
you'd put
labels
his reputation over the 5 million? Let's be
Yeah,
honest
it
now.
might be
It's 5 million.
it might be
$5 million
Yeah,
per year.
but that,
Between.
you gotta know, is that 5 million yours? You gotta work. You gotta pay it back. You got
Yeah,
there's things
exactly.
behind it.
Like, I feel like.
It's more than what you're making now.
Yeah, you still gotta.
But
pay
she can
it
make
back.
that. She can make that signing with someone else if she's that
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
Fair enough,
Like,
but
if-
nobody has
if-
a name like Diddy.
Okay, but
Or
But
the
that
re-
name,
or
though,
the
what is
res-
that
or
name
the
now?
resources.
But
What
yeah,
is that
like,
name
if
worth
Diddy
now?
would really want
Exactly.
that
You gonna sign to
bad,
R. Kelly?
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
R.
His
Kelly,
name
if
is
R.
now
Kelly gets
gone
out,
down.
R. Kelly gets out.
Okay, I'm not the one.
He starts making music again.
I'm not the one being questioned. We're asking.
Oh,
we're
you
asking-
be
we're
questioning
asking- we're
now.
asking
No,
the young
you
one.
be questioning
No, we're
now.
asking the young one. You answer.
What do you know about R. Kelly?
You don't want to know about R. Kelly.
Do you know any of his music, or do you just know that about a case?
I don't know anything.
Okay. she's
Okay,
right.
I
see,
know, like, some of
that's
his
why I can't ask.
You were probably a product of R. Kelly's music. You never know. Go back and ask your parents. Over your head.
You were conceived to some convicted people. It's like,
I
oh,
Not-
I didn't
not-
sign up for this.
Not convicted people.
Yeah.
People that were very good at making.
If it's R. Kelly, it was
music.
convicted people.
Oh my god.
He's saying in another context.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just
Okay.
stop that.
So you wouldn't sign to the
Poor girl.
I don't think so,
You
no.
wouldn't.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fair.
Which
All
was
right, that's
a
fair
lot of
answer.
people wouldn't, so
Yeah.
don't feel no ways about that.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're done with Diddy then.
Yeah, Diddy's over.
Diddy done.
Diddy done. Done. Diddy done. Diddy done.
What's next on the
Okay,
docket?
well, since we're on the Diddy and we're on the like entertainment, we'll keep. Look at the social aspects of life.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna have a little fun here.
Mhm.
All right. Which talk show back in the day was must see TV? Okay, I'm gonna give you 7 options. Ricky Lake, Jerry Springer, Oprah, Geraldo, Jenny Jones, Maury, Montel Williams. Now, before we continue, understand? You don't need to partake in this because you probably don't know any of these except for Oprah. I don't even think you're able to. I don't even think you're able to watch any of these because they're all done, right?
On TV.
So you can just, listen up in this
Yes.
portion if you'd like.
Yes.
You can
By the
chime.
way,
You can chime in and ask questions.
Yeah.
You missed
You know?
you missed a good part of television.
Yeah,
Yes.
no,
You
like,
missed out.
I feel like I've seen like some clips like going through like
Jerry
online.
Springer?
Yeah.
You know that name?
Yeah, that one,
Okay.
yeah.
Jerry,
Yeah.
Jerry, Jerry.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I don't know like anything about
Okay.
it, but like I'll listen.
Okay, what's up the
All right.
round
So
table?
they're the veterans here.
Special K. Favorite talk show, girl. Favorite talk show. Come on, listen up.
Or out of those 7,
Out of
which
that
is your
bunch.
like? Oh, I'm
Which one's your
definitely
favorite?
watching this.
What's it again?
Okay, we got Ricky Lake, Springer, Oprah, Geraldo, Jenny Jones, Maury, and
Maury.
Maury?
Maury was one of them.
Why?
I just
Want
like
to
the
find out who's the
reactions.
father, eh?
Yeah, I just like the reactions of every time that one scene. You are not the father.
The track and field race
And the
behind
run
the stage.
that they made and on the ground. That was it for me. I was like, yup, this is the best show ever.
Did you think that majority of it was real, or was it majority theatrics?
Oh my gosh.
Did
think
you
it's
want
half and
to
half.
believe that it was real?
I think it is probably half and half.
Really?
I do. I think all TV shows are, you have the real and then the over the top.
Let me ask you
Just
something.
to keep it going.
Keeping on murder, let me ask you. Did you find fault more on the women or on the males when it came to that? You are not the father. You are.
Oh, 100% the women, because I mean,
Really?
you do know what you're doing.
The father. that were told not to follow me did jumping up and down and said, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, in your face, in your face, in your face." Do you think that was
Wanted?
Yeah. or needed?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. Absolutely. Now
Really?
you have me on
You accuse me and you're
national
wrong?
television.
Yeah.
You have me on national television to be humiliated, to come to find out that I'm not the father, and you've been having me pay child support all this time. Oh, I'm jumping up. In fact, I'm doing spinners, twists,
May I do
everything
something
you
properly?
name. Absolutely.
I didn't
You
expect
have
that.
me on national television
Okay. I didn't
being
expect that.
humiliated.
No, so as a mother of two boys, if they had to go through that and they're not the father,
Oh, man.
I think the female should be charged.
Oh.
Right? Of
Criminally.
course.
Wow.
Because I have a
100%.
nephew who was charged with something, found out on the stand the woman lied,
Yes.
and ruined 3 years of his life.
Mm-mm-mm.
Like, at what point do we hold people accountable for their own actions?
That,
Yeah.
That's a
yeah,
good point.
It's,
I didn't
it's
look at
easy
it.
to just throw
That's a
the
good point.
accusations
That's
out there when
right.
there's no repercussion for it. If there's nothing going to happen, that okay, are you this true or are you making this false? If it's false, and we
And
find
here's
out.
the thing, too. As a woman, if you're laying down with multiple partners, you should not accuse anybody unless you're 100% sure and you've done the DNA that
Yeah.
that person is the father.
And you let them know, hey, you might not.
Yes.
Like, you have to be woman enough because you lay down with all of them. Hey, you know what? You might not. But I'm going to bring you on the show to see. Don't
And the
tell
only
them
difference
that they're
is
right
if the
and then-
person was raped, but if
Oh,
you
yeah.
willingly lay down with multiple partners and you have no idea who the father is, don't randomly pick somebody.
Yeah,
Mad
and
at them
then
when they don't
demand
want to
it.
accept it.
Exactly.
The best part I liked is when they brought up to the screen. Look at the nose.
It's eyes.
Look at this.
No, but there was an episode where the male got him and said, "That's a white man's nose." That ain't my nose. That's a white man's nose.
Yo, one of them tried to compare and said, "Oh, the baby's penis is just the same size as the father's." Some nonsense like that. I was like, "Oh my god."
So,
We're not doing
but
this
that, but
right
that
now.
was the point. Like that, there was a part where I thought this is just for the theater. Like this
It
can't,
has to be
this
real.
can't be real.
Yeah.
At a certain point, yeah, they
Or they
Some of
put
it's
certain
theatrics.
they've written the script.
Yes.
Yeah.
they like tell them,
Yeah.
you know, you can be a little,
Might be true
a
story.
little
That's right.
dramatic.
But it's
with
like,
it.
I'm gonna add
Add-ons.
this
Yeah.
to
Exactly.
this.
Exactly.
So it sounds funny and
Exactly.
like get the attention. I really do think it's real
Yeah.
live stories.
But
True
there's
stories.
additives.
But it's just it's written.
What about you? What was your favorite show?
So that would be Oprah and Montel Williams. And when I was a little on the sketchy side, it would be Jerry Springer because I wanted the theatrics.
You wanted the ratchetness.
The ratchetness.
So if you were, here's a good question. Here's a good question. Ready? Of those three, which show would you be on?
Depending on what you're looking for.
I would
What
be
show
on
could you see
Oprah
yourself? You could see
because
yourself
I
on
want to get the house or the car. I want to get something substantial.
Help me out in life.
Help me out in life. Level me up to where I am.
Give it a
right?
sad story. So, you know,
Yeah.
by the end of it, hopefully she'll hook me up. I
There
get
you
you.
go.
And
I get you.
Oprah catered to a specific quote unquote audience. Right? You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't the same audience as Ricky Lake or
No.
Jerry Springer.
No.
I think, to be honest with you, I think Oprah catered to one audience, but she was that one host that everybody could still listen to. You
Absolutely.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? Any demographic.
Any demographic, it was women in that demographic or older people, and it didn't matter your nationality. She catered to everyone,
That's
right?
That's right.
The reason I think she catered to everyone, hopefully it doesn't come out bad or
It's gonna come out
terrible.
It's gonna come up back.
Of course it will. Someone say,
Just because of that pretense. It's gonna come out
just for
back.
that, so it's gonna come out, and you can fight me on it, but I think it's because of her looks, and she wasn't typical pretty reporter.
Was that pro or con? Sorry.
I'm saying it's a pro. Some people look at a con, but I think it helped because people looked at her and could relate to her more. That especially when she went up and down in her size,
I see what you're saying.
Okay,
and
now
still
I can
was
understand.
commanding
Yes, attention.
attention from people. It was
Gotcha.
like, oh, look at this woman. She's not 110 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes, out here.
Gotcha.
She's doing, and I'm gonna watch her because I can relate to.
It's like
And
a,
she's
like a,
giving away freebies to people.
And then that too.
And
then
she
she
had
was
the
black,
book club.
which
And
made
she-
it even.
Yes, and she was educated.
Yes.
And you knew about her struggle coming up and what
Yes.
she went through, and she still did movies, and she was a talk show host.
Yes.
So she was
That's
like
what
that
I'm
quote unquote every woman type of thing.
Yeah, she was that everyday girl.
This is where
Everyday
the,
woman.
her look worked for her when you
Yeah.
thought maybe it wouldn't, and I bet she probably thought it wouldn't. She'd probably just be, you know, a regular, maybe a news reporter or something like that, or the talk show would be on for a little bit and then just die off. But
Seasons after seasons, she was still there.
How long
And
was she
when
on for?
and when Oprah
So
does a
long.
tour, like when she did it with Michelle Obama, it was sold the minute it went. The tickets went on sale. They were sold out within 5 minutes. So
What was Ricky Lake about again? I'm trying to think.
Ricky
Ricky
Lake
was
she
like
was like
everything.
that.
What was
She
the
was
show
that.
about?
she
You know,
was everything.
yeah,
What was the show again? Like,
it was a talk, but she was like
Talk show also.
she was like
About-
that bridge between Oprah and
Yeah.
Jerry.
Jerry, yeah,
You know
she
what I
was
mean?
the
She was like that
middle,
media.
middle.
Yeah.
Like she was the ratchetness, but also the serious tone, serious
Yeah.
topics. and everything. So I think from Ricky Lake, then you got the Jerry Springers and the Maury type of stuff, right? She was like that middle type. She was like a Jenny Jones, pretty much.
Yeah.
That middle.
Middle of the middle.
Yeah. Me personally, if I had to choose one,
Yeah, Monta Williams. You look like it.
I have to
You
go
look
with.
like him. What?
Listen, we both have bald heads, so
Woo!
if I look like him,
Both said
you
no.
look like him.
Because of
So
the earrings and the
I
bald
look
head.
nothing
we're
like
on,
a
we're on,
Monta
we're on the
Hands
same boat.
down.
We're on the same boat. If I had to choose one, I gotta say Jerry Springer. I like the ratchetness. Listen, when Johnson was over, what time did Johnson finish? 2:45.
Bro.
I sprinted home on the TTC. 45 Kipling up in the house. 45 Kipling. I sprinted home on that bus, and I made sure Channel 4, 3 o'clock. I was sometimes arrived late, so I'd count. Miss 15 minutes.
Watching repeats?
I don't care if it was
Yeah, I was
repeats. I
talking
don't
repeat.
care what it was.
Because it was
Jerry-
10 o'clock for the fresh live
Live,
things.
yes, that's it.
10 o'clock p.m. I
Listen.
was in front of the TV.
Listen.
Click,
Listen.
I swear I was in the crowd too.
Let me tell you how my mom, God bless her soul, she used to start work at 4 o'clock. And I would hope that she would leave by 3:30. So I can catch a good portion of Jerry Springer. Because I love that. Jerry. Now, I knew most of those fights were staged, but I did
Right.
not care.
So then
The wigs
why do you
coming-
get mad at me when I'm watching my Love and Hip Hop?
Because we know that's
my
fake.
this stuff.
Because we know that's fake.
You know it's fake, eh? You know it's fake.
Listen.
I'm like, but I love this show. This show is that.
Right.
Why?
But
It's
but
dumb.
okay, but the age of how old were you? 14, 15? We thought that we okay, this is authentic. What? That really happens? Now that we're of an older demographic, like we know what's fake and what's real. Like if
It's like wrestling.
right, if Jerry Springer came on today,
Whoa! Wrestling is real!
It's fake. Fake.
It's real fake, but it's real.
Fake. It's fake.
Those
I
are
mean,
real
people can
injuries.
get hurt. Yeah, people can get hurt.
They do get hurt. I know. I know.
But
I know.
they fail to
But
fake it out.
It's fake as in like the results and stuff. But when a man's getting slapped, they're getting slapped.
They get
They're
slapped.
feeling that.
Not
stuff.
really, because they're
See?
going with the body to the floor.
You
but
cross
they
the-
might make a mistake and
You
not
want-
go with it.
But that,
V?
And then they get hurt.
that's crucial.
V?
These guys that got that
V?
tombstone.
hold on,
And
no,
the net
V,
is too
V.
far.
That's
You
why
crossed,
get roasted.
you crossed the line right there.
Don't let
You
me
cross
tell
the
you
line
what,
with
wrestling
DJ
is
Shaw.
real.
Wrestling is real. Get it straight. Don't get it twisted. Okay?
Those are real people doing real things.
Apologize. You gotta
I'm not
apologize.
apologizing. I'm
You
not
gotta twist your
apologizing.
leg to the right, so go with it.
There
And
we go.
scream.
No, listen. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it because just like everything else you watch on TV, that's
It's
also
all
fake
fake.
too.
100%.
Point.
Yeah,
On
right.
It's all
yeah,
fake
you're right.
too.
Yeah.
No, but it was a
We
good
do
thing.
know this, though.
We know.
No, now.
But in
now.
the
but at that time,
time.
I was 14 or 15, I'm
Yeah,
watching
when
Jerry
you're
Springer.
younger, no.
I really thought that was real. Like, I
Yeah.
would say, yo, Jackson, I'll call you. Yo,
I
did you
know.
see that Jerry Springer episode?
I
Can
do
you
some of
believe
this
that?
stuff. You do some of this stuff.
Trying to say,
No, but like
Not
even
that-
with
you
We're
wrestling,
just
trying to say-
gullible, babe.
you
Not
matured,
that
you
it's
matured
not
faster than I
that,
did.
not that it was.
We grew up at the same age, bro. You thought some of it was real.
I
Don't
went
lie.
darker fashion these days, so of course.
Whatever. You knew some of
Oh,
it
here
was
we
real.
go to dark and light
You
now.
knew
Let's
some of it
not
was
do
real.
this.
You
okay?
knew some of it was real.
I'm gonna sit.
Woo!
Real as in what sense?
If I'm seeing someone get up
Oh,
and throw a punch at somebody, right? If
Oh,
you're saying
yeah.
if you're saying wrestling, remember the age. If you're saying wrestling is real, at
Oh,
that
no,
point
those
when
are
I'm 14 or
the
15, I'm
attacks were
saying,
real,
that's what I'm saying.
but this, you know what? I watched.
Well, how
I
can
watched.
the
Listen,
storylines be fake but the punch is real?
I
doesn't make any sense.
I watched the Jerry.
Then see,
Springer,
if I'm punching somebody, the storyline better be real.
I watched the Jerry Springer documentary. It's on Netflix, and they talk about some of the stories and stuff. They're not made. They're not
Made up 100%.
People actually call them.
Yes, that's
with
right.
those stories.
That's right. But they do
But there's
write
certain
their
there's
script.
certain there's
They
certain
pad it
things-
up, let's say, to
Yeah.
make it
Or
great for
they'll
TV
come
and
there
the
and
ratings.
they'll tell them one thing about this person, and
That's
so
right.
the story isn't fake, but certain things that the
Yes.
person
Add
might
it on.
hear
Yes.
might be a
Yes.
lie, or
Yes.
someone might tell them something
Yes.
before they go on,
It's like
or
baddies.
they don't know what they're
It's like
gonna
baddies. There's a show. It's you know,
Yeah, I
baddies,
know what you're talking
baddies
about, yeah.
club, whatever.
Or
So there's things like it's all real. Like these girls are ratchet, but there's things that they add in. Like
Yeah.
okay, you know that girl
Drummed
this
up.
thing, drama to make like drama happen, and they even like gossip and say, hey, this person said this about you, just so the stuff.
I get it.
It's like the
I
Real
get it.
Housewives. Some of the stuff is real,
It's real.
but some of it is
100%.
added on, right?
Yeah.
or they'll tell them, okay,
Do
make
this.
this a problem.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
I could sit here and
Someone
I do
steal my
this.
toe.
right, and I go like this. She's gonna turn over now and whisper to you. You think that why?
It's instigation.
I think
That's right, instigated.
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
you watch these things. I'm listening. You're
Why
really
they
getting
fight
upset
over
about
About this, yeah.
That's what you're getting upset
Yeah.
about.
But here's
But
the
then
thing.
you know,
That's what's
TV.
selling TV right now. Everything is reality
Drama.
TV and
Everything's drama.
or the ratings aren't high.
Drama.
and it's
Like
funny
in-
because everyone will watch it and be like, "Why are you getting mad? What did you do? You should do this, you do that." But bet you if they did exactly what you said, you're gonna sit there and like, "This is boring."
Yeah.
So to pull Jazz into this, there's somebody in your area who's streaming for 24 hours, and he's got
Kai.
how many Kai?
Kai
How
Sanat.
many
Kai Sanat.
millions?
Kai, we want
of
you on the
views?
podcast.
How many millions of views just watching him do his day-to-day life?
Yeah.
But this is the reality of where we are right now.
Would you watch Kai Cenat or what's another popular one?
I don't know. You need to.
What popular she was in?
I'm not gonna front.
Okay, there's a lot, but like I don't watch them either.
Okay,
Would-
Yeah.
that's cool. You don't watch them, but
Yeah.
do you know who the popular ones
Yeah,
are?
like
Do you hear
I've
about them?
seen, like
If you got Palia out here, Palia will tell you all of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel
Leo, we need you on the podcast.
The young generation, I'm telling you.
I feel as if unfortunately your generation, Jazz, unfortunately,
Yeah.
they're more into whatever sells, and that's what we're gonna produce.
Yeah.
I think
They're the
I don't want-
microwave generation.
yeah, I mean I wanna say back in our day there was a little bit of a moral factor in there. Probably not as
My
much.
generation had it all.
Oh yeah, you go up with the
And us
Donahue.
too.
Donahue.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Donahue?
Yeah, they had some. They couldn't get away with half the stuff they could get away with now.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think? What was your favorite talk show?
Out of those?
Yeah.
Jerry and Jenny.
Jenny.
I'll watch
Why-
Oprah.
why-
I'll take an Oprah.
Jenny Jones.
I'll take an Oprah because she was at 4:00 prime time. So you'll take it in. But I'm not rushing. It was just 10 o'clock. I had to be there.
I'm not gonna hear it. You know you had a crush on Oprah. Don't lie.
You keep insisting
I
this.
know. I know you had.
Are
a
you
crush on
projecting?
I know you had a crush on
Are
Oprah.
you projecting?
I know you had a crush on
No.
Oprah. I know you had a
Oprah
crush
was
on
not my crush. Her money was my crush. Oprah was not my crush.
I'm gonna give you two
My
cents.
Like I said, like we talked about last time, I will be called Oprah's man if I'm taken care of like that. I will change my name to Oprah's man.
Oh my
So
god.
you'd be
Mr.
Oprah's sideman.
I will be.
No,
we
Oprah's
talk
man.
about, I will be
No,
Stedman.
Oprah's man.
I will be
I know
Stedman.
that.
Yes.
No, she's
Oprah.
not.
No, you said man.
No,
I will
but
be a Stedman.
Oprah because she's got Stedman, which works.
will
He
be
would
him.
be the sideman. He'd be the side after Stedman because she's not
Oh
giving
wait,
up.
we
Stedman.
open up a whole okay. What we doing here? What we putting here? What we doing? So Oprah seen me sitting in the crowd and she's like, I want a little bit. I want to sample a little bit of that later on.
A little bit of the young thing.
All right, so I'm single.
It's
Right?
a young thing.
So I'm single, so this don't matter right now, right? Okay, so I'm not.
Pretend,
This has
pretend,
nothing.
Pretend.
So I'm
Okay,
completely
let's be
single.
clear.
I haven't met my wife. No, I don't know her. I'm a young American in Chicago and in the crowd, and Oprah's like, bring him backstage for me. Stedman. Sorry, bro.
Yo, Stedman, you
If Oprah says, listen, I need you to keep it quiet.
Zip, zip.
That's a perfect segue to our.
So you're gonna keep it quiet?
As long as the money is flowing,
Karen, no, listen.
Who
Karen,
am I?
If
I'm
you're,
a
no,
nobody.
If you're single
Okay.
and you're in a relationship with somebody and they're famous and they're saying keep it quiet,
Yeah.
but they're buying you the house, the car, they're shelling you
So
the
you're gonna be
money.
quiet.
Are you
Quiet.
gonna be quiet? Are you gonna be quiet?
I
No
will
one
not be
knows me.
quiet.
Okay.
No one knows
I'm
who
not
I am.
quiet. I want to be known.
Even if they have a picture
I
of
can't be
me and
second.
Oprah and,
Nope.
and
It wasn't me, right?
unconvincing.
I cannot be
Call
second.
me
Maggie, it
shy.
wasn't me.
I mean, you sure that's me? Yeah. All you see is this part. We're trying to say all black people look the same? Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh
All you
my
see is this
God.
portion. Right? All you see is this. How you know it's me? How you know it's me?
You know that's considered a gold digger, right?
Listen,
Okay.
Play the song.
Okay.
at
I'll
some
be a
point,
gold
in,
digger
at
by
some
me.
point in time, men have to play that role too.
Exactly.
Some point in time.
And there are a lot of men,
Facts.
not just women now,
100%.
that play that role and
100%.
play it
Well,
properly.
100%.
That's why women can cheat.
And I'd have to say, I know,
Or they're better at it.
I know we're going back for it, but
They're
Because
just gonna-
men will
Man
shut their
chat too
mouth.
much. Man chat too much.
do you think so?
No. If the woman doesn't say something stupid to him or make him feel maybe less of a man in a way, then he might brag. But if you just be like, listen, you get this, and keep it on the side, don't say nothing.
But
you
what
know
about
I mean?
those barbershop talks? Where men brag about their conquers and their conquests.
In the
But
book,
he'll know.
Slip
But the
of
thing is,
summer,
but you see the thing is,
girl.
he may.
He's gonna keep it quiet because he's
He
getting
may
money.
know. He may know who. If you know who the man is, and you're all in the same area, you don't have to. He'll keep it quiet to an extent because he's not in it emotionally. He's getting the pumps, and that's probably his thing. Now, if he catches feelings, that's where he might start yapping.
Because when men catch feelings, they get hurt worse than a woman on any single day of the week.
That's why if you keep it strictly to that and let them know, then they'll keep it silent. But that's why when a man tries to cheat with a woman, can't, because to him it's just sex. To her, majority of the time, they have.
So
and
can
they're
I ask you
giving
one question?
it up because they have feelings.
So can I ask you a question? In 2024, 2025, do you think that's now reversed?
100%.
As in, wait, is what?
Men are catching feeling and women's just like, oh, it's just a thing.
Men have always caught feelings. It's just now they're gonna. It's okay if they say it because some women will allow it, but most women might
allow
bite
what? Most women would allow what?
because they want the man to be in touch with their.
Femininity.
I don't want to say feminine
Feelings.
side. Their emotions with the sadder side, not the macho raw.
But more
They
so,
want the-
to answer your question, look at the role that females have taken these days. Like, if you look at the entertainment, I'm just using entertainment as an example. You look at artists like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, and they have this strong persona, like this domineering persona, right? So I think organically it actually has shifted, right? Where females are
That
taking
aspect, yes.
that strong role. I think to a certain extent it's actually done them more harm than good, right?
And why is that explained?
Well, if you look at people, like I said, if you look at people like a Nicki Minaj or Cardi B, me personally, I don't have any respect for them, right?
Why?
The songs that they sing,
Okay.
the
So
way that they go about themselves. Look at Cardi B for example right now. She thinks that she's moved on in a relationship and she's holding all the cards. But if you look, someone looks back and says, "No, you actually look like you're being tossed from person to person. You don't look like a dominating figure at all. To me, she looks like
That's your opinion, though. That's
No,
what
wait, I'm
everyone
going to
else
ask you a
feels.
question. So, what about a woman who's climbed the corporate ladder properly,
yes,
has her own house, her own things,
without doing
everything
anything
else?
to get to it.
Right, without doing anything to get to that level.
That's right.
Why is it that that individual is more single than somebody who has nothing to a man?
Because a lot of men have their egos, and they don't want to be my woman is running this. It's still the whole man has to be
Traditional.
the dominate
Traditional.
one. They have to be running the relationship. They have to be this and that, and it's foolish to me because you're supposed to be a team.
Correct.
And yes, okay, there's leaders on a team, but there's different leaders on a team.
But
Right?
who's
If you
to
look at a
say?
sports team, how many? There's different
There's so many
levels of
leaders.
leaders.
There's so many
Yeah.
leaders, and it depends on what game: offense, defense, special teams.
And sometimes that person, okay, you may own the team, but at a certain moment, you're not leading it. It's the person on the court doing the work right now is leading it. So yeah, you could be the man, you have the money, but if the woman is going out, taking care of the kids, taking care of the home, and she goes and gets a job too, and all you have your job, you make your money, but that's all you're really doing. You're not running the household, really. In my sense, it's the woman that's running because she's doing everything.
The woman runs the world.
With that,
I know.
we say that, but then why? Hold on. Hold on. I'm not against what you're saying. I'm not against that. Women do run the world.
Oh my god.
But it's also with the aspect of they need to come together because I hear too much women. I don't have women friends because women talk too much. I don't hang with women because women this. I don't, and it's like,
But here's
wait,
the
how are you? We run the world. We're the greatest, but now you don't even want to hang with each other, or you turn on each other, or it's this and that.
Okay,
To
so let
me,
me
it's almost
explain.
like it's almost like the black thing. Like, yeah, we want to be up here, but then the moment someone's up here, we're tearing them down because I need to be there.
But what I meant was women
Yeah.
run the world, even when they're with a man who financially isn't at the same grade. If that man is a man, they have no problem submitting to that person because they've got the quality and the integrity to do what they need to do.
But I think a lot of them don't. Because
And
they
the problem
feel
is, in
they have the
2025, a lot of men don't have it because they're looking for women to carry them along. Not you two.
I get what you're saying. No. I get what you're saying.
Not
I get
the
what you're
two
saying.
of you on this podcast or the cameraman, but there's a lot of men and they're looking for a woman to provide, do everything, and they sit and play video games all day. And then when their woman wants to go out, they've got an issue.
Shout out to my video games though.
And no one plays video
Ain't
games,
nothing
but
wrong
that
with
can't be the only
Come
thing
on,
you're
come
doing.
on. We have an audience here.
But you're saying that can't be the only thing.
That can't
got
be
you,
the
I got
only thing. Like, here's the thing. Society's shifted and morphed in so many ways that there's a lot of dad moms who stay home, take care of the house, do all of that things, and shout out to them.
I'll be
You know
if
what I
needed,
mean?
I would be.
If that's what it takes to raise your family,
Yeah.
because it's very hard to say that you're putting your children into daycare, having somebody else watch them and instill those values. However that priority needs to shift, we just have to own it and work through it.
But let me ask you something. How long would you, as a woman, how long would you be comfortable with that role? So say your man was the stay-at-home man, and you were the breadwinner for that family. How long can you actually mentally and physically sustain that and be okay with that?
If the man is true to who he is,
Yeah.
and we're taking care of the household
Yes.
and everything in the household,
Sure.
it doesn't matter how long it is because we're a partnership. It doesn't matter who's bringing in the most amount of money. As long as we work as a partnership and we're a team and our family's whole, that's all that matters.
Now,
Uh-oh.
we'll touch you first. In an argument, are you
No.
throwing that in his face?
No,
Thank you.
I'm not the person to throw something in a man's face.
I do this, I do that, I do that.
No,
So if
because
he comes to you and says, yo, and he's, bitch, go clean it. Go
No,
clean the
like-
dishes.
like if I'm the breadwinner and we are on a budget and we're doing what we're doing and you need money for whatever, it's our money. It's not my money. As long as you're not going out and buying a Lamborghini and the J's that just dropped for $800 and the rent hasn't been paid.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's
Obviously.
irresponsible. But if the rent's paid, all our bills paid, and you want those new J's that drop, sure, go for it.
Okay, so young in here. We're gonna ask you this question.
we need a voice of the generation.
Now listen, you're coming up. Scratch the situation you're in right now. Okay? You ain't got no man. But now,
Okay.
man, a guy is talking to you or whatever, and you're in a relationship. Now, would you be okay with being the breadwinner?
Yeah.
That didn't sound.
You don't
That didn't sound too strong.
That didn't sound too comfortable.
Okay, we'll put it in. Okay, he's not He's not lazy.
Okay.
He doesn't have a job, okay, but you guys don't have no kids, but you have a place together. Keeps the place. He does look for work. It's just
It's hard.
whatever reason,
Can't
it's
get
hard
it.
for him to get one.
Yeah.
But he is work. He does do stuff around the house. You know,
Yeah.
keeps it proper. You come home, hey, yo, this made for you. You know, roles in reverse basically.
Right?
Would you
It has to be a cooked meal.
see that? We already can tell the difference in generations. See how she burnt up?
Don't
Don't
cook
cook
this.
me.
This, but
Cooked
Jazz,
meal.
Where's this
Cook
man? Send him my
Jazzy,
way.
this is why you're here. We need
Yeah.
a different alternative voice. So
Would
we
you
listen
be
to what
okay with that?
they said? What is your opinion?
I mean, yeah, I think I kind of agree. Like, as long as like he's like helping out and like, you know, then and he's like still looking for a job and whatever, like, then yeah, then we're good.
For how long? So you're 22. You're 22. How long are you able to be okay with that? Say this goes on for 5 years. Are you okay with that?
Okay, no.
Okay,
So that's different from
he,
your
he,
answer.
gets
That's
he gets a job, but
He can't sustain it.
6
He doesn't-
months
he doesn't
something
make the
happens,
same amount
gone.
of
He's
money
looking
as you
again.
do.
Comes
so
again.
you're the breadwinner.
He's constantly in between jobs.
No, he's a deadbeat at that point.
Oh no.
Not necessarily. Yeah, this is jobs that he's picking.
Okay, he's
Like,
making.
I feel like at my age, at 22,
Yes,
like,
at
you
your
know what I
age.
mean?
Yes.
Like, I feel like that's just not like something that I would want to look in a partner. Like,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
just like
Good
red
answer.
flags. Like,
Good example.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
But
Yeah.
here's,
So at your age, you're saying that's okay.
no, if we're
No.
starting out at this at my age right now.
Right now, if you're the
No,
breadwinner,
no, no.
And he's
but he's
home.
taking
no,
care of the house.
no.
Okay,
no.
that's different from your answer.
No, but I'm saying if we were just starting out and I was younger and we're building and it's
Okay,
about
sorry.
children,
Okay.
at my age right now, if you don't have a job, don't talk to me. If you don't have a pension, don't talk to me. No, I'm being real.
No, I hear that. I hear that.
No,
Because
there's enough guys on the. Okay, that's.
no,
Yeah,
because
awfully.
no, and you know, no, and you know
Find
why?
a fake job. Get
You know
pension.
why? Because I'm about to retire. If you don't have a job or a pension, I'm
I hear
now taking care of you for the rest of
All
our
my
life.
and I'm old already.
I'm not doing
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw another wrench in there.
Okay.
He's a hustler,
Oh no.
but he's making his
making
money.
money.
You know,
In my experience,
But it's no
Hustler
pension.
always
But
sell.
he's making his money.
in
to
my
take care of
in
him
my
and
experience, if he's a hustler and he's invested that money that he's been hustling in the
something.
in the first 40 or the last 10, 15 years, then yes. If he hasn't invested any of that money, that hustling money blows up in the wind, and I'm still
So
responsible.
you need a hustle with a way out. He's hustling to get out.
I'm not even doing that.
No, but I'm saying he's saving up, right?
Yeah, if
you
he's
catch
saving
him now,
up, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He's still
He's-
doing it,
he's-
but he is saving. He has that, but
Yeah,
he needs
exactly.
a few more
He's
years
investing.
to
Yes.
get where he wants to go.
Yeah, then we're okay.
Okay.
Because then
As long as there's an end goal.
right, because
for it.
at the
Okay.
end of the day, we can still live a comfortable life when we're retiring, and it's not just all on me.
But do you have that fear factor in the back of your mind saying this could somehow come down 10 years from now? Like the feds or what do we call it here in Canada? The RCMP can come back and say, listen, we've been investigating your husband for such and such years. There's some criminal activity that
Oh no,
seems-
that's where the prenup comes in, honey.
So, so
we always keep in this girl completely covered.
okay,
Hold
so,
up.
so we,
That, you jumped the gun. That was one of the
I'm
questions.
just-
Should we
I'm just
profit
saying.
now? Should we profit now?
go ahead.
You said the magic word, prenup.
And this is a good one for couples and for people that are
Do
single.
you think every marriage should have a prenup?
I'm gonna speak
No
for
matter
me.
your status.
I'm
Rich,
gonna speak for me.
struggling, whatever.
I'm gonna speak for me as a
Talking to Mike.
You got talking to Mike.
oh sorry. As for me as a single divorced person who escaped having to pay spousal support, having to split my pension, if I get married today, you're signing a prenup. Because what I've worked for in minus 40 weather at transit is going to go to my children and not to somebody who's just come along for the last 10 years or 5 years of my life. That's just from personal experience. But over to my cousin for her point of view.
What's your point of view? Should there be a prenup in a relationship?
let's be clear. It's split. It depends on where you met this person.
Got you.
Right? There's some girls out there that are literally just there just for the money. Now you have to know, as a man or woman, if this person is legit and they're coming to you and they care for you just because,
Good answer.
right? If you have money and you meet a woman and then you told her about your money, do a prenup. Do a prenup. But
Good point.
you met this girl in high school, you've known her for years. No.
That's different.
No.
That's
There's
different.
no prenup, there's no need. You don't think of her as a gold digger. You know she's genuine, she loves you for you. You're broke, she's broke, y'all build it together. Okay? There's a difference. There's an absolute difference.
Good answer. Good
Okay?
answer. Good answer.
Period.
The problem is when you get to my age and you're in a relationship, it's more of a financial transaction because there's a lot to lose on both parts than it is about love. It's a financial transaction with companionship. But what do you think about that, Warren?
I don't need the mic. I'm good. So I've always had this this mindset where I actually do see prenups as wills. Now hear me out on this one.
Okay.
It's almost as if you're writing something into existence before it actually happens. So when you write, say, a will at the age of, like, say you're writing, now I understand if you have kids, it's important to write wills, I get that. But if you're writing a will, for example, at the age of 35, right, or 40, well before your time is due, it's almost as if you're putting something into the universe, saying, okay, this is going to happen at this point. Probably won't, but just putting it out there makes me kind of fearful, right?
Okay.
So I kind of see prenup as almost the same thing. Now, luckily, I met a lovely human being when I was broke ass poor, right? Where's she at? Who that? Who that? Who that? So
We were broke together!
that's right. That's right.
And we still broke the.
That's right. What's that?
No, we ain't! We're not receiving any of that!
What's that song by Whitney Houston? On the subway, one sofa type of thing. Okay, I'm on this. I'm on this.
My love.
My love and your love. There we go.
Oh, Milo!
Yeah, yeah. With the part where she's talking about the train and sitting on the sofa.
Yeah.
That's my wife. But going back to my point, I see prenups as you're almost writing something. You're looking to something to fail, right? And it's almost as if, listen, I'm writing this just in case. Well,
Because you have doubts.
yeah, you have doubts,
For
right?
real.
So I don't want to speak something or write something
Yeah.
into existence. Now, if I know the individual is a certain
That's
way,
right.
right?
Yeah, that's my point.
Right, to your point. If I know a certain individual is a certain way when I meet them, well, first of all, I wouldn't be continuing a relationship with them.
That's what I'm
Some
saying.
people do, though.
Yeah.
That's the
No, that's
problem.
exactly-
Some people do because
Some
the
people
sex
do.
is
There
great.
you go.
The
There you go.
companionship is
I've
great.
There you go. For example, I'll give you an example right now. Bill, what's his name? Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick. He's the ex-coach of the New England Patriots,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Now he's going on with 20-something.
Like that.
This man is in his 70s, right?
Like that, yeah.
Now,
That's money.
no, hold on a second. Now, this goes to my point. Now, she may be a good person, but let's look at the age gap there. At that point, when the man is 70 and she is
Thank
early
you.
20s,
Thank you.
yes, a prenup
Thank
is
you.
necessary,
Right?
right? He's almost at the end of his
Life
he's almost at the
term.
end of his life. She's just beginning her life, right? So in that instance, yes, a prenup is necessary.
100%.
But when you know an
Because you
individual,
darn well know what I want.
right, when you know an individual through and through, and you've taken that time to get to know that person, I feel as if a prenup or wills are speaking negativity into existence. That's my opinion.
No.
Yours?
Okay.
Yeah, let's do this.
I'm not as just a strict black and white. So I think it all depends on situations.
Yeah.
Prenups. I hear you guys saying it sounds negative, which makes sense, but marriage is also contracts. You still sign something at the end of it saying, "Oh, we're married." Okay.
Point.
So that's all this is. All a prenup is you could look at it as a negative too, but it's like, okay, we're protecting what we came into. To me, it kind of depends on what you put in there.
Right.
I think it should be, listen, we came into this relationship, whatever we came into it, if somehow we end for whatever reason, when we leave, that's what we leave with, whatever we make together together,
It's
that's what
different,
you divide up.
separate.
I think that's how it
I
should
agree.
be.
I agree.
I agree.
Now, the
Because
courts-
if
the courts
one
don't say it
person,
like that,
if
though.
I, co- if
Well, no, but they,
if I,
if you have a prenup, they do.
if I come into a relationship, I'm 10 million strong or whatever, fine lady or whatever it is, and okay, she has her job, whatever, but obviously she's not making what I'm saying. It's a regular salary. Okay? We get together, blah blah blah, take care, we get married, right? Now from here on, we start our own little business together, we start making money.
Okay, what if
Mm-hmm.
you met her, she knows nothing about you. She knows nothing what you have.
Mm-hmm.
You guys hit it off at a whatever, a place where far away.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know you, doesn't know what
She don't
you're
know I
about.
got money.
Nothing. And you guys hit it off
Am I keeping that quiet?
and you kept it going and she doesn't know nothing of you still and you kept on going back and forth. Now you guys built a relationship where now you're feeling her.
Mhm.
She did not put this on you. She's not telling you put a ring on my finger.
Yeah.
Right? It's a build relationship.
Yeah.
You are now feeling that connection with her. Would you still put a will on that?
Prenup.
A prenup on that?
She knew nothing. She knew nothing about.
Nothing. She has no idea who you are. You guys
know
just
what?
had that like that.
I'll bring it up to her,
Uh-huh.
and it'll all be based on her response.
Oh, okay.
If I bring her up and say, hey,
No, but we say you proposed to her, and she said yes already without knowing who you are.
yeah,
Okay.
okay,
Yeah.
but still
see-
at the end of it, when she knows who I am, now her whole attitude can change up.
Correct. And a lot of it has
She
to
could
do with
switch
the
up on me now.
A lot of it has to do with the family behind you,
That too.
right?
I gotta get to know that family too.
Right,
That
no, but
family
even the
seems like-
family of
yeah.
the rich person who's saying you need to do that prenup before you even walk down the
Walk
aisle.
down the aisle.
And that's a different kind of pressure that's put on, even though you're madly in love with this person, your family's saying, because we have money and it's not just your wealth, it's our wealth that's affected.
That's why I said it would be what we come into with is what we're going to leave with, and anything that we accumulate together.
Oh, okay. So
We
she
divide-
builds.
we divide it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she builds you up after this. So you have like 10 million. Now when you marry her, she's like, hey, you know what? Invest in this. Do this. Do this. Do this. Do this. With that money you have now to make it more multiply. With a multiplied money, you will split it with her.
And that's why even
Okay.
if she does her research on stuff and says, hey, listen, I looked into this, I did this, I checked this, I think you should invest in this and and I do it and it rolls. I can't be like, well, that was my money. I invested. I didn't know about it. You
Right.
brought it to
Right,
me,
because
and you
that
did the
was
work.
the partnership.
And
That
you
was
did the
yeah.
work.
Yes.
Because it has happened
Because
that way.
it's just like a job, right?
Yes.
Only thing is, okay, I didn't pay her a salary in that sense, but it's just like a job. You do
Yeah,
a job,
yeah.
you do research for the company, you find something, the company's paying you money.
Absolutely.
They get their money. It's the same thing. It's just I'm not paying her or here, you get $100 and that's it. Like, you're getting taken care of, you're getting extra on top of whatever it is, you're getting all of it. Right? And when we're done now, say we made $100 million together, all
You're
right,
splitting
we split that.
Yeah.
We'll look here and
Yes,
there and
that.
see if everything looks like, hey, we divided up the work properly. Okay, split that. I take my 10 mil also that I came in with, and your $10,000 that you had, you can take that too, along with the 50 mil.
That's
Go
it,
your
yep.
way, I go my way. Done.
That's
But it's the
perfect.
ones where it's the lady or the woman comes in, because usually that's how it is.
No,
but
now
either way,
there's a lot of males.
I know it's changing, but it's still, you know, you
Look at
hear more.
Look at Halle Berry.
You hear more about the woman being the broke one, and now all of a sudden, you know what I don't like? The whole I grew accustomed to this lifestyle. Do not run that line on me. Do not run that line on me. Because if that's what you want to run to me, you were accustomed to cheap burgers, were you not? But when you got with me, all of a sudden now you need steak.
No,
You need
but
filet.
but the courts do rule in that favor.
I know,
They
and
do.
that's what they say.
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying.
Especially if you have kids.
But you were accustomed to something before me. So why don't you go back to that and be
But you
accustomed
can.
to that?
No, you can't.
cannot.
My stomach is now
Okay,
adjusted
so
to
then,
all that.
so then think about it. But then if we get together now and I'm rich, you know this, but I'm like, I'm not. You gotta pay for your own stuff. You gotta pay
Don't
for
work
this.
that way.
That's what you're accustomed
That's
to,
not
right?
the
That's what you're
system.
accustomed to. So keep going along that line.
The court would not
But that's
accept.
no, I know. But no, I'm
And
saying
either
no,
way,
no, no, no.
male
I'm
or
saying
female.
before the courts. Before the court, we meet.
Yeah.
This is right. I have this. I know this has happened before.
Yeah,
This is what
yeah.
happens in the court. You're gonna do this. Oh, I'm accustomed to this lifestyle. I need to stay this way.
Yep.
Okay. You're accustomed to $5 burgers. That's what you're staying at when we go out. Be accustomed to that. Stay there.
If I was
Even
a
when we
rich
get
man,
married,
I'll make
you know
sure
what?
you get your burger.
Even when we get married now, okay,
$5 platter.
you're still
A
getting your
beautiful
fun because you
platter.
know what? That's what you're accustomed to. You get your fun. You can get three $5 burgers. I don't know what's wrong with that. That'll be nice. But that's what you're gonna be accustomed to. So now, when you're ready to we separate, whatever it is.
But
Like-
see, here's the problem though. Like, you've never heard of women having to pay spousal support, but it's happening.
Oh yeah.
Halle
And
Berry's paying.
Yeah, and I
Is
refuse.
it Mary J? Is it
Yes,
Mary J
Mary
paying
J.
her
Yes.
husband? Yeah.
She's almost
Paying
bankrupt
spousal
because
support.
she's paying spousal support, right? Like,
Now, do you feel sorry for them?
of course I do.
But what if it was reversed now? Would you feel
I
sorry for
still
the
feel
man?
I still feel sorry for anyone,
Anyone? Okay.
Yeah,
male or
it's true,
female.
it's
Okay.
true.
Because
That's
like
cool.
you said,
You work
if
your
you
hardest.
were used to $5 burgers and I took you in and we were in love and we built this life and now you're gouging me. Look at Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
He has to pay like spousal support out of his yin yang.
But can't I'm not again. I'll play the devil's advocate one more time. I know. But how do you expect the wife or the male, the wife or the man, to sustain living in a big house?
But is
Or
it their
the-
house to begin with?
No, but how do you sustain? But the bills, everything that comes with the house. If you're separated from that person, how do you expect that?
But that's why the prenup comes into play.
Okay.
Because it was my house. I moved you into my house. I gave you this lifestyle, and now you're suing me for it. That's why my son bought a house at 29. I own half of that house. If he meets a female, that female's getting half of his half. He still has 75% because I'm setting him up
Yep. I got
for
you.
positivity.
I got you.
And that's a lot of things that we don't do. We need to have these conversations with our
Yeah,
kids.
well,
We need to
Second.
sign on things for them because love. My girlfriend's mother says it this way: when you're in love, the whole world is Jewish. When you're in love, everything is all roses, right?
Yeah, I got you.
Right? And you're not
For
thinking
real.
with common sense. We have to be the
It's-
ones
it's
for our
true.
kids
It's true.
to think in common sense
Yeah.
based on our experiences of life.
I got you. And this is why
I agree. I agree.
This is why I like this particular mashup, because we got couples, we got singles, we got people that are entering possibly into a marriage. Right? Right? Not naming no names here, Jazzy, but I'm just saying some names. Okay? So for someone that is entering into a marriage in the
Yeah.
future, would you feel it necessary for a prenup?
I don't think so. I feel like if you like have that like oh I need one, then you just don't trust your partner. And like yeah, like what you said too, like I feel like you're kind of like expecting
Something to happen.
end. Yeah. So I feel like if I have that doubt, then I shouldn't even get married in the first place.
All right, which is a good moral go to Oprah type of answer. But I'm just saying, just hypothetically.
Yeah.
Let's say the person that you're married to is worth $1 billion. Now I'm putting a number on it.
Yeah.
$1 billion. You came from nothing, from the ground, nothing to up right now. Are you still not gonna want a prenup? $1 billion plus. We're talking money now. We're talking real money now, real stacks. So not
Or reverse, you're the one that owns $1 billion and the person
That's
you're
right.
in love with has nothing.
Exactly. So your business is potentially in jeopardy, right?
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna lose half of
Your business. So
Yeah,
you started this
Yeah.
business when
Yeah.
you were 19. You
Yeah.
built it up to this
All by
platform where-
yourself.
all by yourself, and you're
all that
marrying,
hard work.
and you're now marrying somebody who has nothing.
So all that lovey-dovey moral type of answer is up there.
Nothing.
So like I feel like I feel like I would like talk to my partner. I would be like, like this is how it is. Like I would feel like I would talk it out with this person.
So you want to do a prenup, like paperwork,
You would?
Like
sign.
like if we do have to if I have to do a prenup, right?
No, it's not if. It's Would you or you gotta stay with your
Would you or
So
would you
it's
not
it's
do a
your
prenup?
company. Your company's worth
Yeah.
billions of
I
dollars.
feel like I would then.
Okay.
You wouldn't?
I would.
You
I
would.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, but I would like
really
make
would.
sure like my partner is comfortable with what they're with the prenup.
What if they're not comfortable? This is you.
Then
Forget
This is
it.
you.
They're not comfortable with whatever. This is
Yeah.
your business, your name, your family history.
yeah.
You're putting it in front of that person. Listen,
Yeah.
this is a prenup. This is how much I'm worth.
Yeah.
This is what you're gonna get. If you don't like it, deuces. Listen.
I don't know. Then I feel like I would just then we're not ready to get married. Maybe we just need to like still work on a relationship and like build that trust or something. I don't know.
So you would still do. So the final
I
answer
would
is.
still be with this person
Okay.
if I like them.
But
So
your final answer is you would initiate a
A
prenup.
prenup.
Yeah.
So
You
say
would.
they don't want to sign it though. She said then they need to work on the relationship.
Yeah. Then we'll see.
No, she's thinking. No, Karen's. Sorry, Special K is saying no. They ain't signing ish.
Okay.
Make sure you
So-
take out Karen.
They ain't signing nothing. There's no middle ground. It's either yes or no.
I don't know.
I ain't signing it. I love you and I only want you. I'm not signing no paperwork. What you gonna do now?
I have no idea. Honestly, I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
Deuces, you're walking.
Fair enough.
No, for me, it's deuces, you're walking. If you're
Yeah.
not signing the paperwork,
Yeah.
then we don't have a relationship because
Yeah.
this was an understand. And I'm very transparent from the get-go.
Yeah.
I put all my wants and needs on the table. You either accept it or you don't.
Yeah.
So people know that there's a prenup coming because I've worked too hard not to leave something back for my kids.
Yeah.
You can have living interests as long as you're alive. You can live in my house. You can enjoy all these luxuries. But when you pass, it's going to my kids.
Yeah.
Good answers. Good answers. Everything was appreciated and everything was understood, and I think everybody's giving their honest opinion. So good answers. That one's a tough one. I'm sorry for all those people that are gonna now have conversations. We're gonna sniff. Yeah. So there was a podcast that we're talking about prenups. What have you got going here?
The lights above.
Sorry if we started something that might start an argument, but
Right.
that's for y'all to decide. All right. Next topic. What do we got? H2O.
Where's Jen? We need Jen out here.
Since we're on the family, I guess prenups is kind of part of family stuff, right? We'll go with. Well, I guess this is more for the mandem on here a little bit.
Okay.
But you can chime in on your opinions on it. Okay.
Okay.
Is it okay for a man to bring his son to a strip club on his 18th birthday? Is it okay to drink or smoke weed with your adult kids?
Wow.
They're two kind of separate things, I guess. But they kind of connect because 18, 19 over here makes you an adult. Some places in the States it does, and some you gotta wait till you're 21.
This is a good one.
But we're over here.
This
So,
is a good one.
we'll start with the strip club part.
Hey, do you want to start with the young answer first?
Yes.
I think that's gonna be
Let's
interesting.
do this.
Let's do this.
I actually seen like a TikTok of a mom who actually like brought home like for her son's birthday party. I don't know if you guys seen it, but like
Nope.
I've seen a TikTok of like this mom who brought home like strippers to like her house for like a birthday party and like other kids.
Kids or young adults?
I don't even remember how old they were. I'm not gonna lie, but they
Young?
looked like
Because that's
kids.
important, actually.
I
That's
don't
important.
even remember. I don't know if he was 13, 16, something like that. Like, right? Anyways, I don't even remember the exact age. But anyways, she brought home strippers for the kids, and then the other kids who were like invited to the birthday party, their parents actually didn't know.
And got involved.
Yeah, and they were so I read like I've seen TikToks of it, and like the parents were like, oh, like we didn't know about this. If we knew, we wouldn't have sent our
Bring
kids
it
here.
So
over.
that tells me right away that they were probably underage.
Yeah, I
If they
think
were.
so. I think they definitely were, but
You as an
yeah.
individual, what was it?
I think it's not. Yeah, I don't think it's right. Like, yeah, I don't really know what else to say.
So you're grown now. Take you out at a young age right now.
Yeah.
You're grown. You got a husband. He wants to. He said 18. Yo,
I feel like you're
honey, I'm bringing him to the
introducing-
strip club today.
Yeah, I feel like you're introducing them to like negativity. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why
Okay.
not like take them somewhere else?
The zoo?
Like other adults.
She's some
but-
real animals.
I mean, there's no
Real wild
I
animals.
mean, there's still naked mammals that you have to see, right?
Still
So,
unclothed.
Still unclothed.
Yeah.
What is this one?
I don't know. Personally, I've never like done any of that
my
kind of stuff.
husband,
So,
eh?
like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Fair enough.
Off screen.
Yeah.
Off screen.
That's why I said we're going in the right direction.
No. But she was saying something just now, so we gotta pop it out
What
there.
did you say?
We gotta pop it out there.
You opened up, Karen.
I just said only my husband. Well, okay.
Okay.
So
We'll get to her door.
You're okay.
TJ, we're gonna get to her door. Make sure when you get the special K, do a zoom in on her answer. Okay?
Don't do it.
Do a zoom.
Don't
H2O. What
do
you got?
it.
We're going this way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Nice try, Akil. Nice try.
Yeah, I have no issue with it. If she has no
So you
issue
be
with
okay
it,
with
I'll
it?
bring them.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing. It still equates to the next question. Listen, if you're gonna do anything that's like major or considered, I don't know what you want to call it. You're gonna experience that with me first. You're gonna learn it, or I just want to know what you know first before you go out there and do it. Like, go out on your own. I don't want you to go into a strip club acting fool because you don't know, or you're hearing how other people are this and that, and you're being
And you're
stupid.
touchy and grabby.
If I go with you, I can let you know. Like, listen,
You want-
don't do this.
grabbing the girl
Don't
and
do
doing all
that.
this nonsense.
Don't do that. If I know you have an interest in wanting to go to one, then yes, I would be like, you know what? I'm gonna take you.
As a father, not a mother.
We're gonna go.
Right? That's a difference. Yeah.
Well, obviously it's gonna be different, right? But we'll switch it up on you guys. But yeah, I don't want to spend, and I'll tie it in with the next question. It's saying the drinking and smoking. Would you do that with your adults? So we'll say 18, 19.
Yeah.
You're okay. Yes, because if I know you have if I see you have an interest, or you even ask me about
you already
it,
started,
yeah,
right?
that's the thing. I don't
Right?
want you to have already started, but if you are in the beginning, whatever, and you're curious and you're thinking, I'm gonna want you to do it because I want to teach you, or at least show you. So when you go there, I at least have an idea. Okay, I showed him this. He should know what to do. I'll know. Okay, yo, you're drinking. All right, this is your limit. Now you know what your limit is, and you're at home. You're in a safe mat. I don't want your first experience. You're out there. I'm pretty sure my first experience was
What's out there?
right, like real drinking, not like the Bacardi breezes you used to drink when you were younger. Where you thought you were
Or
drinking
sneak.
some real liquor.
Or you sneak and
And
grab
it's-
a beer as half
But
empty.
it's 0.05, not 5% alcohol. And you thought you were drinking something? Yeah.
Okay.
That's no. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about some real percentage in it.
Yeah.
You don't want. I wouldn't want it to be out there. Anyway, and him not knowing what his tolerance is, or at least the level. Because at least if the first time with you, you can see. Oh,
You had
you
enough.
had 2 beers, and look at you.
So now you know.
You know what? If you go out there, do not drink. Drink one. Drink one. Right? If
So
you're
sip
out,
on one.
drink one. If you're in a home, a safe environment, okay, maybe you could do it too. You're by your friend or whatever. You're in a home. That's cool. Smoking? Hey.
Bless you. You're welcome, girl.
That was.
We're on the pod now. Yeah, I wouldn't want their experience to be
Yeah.
out there. I would at least want to know, okay, I know something. I know a little. I know your tolerance at
That's
least.
right. To
I
kinda
know
guide you.
somewhat what you can do, and I'm teaching. It's anything. It's like teaching child ABs. I know they go to school to learn things, but there's certain things
Yes,
you want to
you're
be
not
able to
gonna know.
teach.
Absolutely.
You don't want someone else teaching.
Okay.
You want that foundation to be from you, and that's what they'll look back to be like, okay, yeah, I remember when I did this. Because they're out there with their friends. Their friends are gonna keep encouraging.
Yeah. Go on. Keep going. Keep going.
Do it,
Keep
do it,
going.
keep going. No. You gotta tell them, listen.
Is it my turn?
You know you're.
No, it's not your turn. Okay.
Oh, it's your
Oh,
turn.
you're itching to go.
Oh, it's your
Oh
turn.
my gosh.
Oh,
I mean,
it's
do you want
your
to skip the
turn.
gun? We can go to you right
See, I
away.
have a comment on what he
Go ahead.
said.
Yeah.
So as a single mother to 2 males,
Mm-hmm. I get
there's a lot of things that you don't, as a mother, you can't teach your males,
Yes.
right? Because
Yes.
it only comes from a man's point of view. So I remember my son being drunk
Mm-hmm.
and him saying, because I always
he called me, went and picked him up, brought him home, drunk as a skunk. He had a football game the next day.
Oh,
My lesson, and they were in the playoffs. My lesson to him was, for every football you drop, you owe me $100. He's a wide receiver. The first one went over. It wasn't even nowhere near him, but it was a lesson. He had to pay me the $100. Every other one, he shot up and grabbed that ball and started running. But I'm saying this to say that as a father to a male, there's something that you teach them that a female can never instill in them.
But what you did there, I will give you props on that because you did something. He's still learning. He's still learning something. You allowed him to call you, so at least he knows. Okay, I'm somewhere, and he didn't be like, "Oh God, I can't call my mother." Get someone else drunk to drive him home, or I don't know if he has a license or whatever. Drive himself home when something happens. Exactly, but you let him know. Listen, and I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna give you the pass. I'm gonna give you the listen. If you're in a situation and you know you cannot get out, the only way out is me. Call me. Don't worry about getting trouble. That's not the issue. It is not an issue because you called me. You may not even get in trouble.
Right.
Yeah, you got drunk. I can't be that person to be.
We've been
Exactly.
drunk, right?
You can't be like, oh, how could you do that? How could you?
I'm not going to be hypocritical.
I've done it.
Yeah.
Right, I've done it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to tell my kids I've done
I'm
it.
not-
I'm going to
Yeah.
be there to teach them that lesson.
Yeah.
But even if you do tell them,
Yeah.
tell them in a way that they learn. That you be like,
Yes.
listen, I
Yeah.
did this, and you know what? I stopped. Or even if you didn't, you know your limits. Now.
Yeah.
You know, okay,
Yeah.
you know what?
Absolutely.
But you gave him that
Ultimatum.
outlet to you, and he used it. Right.
Yeah.
So you are teaching him something.
Okay.
Right? You may not have sat down there. The strip club one, that's different. I don't expect you to go to a strip club with it. I mean, you can. You can. But I'm not expecting that. But when it comes to
How did it do it? Well, where did that come from?
but when it comes to the smoking and drinking part, you could sit there with if you do that, that's different. If you don't, that's a different story. You can still teach. He can sit there with you and you can watch him and see how much he tolerates and then be like, listen, okay, you need to stop that.
So is
Or if you see him starting to act, he doesn't have to get drunk, but you can see like, he was picking up fine. Now all of a sudden it's something, and you're like, you see that?
So
Now
I
you
guess
could
what
cut.
I'm asking you as two males who have children, both males and females, how do you tell a single parent what signs to look out for when they have male children so that we have an inkling of what we're looking for if they're doing drugs or alcohol from a male's point of view?
For me,
Good question.
it's a very good question.
My kid's not there yet, so it's hard, but I get what
Right.
you're asking.
I think for me, personally, because I know what I experienced and what I went through at certain ages, I would be proactive and go to them first. Because I know at that age you're kind of vulnerable and you're kind of hesitant to go to your parents and ask certain questions. So they may feel uncomfortable to come
Correct.
forth and ask you. So for me personally, when Theo reaches of age, like even right now, like we both everybody has a girlfriend at school, right? But I'll go to him rather than come to him, hey, honestly, what do you think about this girl so and so?
Or even Joseph, who's a little bit
That's
older.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. I'd rather be the one to come to them than wait for them than wait for them to come to me. Right?
Okay, that's a good tip though, because I didn't the hardest thing for me was when my kids were hitting puberty and I needed to have that conversation with two males about sex.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember braiding my son's dreads because he just started dreading, and I'm like, when was the last time you had sex? And he flew out of my hand and then came back and said, we're watching this football game, we are not having this conversation, Mom. So just do my hair and don't ask me anything about that.
And that's fine. I mean, that's perfectly fine. Some people are different, and some kids are different.
And is it
right?
because
Yes.
I was a female? Because I know it would have been different
Probably.
if he had a male figure in his life and he could have that conversation, right?
No, you're right. You're right. Greg,
When I had both parents, but I lived with my mother. My dad didn't live in the house, but he was around. That's not to say he abandoned me or anything like that, right? I've never had the sex talk with my mother growing up. I don't even think I had a sex talk either of my parents.
Because that was a generation that didn't have it.
But also,
And with our generation, we kind of watch and absorb. Like I know that I'll watch something. Like I know I can watch something, and take it in, and I'll be like, okay, I know that. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do this. Okay. I know with my kids, I think now there's none of that.
They're
It's
coming
just
to you at an age, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like you're. Like I remember my daughter at 12 asking me, when is it okay to have sex? And I wanted to like drop off the bed, and I had to like zone back into my brain and say, so why are you asking me this question, right? Because my mother never talked about that. I learned everything from my friends or from the streets.
yeah.
But this generation, they're asking
how I
us at 5 or 6 years old.
Because one day it's weird. Even though you have all the technology now to keep track of them,
Oh
you
yeah.
don't allow your kids to go anywhere.
Tracking.
But you don't allow them to go anywhere. Like we
We rode
come
the
home before
subway.
the street light. Don't leave this street or what?
Yes,
like you were given boundaries. You know you're not supposed. You might have done it. You know you'll sneak a little bit, but now you don't. Parents don't even want to let their kids go anywhere. But it's like you have a phone that goes with you. There's video on it. You can see where they are, and even still you're still like, nah, you're not. I don't think I want you to go to it.
Right, because we were riding the subway when we were 8 or 9 years old. Your 8 or 9 year old is not riding a bus today without you, right? Because it's a different generation.
But the thing is,
I
that's
still
what I'm trying to say. They should be able to ride a bus now because they have the phone. You can be on the bus with them. Put the phone, put the video on. You can see where you're going. When we didn't have that. It was your pay. Once you hung up, it was all hope.
But let me tell you this.
Meeting up with someone, it was all hope.
But Warren might not have seen this. I remember being called to a call at transit, and there was an 11-year-old being sexually assaulted by a man on the bus. My daughter was 12 at the time, and I was freaking out. I took the phone and said to the mother, the bus is coming to the station at this time. I need you to walk to the bus, and I will hand your daughter over to you. And I don't think back when we were growing up and only had to come home when the street lights went on, that kind of stuff was so prevalent as it is today.
I think it was. It's just
We didn't have social media.
and that's what a lot of the thing is now. It's not that stuff didn't go on in our time.
Not
We
as
know
much,
stuff
though.
went on,
No,
but that's why
not as much.
That's, no, it's not.
No, it
but you
wasn't
hear a
as
lot
much.
but you hear a lot of celebrities say, social media was out in our time.
Just in
A
different
lot of
way.
the stuff we
Just
do
in a different way.
wouldn't be seen, and that's what it is. It's just the stuff back then. It wasn't exposed because it was all based on someone with a camera, a professional person following you around, looking for you. Now, any person in the street can film you. You have the phone.
Yeah, it's
Something stupid happens right now.
Yeah.
Someone could pop out a phone and do it. Back then, if something stupid happened,
absolutely, and it's
only
uploaded.
we knew about it.
right, and it's uploaded to social media, and everybody's got
Instantly.
their comments.
Before we even walk
Instantly.
out this backyard,
Right
most
away.
people would know what just happened. You
Yeah,
did
it's
something
true.
and you put it. Back
And I
then, you
think
did it.
that-
You had to wait for someone to get it. It be reported, and then it get put in the news. By that time, that person has already made up their story to cover whatever it is that happened.
I call it we're in the microwave generation,
Again, yes,
and it's unloaded.
that's how I feel.
We're going to take a little quick introduction here to introduce a very special guest, Bex. Welcome to the podcast. Late, but you're here. that's all that matters. That's
I like
all
to
that matters.
say fashionably late.
Sorry.
Fast.
For work.
It's all good.
For
It's
work
all good.
stuff, man.
So to
Yeah,
keep
we
you in
get
the
it.
loop, right now our topic that we're discussing is, would you take your son to a strip club? When
Or
he's
is it okay for a man to bring his son to
A
a
strip
strip club on his 18th birthday?
Or
And
smoke.
or would you smoke or drink with your adult child, adult kid?
So, because I'm always straight up, but I always try to support as best as I can. I don't have kids like you guys do, but remember I was once a kid too. So I always have to put all this out because people are like, you shouldn't be saying anything at all because you don't have kids. age, you know.
I get that.
So you can't have.
But you're an auntie.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
see it
I,
too.
so I
So-
always have
Mother.
to put this.
Yes.
Cause knows I always have to put this in the forefront because I get this a lot even from my own family members.
Right.
So, but I think you have to expose them to certain things, and you want them to know that they can do that with you to an extent, but that you don't want to lose that respect. That's where I get concerned with. Like that worries me because if I know I can come to you as my mother and we have a bond,
Right.
I feel more safe. I will trust you more, so then you will know more, and I won't rebel as much or want to do something I
Correct.
shouldn't be doing.
Correct.
Mind you, yes, we fall, we get into things. Yeah, because I did too. And then we get into things we never thought we would be in, but hey, it happens. You get up, you learn, you grow, and you move on. So it's always hard for me to answer this question because I would want to have that relationship that where we should go together. But then the respect has to also be there. That's my parent, you know, and that understanding. So
You can.
No, of course.
You can.
But it's not it's not like you're going all the time. It's just for their 18th birthday.
I don't know if I'd go on the 18th.
Maybe not you, but you're.
I
If
think
you were
I would
married,
wait
you had the
till-
husband.
yeah,
would
I
you
would-
you be okay if he said, "I'm taking our son
I don't think
to the strip club"?
I don't think 18 should be the age.
19, whatever the legal
more
age.
older, a little bit more older, because you'd want to talk about things. You'd want to go, have discussions about things. I think 18 might be too early.
We'll say 19 because we'll say 9. We'll go 19
Let's say 21.
because you can
Sure.
drink at
Okay.
19. Okay.
21.
So maybe then, yes.
I understand say 19 because over here it's 19.
Right.
That's the reason I said 19. I'm just running with that. And the only reason I say at 19 is because if you do wait the next few years, they might have already gone.
And you're correct. And that's the other
Right.
point. Yes, you're correct. So that way, I even still want to have that open relationship, even though they might have gone already. They might have done
Yeah.
whatever. But I want to be able to also have that open relationship with them too, right? So they can feel comfortable and safe, but then not, as we say, take their eyes and pass you, right?
Yeah. You know what I would say then? For the perfect solution being, it's not even the 18th birthday. Just be like, listen, you want to. First time you're ready, come to me.
Legal age.
So it doesn't have to be 19. It doesn't have to be 20.
No, the
they
legal
might, they
age.
might be
The
like. They
legal
might,
age.
You're right. The legal age.
yeah, obviously illegal. I'm saying
Yeah.
if it's not on that day, maybe they don't even want to on that day. But you just be like, listen, the first time you're ready to experience strip club, drugs, not drugs. Let me say weed, alcohol. Come to me first. I want us to do. I was trying to tell them. I don't know if you weren't here right here, but I want your first experience to be with me, so I can at least gauge maybe what you can tolerate, and I can tell you, and I can kind of educate you on what you're doing. Because if you do it with friends, you're all the same age.
So what if you don't
They're going
do
to be
that?
ignorant
I
to
would
it,
have wanted
and they're going
that,
to tell
but
you
I could
keep
never go
drinking.
to my mom.
Okay, well, what
Even
if you
now,
don't do that? What if the father don't do that weed or whatever, right? Don't do any of that stuff. Then
Then
what? Then how would you
if
know
I have
how to engage
if
him?
I have a friend that I know and I trust, or it could be another family member that you trust. Hey, listen, you want to experience this? Go to your uncle, or you want to experience this? Come to me.
So
I
basically,
will
what
put-
you're saying is, as long as it's in a controlled environment.
I want them to be controlled when they first
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
it, because if you're out of control when you do it, you're gonna think this is my. You go with your friends. As I said, your friends are not gonna. Most of them, if they're doing the same, they're not stopping you because they're gonna go. They want you to keep going.
Right.
As
and
long as they can keep
want
going.
to do it as a joke.
And
too.
they don't know
like
you're
you're funny, and
Yeah.
I'm videotaping it and I'm uploading it.
And they know
Okay.
you already smart. Oh, they keep feeding you more.
So
keep feeding
what
you more.
if you are not about that life and you are a Christian person
I will find
and
someone.
you only know of the Bible inside and out?
Well, then I'll be teaching them that.
Then and they come and say, Mom, I want to go to I'm gonna go with my friends to a strip club. What do you do with that situation when you are trying to gauge your kids to be in this like
I'm not
Christian
stopping them.
environment?
But
I'm obviously, if I'm the Christian, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna try and stop them.
Okay.
You're gonna try
But
to
if they
stop them,
don't-
but they're gonna do it
Yeah.
anyway. So if they're going to do it, it actually needs to be in a controlled environment. Because
So
let
then
me
you're a
tell you, hold
hypocrite
on.
to be
No.
then
I will
you're a
find someone.
hypocrite.
Like I said, I
It's
will
not a
find
hypocrite
someone. It's not
because here's the
hypocrite.
thing.
Because they're doing it
Kids,
regardless. like you
kids
said.
that are raised in strictly Christian households tend to rebel 100 times more because we're not
Especially when they're
having
legal.
those real life conversations with them, and they're the ones that end up on drugs, addicted to this, into pornography, and other kind of spirits that we now need to pray off of them. Right? So we
Because
need
they've been held
to.
in shelters so
I'm
long.
a Christian
bottled up.
parent, but at the end of the day, I still need to listen to what my kids are going through because they're gonna do it anyways. I need to be able to control what it is they're doing. So I'd rather them tell me than going out there with Tom, Dick, and Harry and ending up on A, B, C, D, E and on Skid Road,
Yeah.
and I had
having
no
them trust
control
you.
of it.
Good point.
But the thing is it's good you're like that because even now with my mom, it's so funny because a few days ago, there was a movie that came on, and I said, Mom, I couldn't watch this. Even now, I said to her, I couldn't watch this movie or these types, certain movies with you. I cannot watch. At one point, she didn't understand, and then she said, wait, you know what? Yeah, I understand where you're going because you respect me. So how can I even say, Mom, let's go to this? Because my mom's Christian too. She wouldn't, obviously, she doesn't do that stuff. And so I could never say, Mom, let's go, right? So there's a certain respect too that.
But here's the
comes
problem.
from that too.
You can't be so spiritually minded that you're no earthly good.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem with the church. That we're so up in the clouds that we can't deal with reality. And our kids are falling by the wayside. The most amount of divorces are in the church because people are getting married to have sex and they don't know about the person that they're with.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we need to kind of change that narrative.
Or
Yeah.
you're pressured the other way to do good, as I was, because you had no room. You couldn't do anything bad because my sister, my brother, they did that. So I felt terrible for my
But are
parents.
they happy right now?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Point
no.
proven.
But where I'm at now, I've had my rough patches. Yeah, we're always gonna have that. I'm healing. I'm growing, but I'm more happier now than I ever was.
There you
than
go.
Before, because I've learned it was rough. It sucked. Still, but you're learning and you're growing, and you're happy now compared to where you were before. But
And I think
know
we
they're
need
not.
to teach
They're
our children how to be their authentic selves. Not what we want. Yes, we want the very best for them,
Yeah.
but we can't force them into something that they don't want to do
No.
because then they become rebellious.
Of course.
And we
then-
want to still have that healthy relationship with our kids. Like my kids will call me for anything. Like I have my middle child. God knows he taught me how to pray. But you know what? Anything happens, I'm the first person he's calling. It's on speaker and I know what's
That's what
happening.
you want.
And that's what I want. I
Exactly.
want to know what's happening in the moment.
and I love that, and I wish I try to do that too with my mom and whatnot. But it gets difficult because there's certain things. She even said we almost had an argument that I named Mother. I said Mom, but I'm an adult now. We should be able to have these adult.
Yeah.
I'm not a kid. I'm always gonna be your child. That's how I understand you guys are gonna always be. We're always your kids. I get that forever.
not
It
a
doesn't
kid.
stop.
I'm
But
not
I'm not a
kid.
kid. I'm like, Mom, I'm an adult. We need to be able to have these discussions because I'm an adult now. But she's like, no, I name Mom, so you can't say certain things.
Right.
She listens to me sometimes more so than my sister and brother because of how I talk. I don't cuss or yell or do say so. Sometimes she hears, but she still has this persona, and I wish she was more like you, where it's her way or no way kind of thing, and cousins.
But okay, so the
Hold on,
two of you,
sorry.
the
Do
three of you
do
have children.
Do you think that stems from her relationship
Oh,
with her
Wait,
mother?
yeah,
There's
absolutely.
trauma
Okay,
upon trauma,
okay,
generational
okay.
stuff. And I
Yes.
said, Mom, this has to break.
That's
I tried to
right.
break certain
That's
So the
right.
three of you, your adult children come to you and say, you know what, I'm struggling with alcohol or weed. What are you saying?
I'm talking to sure struggling how?
An addiction.
Yep. Sorry.
You.
An addiction.
If they come to me and tell me that they're struggling,
Mm-hmm.
and what they need from me.
Okay.
Yeah, in terms, you're struggling in what
Yeah.
terms?
Right. So
Exactly.
you're struggling
So
with
you need-
alcohol or weed, and
Addiction.
with an addiction, and I'm coming to you, and Mom, Dad, I need your help. This is what I'm struggling with. Like, as a Christian, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm getting the help if he needs. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to tell him. I'm going to actually research all the things that he needs to know on what's going to happen with this addiction and what's the outcome if he continues. Right? I mean, it's just.
Me. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
My apologies. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Y'all talk about the same children, so
Right, I know, right?
I'm done.
I hope your answers are
I know.
almost the
It's
same.
like, what the heck? I'm done.
Well,
You're talking.
no. Well, I think I wouldn't pull religion into it. I'll be honest with
No, not religion.
No, because I'm saying because she's more of a devout Christian.
Yes.
That's
where
why.
you
So
are,
for
you're a
me-
Christian, but she's a devout Christian, right? So you might have two completely different answers.
But
That's
you
right.
need to separate religion though, because that's what's causing a lot of the issues. It's
But-
the
Girl,
relationship with God. That's what it is. So,
But-
and that's what I really cry on, because if it wasn't for God getting me through all this and the people He's placed in my life
Yep.
and the situations He's placed as well, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
100%.
I have to give God all the praise,
100%.
because then I will continue no matter what anybody tells me.
1000%.
But do I go to church? I'm admitting it, no. But I listen online, and I can still get the same things, right? But my mom, she still throws those things at me. She, because knows mom's always throwing these remarks at me because she knows she can get me compared to my sister and my brother who will tell her off, right? So yeah, it's not about religion. That's what's messing a lot of
100%.
people up.
And
Yeah.
that's why I said I wouldn't automatically resort back to, well, this is what the Bible said. I would keep that separate. I would be point blank, well, you know what? We're going to continue down this path. This is where your help is going to be. This is where you're going to be in 2 years. This is where you're going to be in 5 years. This is where you're going to be in 10 years, right? So I would automatically go to the health aspect of it. Because at that age, they're not really receiving to the religious or the biblical aspect of it
I know
at
what-
such a young age.
I-
They're more or less looking at it like, okay, well, why are you so concerned? Well, I'm concerned about your health. You want to be here for this amount of time? Let's talk about how it's going to affect. Let's talk about how it's going to affect your heart. Let's talk about
That's
how
right.
it's going to affect the
Research
brain.
it. Yes.
Let's do some research on how it
Research on
affects
how
you.
it's gonna affect you.
Once they grasp that, hopefully if they grasp that, then I can ease into, you know what, also, it's, Bible says you're not supposed to indulge in so much alcohol, you know what I mean? And it's also a sin against your body if you're indulging in so much. But I wouldn't go right
No,
away
I'm
into
not
the religious
saying,
aspect of it.
yeah. But then I'm always gonna come out with wanting to pray with you, wanting to,
Right.
cover you, because that's what it is. And if you're laying that foundation as the child grows, yeah, there's gonna be ups and downs. Don't get me wrong. They're gonna might fall in, fall out, but you're hoping that for train up the way a child should go, and he will not depart. He will never. So hopefully they'll come back to it, right? At some point,
That's right.
and then understand, and you mix the physical health aspects and then mental health aspects. Our parents don't understand that mental health. Like, what are you? Even this show yesterday. Sorry, I'm all over the place. It's called and you're gonna be like, what the heck? I started watching Tyler Perry's Divorced Sisters. It's on BET, and this one girl on there, she was like, well, your generation and this mental health and addictions. She was going on and on that like it wasn't an issue. So I like the fact that you guys are bringing this into the situation, because it is a huge issue.
Absolutely. And let's not be, again, naive to the fact that if we're not teaching our kids, guess who's teaching it?
It's
Media.
getting worse.
Social
and this is
media.
the next part of the
And the
generation.
school system.
And the school system.
The
That-
school system is 100%
Yeah.
teaching our kids because they're majority of the time they're there and then they come home to us. So whatever they're feeding our kids is what they're learning,
100%.
and they have a full it's they have this program of what they're already teaching the kids from generation to generation to generation to generation. And it's hard for us now to kind of control that when they're already being controlled.
And guess what? If we speak up and we tell our kids don't listen to that, or that's not,
It's already been
that's
told.
not right. Guess what happens? They go back to the school and say, "My mommy
Mommy
and
said
daddy said that this."
that, and then
You have
they're
to,
controlling our
because
kids.
they're your roof they're living under. My mom, we tried that. Oh, and she set us straight. You go, you call the police, then they're gonna take you
That's
away.
right.
You're never gonna come
And
back.
that's what
you're
they're
gonna be
teaching our
raped. You're
kids.
gonna be all these things are gonna happen.
And then they complain.
No, I would tell my
Then they
child that. I don't care what
complain
anybody tells
when
me.
the kids are doing these things now in real life outside of school, and they're stealing, they're doing these things, and they're behaving this way.
Undisciplined, yeah.
Because now, well, mom and dad can't beat me, and they already know that, so they become rebellious. And then they do all the things that they know they're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
And they are not controlled by it because
Yeah.
they,
But
they're
listen,
controlled by the government.
I always
spoil
think
themselves.
Yeah.
the foundational, the fundamentals
what
that we
happens.
instill in our children from their young
Yeah.
is what portrays when they get older.
Yeah.
So even if they go astray, they're gonna come back and remember what we
just said
instilled
that.
in them.
Yeah, from the Bible.
But I want to
But how
ask.
can we still, when we're working all the time and trying to pay for mortgage, pay for rent, pay for food, when we're busy and we can't do all this stuff
Beat them,
for
yes.
because we are busy taking care of them.
But here's
you remember that?
here's what I
we got
found.
the beat.
I don't want those licks
As
again.
the older
Back in the
person
day,
on
we
this,
were
I'm
able
the
to
older
do
person
that.
on this panel,
You should.
that no
Wrong.
matter
You hit them.
how they strayed by their friends or association, they
Or
always
school.
remembered the fundamentals. Like I worked 2 jobs. I had to work 2 jobs in order to get them through rep whatever sports they were playing in. But now that they're in their 30s, that's grounded in them, and I see them coming back. I see them coming back to what was instilled in them. And we just have to believe that as parents, we've done the right thing. Some of them aren't going to take what we did.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be the opposite of this. Your generation was a lot easier. You see, now with these young ones having kids, they're not there for the kids. They're not even there to say a word or say, "Hey, you know what? You shouldn't do this." They're at work working,
My
busting
brother
their
and his
butt
lady
because
and
they
the
cannot
child, yeah.
afford to sit here and teach the kids because they have to go out there and
Or
work 2
They're
jobs.
sitting there doing nothing. You're wondering what the heck they're doing all day.
They're
but I can't
working.
say anything.
But
The
then,
parents are working.
as parents, as grandparents, we have to step into some of that gap.
That's
But
not,
you
that's
can't sometimes because if the parent doesn't allow that, and I'm not saying you, I'm just saying sometimes the parents they don't let you do anything. They're particular. So this is
Then you beat
very-
that parent and then you beat your grandchild right after.
Oh.
My mom tries with my niece.
Yeah.
My mom tries with my niece, but the mother is and again, I'm not trying to discriminate or downplay or whatever, but I'm honest. Some parents don't do anything.
Yeah.
So they're sitting there. You're wondering what they're doing, and then my brother's doing things one side, but he can only do so much because then you're there. What are you doing?
And I think here's the problem. We were raised in a generation where our parents beat the daylights out of us.
You feared your
I
parent.
got it.
You feared your parent more than the cops.
Right, and then we became the generation was like, I'm not gonna beat my children. They have an
Yeah.
opinion and blah blah blah. So we went too far the other way. We need to be somewhere in the middle.
I want to beat my children. I had to get it. Nah, you got to experience. One time I'm giving you. At
Listen,
some point I
you
got to
see
give you.
something out of line.
Nah.
somewhere down there.
Honestly, you don't go over
No,
and
I'm not
stick your
talking.
lip.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking
One
about
time.
abuse.
Okay,
I'm gonna
forget
pinch
it.
you under
Forget
the
it.
arm right here so nobody sees it, but you're gonna know what you did was wrong.
Listen,
Now
I
you
tell my
pinch
kids,
them and go like, she's pinching me.
Because they know what they can get away with. That's
That's my point.
you know,
But I'm
in
not
order
gonna-
to-
I'm not
you
gonna
gotta-
tear that ass
the
up.
school system trains them to do that. They teach them because like if you tell your kids nothing about that, right? They're at home, they're with you the whole time. You go to school, they go to school now. What do you think they're teaching the kids? You know, if you at
Parents can't
home,
do this to you.
your
They
parents
can't do
can't
that.
do
They can't do
this,
this. Yep.
and da da da. And you didn't tell your
It's like,
kids,
go.
hey,
You let them
don't
take
say
you.
nothing.
But the
See,
problem,
but you see how I counter that.
I will say
Tell
no.
them when they're home. Listen,
That's right.
that's it.
you want to call thing? Go ahead. That's you're gonna go with them, and you know what? It's gonna be worse. 'Cause
That's
you know
right.
what? They're gonna put you in a foster
That's
home. They're gonna
right.
put you in a home. No, we tell them straight up
what my mom
what's
said.
going to happen. It's not a sugar coat
Yeah.
of no. They're gonna put you in another family, and it's gonna be worse than what you're feeling right now over here.
And I think the
You gotta-
problem is we need to do correction with love. Right? Not like our parents who used to beat us and say we have
No,
alpha.
I don't
Yeah.
beat my kids.
Right.
I don't
I
think
tell,
we don't-
listen.
we
I
hardly
tell my,
beat them, yeah.
I threaten my daughter with, I'll be like, you want licks? No. Then listen, that's what you're going to get.
Right, but we have to have those conversations because part of the problem in 2025 is the school is raising our kids.
Yes.
We need to be responsible parents
Yeah.
and raise our children.
Yeah.
When we're talking about the LGBTQ,
Yeah.
the school shouldn't be telling our kids about that. We should be saying this is what it is and instilling that in them before they learn it in
on
school.
their own, yeah.
And that is the problem with this generation. The school system is teaching our kids what it is, and we're not stepping up to do what we need to do.
And the thing, it's not even that they're just. I get it. You want to teach them about same sex in a sense that it happens, but like
But
I said,
it's
there's
not-
books that are like this images of sexual images, and like they're going into it as
They're
if
going
like
too deep.
you're talking like these are not teenagers. These are little kids growing up, fully alive.
really alive and
Oh,
Fully
yeah.
alive. And you know what the biggest thing in there was?
Social
Seeing the
studies.
reproductive system drawn. You seen the drawn penis or the vagina or whatever, and that was a, oh my god, Or you might have seen a
even
breast
remember the
because
color. It was
breastfeeding or
purple.
something, and that was such a big deal. Like you saw it wasn't even a real penis. It was the drawing of a one, like the outline, the
Yeah.
skeleton of one or something, and you the vagina. You're like, oh, look, it's the vagina. Oh. Now you putting books with two men or two women dudes and showing the position and all that. It's like, no, why are you showing that to kids?
Yeah.
These are kids. Kids don't even. When I was a kid,
Don't
your
think
biggest
that
thing was
way.
holding the hand of a girl.
Yeah.
That was huge. You got a kiss? Oh my gosh. You were the greatest. It was the greatest day of your life.
And it's almost as if, and I could be wrong, I'm not a teacher, so if the teachers out there that might find this miseducated or misguided, but it's almost as if you're teaching a kid, this color is blue, this is a fruit, this is a vegetable, this is bread. And if you're showing somebody an image of two men or two women kissing, they're almost saying that this is right. You know what I mean? Or this is what normal is. When in actuality, if you're going off of religion, and if you're going off of what it's
Well, I
what we're
mean,
made to
it's
be,
not even religion. It's more like it's what's
To
the
keep
norm.
the
It's
world
to keep
functioning,
functioning. Yeah,
you
you
need
need to
man
be a
and
man
women
woman. You
to
can't
get
be two
together.
women to have a baby.
But here's the problem. A lot of the teachers who are teaching our kids or our grandchildren are actually not heterosexual. And that is the problem, because we're not having those deep conversations with our kids at home before they're indoctrinated into what their lifestyle is.
not necessarily.
Oh,
There-
yes,
there,
I can
no,
tell
there,
you.
there are teachers out there that actually are heterosexual that don't want to teach that curriculum, but because they want to save face and keep their
Save the job?
they have to teach that.
Yeah.
So maybe you
Even
may
the
know
Catholic
some that
schools,
are of that
Well,
ilk.
gotta choose the word.
But some of them
Catholic
actually
schools
don't
want
want to
to,
teach it.
but they have no choice. They are. It's like mandatory.
Yeah, if you teach it, then
Right,
you
because
don't work.
I know a child that went to school, and they were like, I came in a Christian home, and there's male and female, and she's like, well, I'm a female, and I have a female as a partner, and failed the child because they didn't want to adopt that lifestyle. And as parents, if we don't challenge that in the school, then our children are falling behind to this new way of life.
Since we've been out of the school system for many years,
It's not the same.
what were they teaching you on the come up? Because when you were in elementary school, grown ass people probably
Okay.
are kids and stuff. So maybe they didn't start yet with the
Yeah.
LGBT stuff yet.
Yeah, no,
They didn't?
I
Okay.
wasn't learning any of that.
Okay, so it's more reason like right
Yeah.
now it's what they do.
Like
Yeah.
Kalia's age.
Okay, so it was
Feels
just
safe.
strictly
I know
man
us.
woman they
Yeah.
were teaching, or did they teach you about?
Like
The
actually in
LGBT.
my school, they actually like didn't teach us properly. Like they kind of like it wasn't like really like the main thing that they wanted to teach us. It was just like a one day of like that like sex ed class or whatever, and then it was just like whatever.
If you don't want to ask, was it a public school? Was it a
Yeah, it was a public
Public
school.
school? Okay, alright.
Yeah,
Okay, that's a different aspect. I went Catholic school, so
yeah.
I know the two different things.
Okay. Oh, we're not. I know we have to move on to another topic, but we're not hiding from. We didn't answer our question, by the way, regarding the strip club and whatever.
Oh, we strayed so far away.
So, do you before we move on to the next topic, real quickly, do you want to answer first? But a half?
Oh,
Do you want to answer first?
or you want?
Are you allowing him to take
Whatever,
at
whatever you want to
19?
do.
Okay.
or whatever age when he's if he's ever ready, if he wants to?
Better
You allow
not.
him?
Okay.
Or you let him go on his own? Because he's going.
Hold on. Do you want to answer? Yes. or
No,
no?
you answer.
Okay.
But better
So
not.
I would actually,
Theo.
if Theo came to me and he was inquisitive, or asking Dad, I want to go to a strip club. My first answer would be, okay, why?
Oh, okay.
Why would you want to?
Why?
Why would you want to go?
Cause I want to see titties and ass.
Okay.
Grown titties and ass, Daddy. That's what I want to see.
And it's my birthday.
And it's my birthday.
That's cool.
It's the first
So-
time I get to see some live titties in my face.
So here's the honest answer, and I'm gonna give the honest answer.
Yes.
If that's what he wants to do
And really wants.
and really wants to do, I'm gonna go with him.
Oh.
And here's the thing. Here's the
Oh
reason.
no, you ain't.
Here's the reason why.
So you wanted to go?
Here's the reason
I'm
why.
coming with ya.
No, you're not. No, you're not. And here's the
Oh,
reason.
whoa, no, you're not.
No,
Oh,
you're not.
yes. Why not?
No, you're not.
I am
But
coming.
I have a good answer for that. But hold on.
Hold on, let's hear the answer.
Wait.
Let me hear the answer.
But hold on.
You know, Foxing again. Go ahead.
But I have a good answer for that. The reason why I would go with him is because I actually went on my birthday.
Not with your mama and dad, huh?
No,
Okay.
no, I went by myself to a strip club in Rexdale, Manhattan shit.
Oh my God, that's not a strip club.
Don't act,
Rexdale, too.
but here you go. Let me expunge on that.
I can see why you went there.
All right then. Let me expunge on that.
See why you went.
So I went there, right? Because A, like we all talked about already, didn't have a father figure in the house. No one talked to me or educated me on that aspect of it, right? My mother obviously warned me, these things are unacceptable. But
Jazz is here.
that's fine.
It's okay. She gotta grow up too someday.
But
She's growing up right now.
hold on a second. I'm getting to that point. So at the age of 18, I went to probably, as I consider now, one of the probably the worst clubs that you could possibly think of going. The worst, probably. So I went in. So I went in there by myself. Not only did I make the cardinal sin.
I know why you went by yourself.
Not only did I make the cardinal
You don't
sin
want to be seen
of,
dead.
not only did I make the cardinal sin of ordering food, I ordered a steak.
Yo, blood clot.
I ordered fries.
Okay,
Yo,
yeah.
you were brand fresh. This guy,
And I'm like,
this
yeah,
guy knew
yeah,
nothing. He knew nothing about shit.
Nothing.
Yeah,
And
I
guess
get
what?
that.
Guess what? I had $10 of coins and change, so I left a $10 on the main all by myself at 18 years old.
Bro.
So when I came back, when I went to the club, and I remember bragging to my friends, I think
They
I was
must have
bragging.
been laughing at him.
There you go. I remember bragging to friends, yo, what's your favorite? I went to the souk, I went to Manhattan. You went to Manhattan, shit?
That's what they laughed at.
And
Not
you-
that you went to a strip club by
and
yourself.
you,
Where you went.
and you, that too. And you ordered food. I'm like, yeah. And then slowly it came to me, like, that probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. You know what I mean? But if I had and this goes out to all those people, not to be embarrassed, but if you had a man figure, right, that said, you know what, listen, do you want to go there? Do you want to spend? We want to see how stupid.
Let's go here instead.
Let's go here. Let's go here instead. Let's go to the flea market. Let's go to the mall. Let's go to the movie. No, and my mom did the best job she could possibly do. But as to your point, when you're in a household or you go to a school that's very strict, at some point in time you're gonna want to.
You're gonna want to
rebel.
You want to know
What else is
they're
out there,
stopping
right?
you from.
And
That's the curiosity.
that's
Why
right, there's a
can't I do
there's a
that?
cu-
Why
and
don't
then-
you want me to do this?
When I was legally able to, I used that as an advantage,
Yeah.
as a reason.
Can't stop you now.
There you go. But looking back, I would much rather have someone of a male figure. Really, is that where you want to go? Or let's do this instead. I didn't have that. So
And
that's why
that's-
at this point, if Theo came to me and said, Dad, I want to experiment, I'm like, is that what you want to do? Or do you want to do something else? I mean, if you want to go, I'll show you what it's not really what it's up to be.
That's what it's pent up to be.
What it's
right?
pent up to
Yeah.
be, right? But I would rather him come to me rather than me say, hey, son, let's go to a strip club. You're 18, 19.
No. I wasn't saying you
Right,
take
and-
them. Obviously, if they want to go.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to be the first person they go, or at
That's
least
right.
be able to like.
Because God forgive if they go by themselves and they have my experience.
Because I remember the first
I
time I
would
went
go.
to a strip club, it was a bachelorette party.
Yeah.
Green, fresh, didn't know anything that was going
And
on.
how old are you?
Ended up, I think I was 21. Ended up at this, and I was like, what the hell? I wasn't even a Christian at the time, but I was so mortified about the entire experience that I was like, I don't even belong here. Had I been with a female, an older female figure at the time, it would have been completely different because they would have been able to, like you said, point certain things out. Have I ever been back to one? Hell no. Because I was like, oh my gosh, that is so gross. This is disgusting and this is completely nasty. But my boys growing up, would I want a male figure to have that real conversation with them? Absolutely. Because the only thing I could say was, don't double up the condoms, don't use Life brands, and make sure it's Trojan. I don't even know if I'm right. I'm just like, this is the proper brand that I know of, and that's it. But am I gearing them up in the right way? Probably not. And that's why I say to women, if there's a male figure in the life, even if the father's a deadbeat, make him still have that conversation with your son, because you're not doing justice.
Yeah.
We didn't get your answer, but I have. We didn't get your answer.
Oh no, I'm gonna roll up with
So she's going
Korea.
with you guys.
I will roll
Listen,
up.
I got a solution for you guys.
At the club.
like I said,
And I was
this is
embarrassed
dead.
of but
They got
Jesus out of
men, women,
her.
it's split. She go upstairs with Clee, you go downstairs with,
Would you?
and you're good.
Would you have? Okay, so
If you're- I
would
don't
you
think you want
would you wait for Kalia to come to you, or would you say?
Oh, no.
Ladies,
Kalia has to
if
come
you
to
had
me.
daughters and they wanted to go,
I'm
would
not
you-
going. I'm not. I would not want her to be going to no
So she's
club.
she's
But she's
gonna
gonna go.
I would
She's
never go
whatever.
up to you as my
She's 20
mom
she's
and
20.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go up to
No,
my
but you're
mother
a
and
different
start
generation.
asking
You're a
my-
different
even
generation.
now, I couldn't
Kalia
even do that.
is a
Kalia
different
is gonna
generation.
be doing that.
Hold on.
Okay, yeah,
Bachelor,
you're right.
we call it bachelorette for girls.
Yeah.
Bachelorette party. Bachelorette party when Kalia gets married, right? Assuming
Or
you're
she's
gonna-
going,
you're gonna-
or a friend of hers.
You're gonna partake in it, and
Right?
they're gonna go
Yeah.
to and Plia wants you to go. Or would you say, Plia, let's go out here for your bachelorette? Would that be one of your choices to go to?
My decision?
Yes.
It won't be the club.
But okay, the
I will bring a stripper to the home. Keep your penis in your drawers. Shake whatever booty you got, but you ain't taking that out. Period.
Okay.
I will bring the stripper to the home.
Okay. On whose budget?
On yours.
Ours.
Who would pay for no male?
I'm not bringing no male
stripper. Coming in some cop uniform.
Hey, you only live once.
Live once and die quick. All right. Want to hear the next one? 2-minute break? TJ, 2-minute break? 2-minute break.
We'll take a 2 minute. We'll take a 2 minute. This will be a
Good half.
commercial. We gotta make up a commercial.
Good half.
We gotta make a commercial.
Good half. Good half.
Commercial?
Good half.
Oh no, yeah, we're gonna make up one to put on. We're gonna make up one to put in
Oh,
there.
to put in there.
Yeah, we'll
So we're halfway there.
Matlock.
stretch the leg. Stretch the leg.
So it's on BT Plus.
Episode 5
Good job.
now.
So if I search on the box and I
Jack,
put divorce,
come on. Everybody can talk
I
about
don't
it.
play video games like that.
Pac-Man.
Greatest of all time.
NHL?
NHL '94.
Okay, there you go.
Pac-Man.
Okay, TJ, you ready?
Super Nintendo.
And Super Mario.
He's always ready.
Yes,
Whenever
Super
you're ready,
Mario. I
I
forgot. I
remember
was
when my
like,
sister got we got the game and she spent the
As
whole
long as it's
night,
recording.
the whole day, and I sat there beside her trying to like get the
I
game.
remember having all of my 17 staff at
action.
my way customer service looking for Spider-Man for Xbox.
All right, so our
All right,
next
before we
topic.
continue, just let everyone know that we got our own cards now. The business cards we're gonna start putting out there. Flip it, scan it, get the Instagram, the YouTube, and you get the Den of Owls network.
Special shout out to who did that for us?
TJ, the one and only
Man,
the man that's the man,
The
and
man.
he's not behind the man because he is the man.
The
It's
man.
TJ.
the man, the myth, the legend, TJ. We have
Y'all
girls.
don't see it right now, but the amount of
Girls are-
cameras we got back here right now that he's functioning on his own, folks. We need to hire this man.
The amount of girls in the background that are throwing bras at him right now.
What?
Jeez. Easy.
They're throwing the B's and the P's at him, you know what I'm saying?
We see you, TJ. We see you blushing. We see you.
All lies, y'all. All lies.
This guy's like, whatever.
FYI.
Whatever y'all say. All
All
right.
right, so we're gonna step into some video game action right here. I am proud to admit that I don't care. I don't give two craps. I am 40. How old am I, Karen? 40
That's
something
how
year
old
old.
he is. You don't remember.
43.
Stop counting at a certain
I am
number.
still.
Coming.
I am still
43.
an avid video game player. My favorite game right now is Call of Duty. Used to be NBA 2K.
He's lying. It's not Call of Duty because you suck at Call of Duty.
Oh!
Oh.
Hey, man! Ah, let it go. Let the shells go.
Excuse me.
The glasses.
What are you ranked right now in Call of Duty?
I haven't played.
What are you
but
ranked
if I
right now in Call of
did
Duty?
play,
What are you
I would
ranked
be
right now
on
in Call of
top.
Duty? What are you ranked on Call of Duty?
I haven't played.
It's not close to me. Anyway, I am a Call of Duty king.
Okay.
But since we're on the subject of video games, I'm pretty sure, regardless of what age you are right now, every one of us at some point in time played video games.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about which video game was your favorite growing up, and what games belong on Mount Rushmore. What are the Mount Rushmore video games? So when we use the term Mount Rushmore, it's a metaphor, as in the States they have the best, I guess, 4 presidents that ever existed in the United States history. So that's their Mount Rushmore. So we're going to incorporate that into what video games belong on the Mount Rushmore of greatest of all video games of all time.
Now,
Right?
are we making this, or is this yours? Like, everyone's own mount? Because
Everyone's own Mount Rushmore.
Because if you try to do for, like, a collective of everyone, it's going to be hard because, you know, like, obviously the games we grew up on look nothing like what they have now.
True.
And people are gonna be
Back
like,
in
oh,
the
the
day,
games
back
now
in
are
the
so
day.
much better.
So it's back in the day.
But it doesn't
games.
mean it
Back
was
in the
better.
Yeah,
Games
back in
now
the day
may not
games.
be better. Games back in the day are hard.
Yeah.
So this is going to be actually
Back
very.
in the day games.
They're hard.
So this is going to be very nostalgic for a lot of people here, going back to Super Mario, Pac-Man. But we'll go.
It
we'll
might
do
be a
round
learning
two.
experience for
Yeah.
some of the young people here.
You guys might have to Google these games.
No, Mario is on.
No,
the
that's you don't gotta
video
Google
game.
that. If you don't know who Super Mario is, sorry, you
Yeah.
don't play video games at all.
So we're going to start
Okay.
with Special K.
All right.
Favorite video game growing
Yeah,
up?
we're gonna do video game junkies here.
You
gotta
know
go
what?
first.
To be honest with you, it was the game that I cheated on. So there's a game that I found out that you can like
Found
do a
loopholes.
cheat code.
That's not
I
cheating.
don't know the name of it,
cheating.
but
It's like-
it goes up, down, left, right, BA select, start.
Was that
Up,
Contra?
Down, left, right,
It
A, B,
was
A.
Contra?
Contra!
That is on the Mount Rushmore.
That's
for
it!
Sure,
So
it's Contra.
I killed that video
Is that
game.
unlimited lives? Is that code? Was that for
Yes,
unlimited lives?
it was unlimited guns, live, everything, everything.
And
It
that was for what system? That was Super
Nintendo.
Super
yeah,
Nintendo.
No, Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Regular.
Yeah.
Nintendo. Oh, okay, so you're going back.
They
Way
might
back.
have it on
Way
Super
back.
also,
That
but
was
the
my
original when it
game.
started, the first one Contra
Yeah,
was on Nintendo.
that was my game
That's the
for
best one.
a long minute.
So you ranked it as your all-time favorite?
Yeah, because I never died.
Listen, ain't nothing wrong with that because Contra, even now I look for the game.
And I love the
And when I
this
see,
spreader.
if I do
Spreader.
find it, it's
The spray.
expensive.
The
Spray
spray,
one,
yeah, yeah.
the spreader. It's like
Oh,
spray the bullets.
yeah.
So Jamaican spread out. Not spread.
Spreader.
Spread out.
Spreader.
Shout out to Jason, aka Pops. Me and you used to play that back in the day religiously every
Yeah, I
single
love that
day.
game.
I think I was a
You trying
red
to
character,
podcast,
he was a
Pops?
blue character. Pops, we go back. I remember that game, man. Remember that game. That was good
He's
times.
big time acting up now, so we need you on here. Let us know what it
Yeah.
is. We need the dirty stories.
Yeah.
The good ones too, but we need that dirt.
Denzel in training, we got you. Remember
Yeah,
us when
yeah.
you make it big time, brother.
Yeah, he the next Denzel. We got that.
Oh, and it was Mario.
Which one?
Which
There
one?
There's
was
a whole bunch of
three,
Marios.
Mario 3,
Yeah,
where
okay, I see it.
you go into like use the whistle,
The
you go to
tail
the
and
next
the-
level,
Okay, okay.
and you're going to the next level. You know, like yeah,
Who's your favorite character then?
it's Mario.
Luigi. Okay, you're going.
Like it's obviously
Now,
Mario.
mine was Luigi. Come on.
I
It's
like
too easy to
Luigi.
pick Mario.
I like
Everybody,
Luigi now.
trust
That's
me.
my guy right
Everybody
now.
picks Mario.
because Mario's the older, right?
Mario's the main character, pretty much.
Mario's a
And then
short
Luigi,
one.
Yeah, I know
Luigi's
that,
a
but
skinny,
then
tall
Luigi
one.
was always
Tallest
a second.
in green.
See, and I'm always a second. I wasn't
So Luigi?
Second, yes.
Okay,
I
Luigi.
Luigi.
So So Mario, Contra, anything else?
But back in the day,
Back in the day, yeah. Or even now.
Oh,
Doesn't matter.
Pac-Man.
Any game.
Pac-Man?
Pac-Man, 100%. Because that's the only one. Like,
That's your-
I go to the arcade and that's where I'm jumping on.
Okay,
Yeah.
so on your Mount Rushmore so far, we got Pac-Man, we
Yep.
got Contra, and
Yep.
we got Mario.
That's
your
right.
three?
That's your
Alright.
three?
That's my three.
Okay. What about you?
Oh my god, okay.
play games?
I don't.
Okay.
Okay, the only thing like I like played growing up was like, you know, the DSi.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and I used to play like Mario Party, Mario
Okay, so
Okay.
Mario Kart.
There you go.
Like
Mario
that's
Kart.
it. Like that's like
That's fine.
my
That's
favorite.
big.
That's
Mario
big.
Kart.
That's
You're
big.
right.
That's
I
big.
used to like watch my brother and my cousin used to like play like GTA
Yes.
and Black Ops and stuff, but I just used to watch,
Yeah.
right?
See?
And then whenever I used to like play, like sometimes it would be like, oh, you can like play GTA. Like I would just drive the car.
Yeah.
Or, like,
You wouldn't rob
like,
anybody? You don't beat up anybody? No?
I'd probably
No,
be in the
like
same
sometimes
boat.
I would like,
Throw a punch.
I would just get like a police chase.
You're the
my
driver,
cousins
you're the
would just
getaway.
be like, oh, like, yeah, like get away from them. Like they would like.
And
like,
you
be-
would?
Like be.
Oh,
like, no,
Jazz,
no,
you're a
like-
criminal. You're a criminal.
She's doing what she's supposed
You'd
to
run
do.
away from the cops?
She's trying to
Like
survive.
I would try, but like I
Trying to
would
survive.
always get
You're
caught. Like I
Not a
would.
criminal,
I
yo.
would truly
In the video
cry.
game, in the video game, she'd be told to pull over.
I can't. I don't know how. Pull over, run someone over at the same time. Oh, God.
Yeah.
So GTA?
Yeah, yeah, like I used to like just driving, like I was a kid.
Just drive it.
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, and that was it. Or like I used to have like a Xbox 360.
Mhm.
So old, right? I used to play Just Dance
That's
on
not
that, or
old.
like Minecraft. Like I used to have Minecraft on that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Were you,
and I
Like
used to
Minecraft.
just build.
Okay.
were you good at Minecraft? Were you good at any of these games, Jazz?
Like no, I was gonna
You just
like.
played it. You just played it. I get you. I get you.
I used to be good sometimes.
I get you. You had your
Like, I would-
moments.
For Minecraft, I would like go mining and like look for diamonds and like all that kind of stuff, right? Which is like it's like hard.
Is that the movie they just did with
They
Yeah,
also
yeah.
did a movie.
Yeah, they made a movie.
Let me tell you how till this day.
Joseph
Yeah.
was hooked.
Hooked on it. But let me tell you this day, I still don't get the premise of Minecraft.
Me neither.
Even when we watched the movie, I
I
had to.
didn't watch it, but I saw clips of it. I'm like, why is
I still
everyone
don't get it.
crazy?
I still don't get it.
Build
I
it.
just know that you're supposed to
Build
build
stuff,
stuff.
I think.
There's so much things.
Build
behind
and
it.
kill and get their stuff. Like I don't
At
know.
least I had to sit through it at the theater with Noah.
Oh my god.
I was like,
You know,
It's
in one
like
ear,
a
out
Still
the
lost
other.
at this point. Eh?
Yeah, because I
Like-
saw a clip of it and I'm like, what is
Still don't get
everyone
it.
crazy
Just build
over
stuff.
this? I don't
I-
understand.
I guess in our back in the day, the thing that we would come close. Probably Pac-Man.
and the
Pac-Man
thing
was
is
building
I
stuff too,
love.
right?
I might not like
Pat
that.
me not building. Pat me, you're just
No,
trying to
tear it down.
That part of
No,
dust
it's
and not
not.
get eaten.
What's the block?
You're just trying to get eaten. You're trying to eat and not get eaten. That's
Yeah.
it.
But you're building barriers for you not to get eaten.
No,
right?
you don't build it. It's already built.
You're just trying to avoid it, and then you're
You're
trying to
going
get
through
certain
the
things
little
where okay, it
things.
makes you bigger. Now you can go eat
Yeah,
them.
and
But they
cutting
don't
it
die
down.
when you eat them.
Clearly,
They just go
I'm
back
not a
home.
Pac-Man expert.
And they
My
come
bad.
back
Oh,
at
and
you.
snakes. Snakes is a good one on the phone.
Oh,
the
Nokia,
snakes.
the brick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Snake?
snake was a good
You're
one.
going back in time for that.
Oh, I am.
You're producing-
We're talking about back in the
You're
time.
producing your age on that.
You
Oh,
might,
shame, my
you
bad.
might as well just start talking.
Y'all know my
Atari.
age now.
Yeah,
Into Atari games.
you may as well just start talking about
Like,
the
I was
decorations.
literally going like this. Snakes,
Sega.
slow.
Atari.
Sega
Oh, what?
Genesis,
Where,
yeah.
hold on, where
The
did
ping pong with Atari.
Hold on.
Oh my god, that was a good one too. The
What
ping
up?
pong.
That's all you have to do is move up and down. That was it.
Who did I have an argument with? No one believes me. You can actually beat Tetris. Yes or no?
Yes.
Was I the only one to
Pretty
beat? Was I the only one to beat Tetris?
No, you can beat Tetris.
What comes at the end?
I don't know.
The
I don't remember
rocket.
it. I
Every
don't
time
remember,
I
but
try,
you can beat
listen,
Tetris.
Every time I try to explain this to somebody, they never believe me.
Someone will.
Just like the chocolate pop. We're not gonna get into that conversation.
Chocolate.
I'm not gonna knock you on that. That was
That's a
other
whole
guy.
other
Yeah.
episode.
See, you're
For those that know me,
That's
chocolate
exactly the man's reaction.
That's
in our
what
You
group.
mean like Coke, like
But
Pepsi?
chocolate, but in pop form.
pop. This is gonna be another hour.
Don't explain it.
If you guys want me to explain.
No,
He's-
no,
if
no,
you
no,
know
no,
He's
no,
gonna
about
tell you
chocolate
not to, but I'll
pop,
just
just
I like
leave it in the
chocolate, but
comments.
not
There was a drink back in the they started right after.
No.
No.
Sorry.
No.
Anyways.
Just
There was
explain
a-
it, sir. We don't need to go
There was a
deep.
drink back in the day on John Garden. It mixed chocolate and pop. It was made by Arizona. Look it up. You can actually get it on Amazon right now. Very tasteful. It sounds disgusting, but
Thanks, but
It was not in Mississauga, y'all. It was not.
don't
in
knock it till you
Mississauga.
try it. Chocolate pop.
But John
All right, go
Garland
ahead.
was our stomping ground. Go ahead.
But
Chocolate pop sponsor us if you know.
Not in
Promote
Mississauga.
me like that.
But every time I try to tell somebody you can beat Tetris, they never believe me. At the very end, for those of you that have passed Tetris,
How many levels?
there's
You remember? How many levels
lots,
there are?
lots upon lots. There's probably 100. But at the very end, there's a rocket that flies up and the game finishes. True story. Look it up. For those who
There's
passed,
got to be an ending, obviously.
for those who passed
People
Tetris,
probably haven't reached
let
it.
me know if I'm lying. So, top 5.
So
Sorry.
you're telling me you beat
Five.
you'd beat it?
Enough
Oh,
times.
damn. I'm not even a video game head. You want me to give you 5?
Okay, top 3. I know one. So go ahead.
Yeah, obviously I'll give you number 1.
yeah.
Well, obviously, okay, no, I'll put Contra on my list.
Whoops.
Because it's a sick game.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Contra's on there. So I still look for it now.
I want to.
My game back in the day, NHL 94.
I used to beat your ass all the
You
time.
used to suck. Listen,
Yo.
bro,
Yo.
you were not
Oh,
touching
there,
me.
yo,
that
let me
day.
tell you.
When I brought it
Let me
here
tell
that
you,
day
DJ, yo, let
and
me-
whooped you.
Yo, you want to come by and play?
Whoop
Want to come by and play, DJ? You want to come by and play?
No.
Want to come by and play
No,
NHL?
no.
Yeah, I beat him like 3-0.
listen,
3-0. Same
listen.
wrap around the move. Same wrap around the net.
because what I do
Montreal
over here.
Canadiens.
Listen, when it comes to games and any type of competition,
I'm the
what
best.
I do is I don't beat people. I uplift them. Right? So when they get their wins, that doesn't make me feel bad. As much as they want to be like, oh, you like, no, you won. It makes you feel better, right? So what did I do? I uplifted your spirit.
Oh my
The one thing I'll give him.
He's not a sore loser,
Listen,
y'all.
I had
the
one- I had one
the
move.
No.
I had one move.
We're not talking about NHL. NHL, he can yap all he wants. He got destroyed in that.
We need a
He's
time-
not touching me in that.
we need a time
I'll
machine.
give him one game that I put him on, and he actually got good at it. Even kind of stopped
Poker?
playing it. No.
Oh.
I will give you the Maddens. You got better at the Maddens.
Oh.
Because I would, in the beginning when you said yes, I would bust you, and then eventually you got good at
Oh,
it.
yeah, Madden.
So I am not a man. I'm not one of those guys that I can give my props to it. And you know what? I can take credit in that because I created that, and I uplifted you to become better at it. So you know what? That win for him is a win for me. Okay.
Hey, listen. If you invite somebody over to your gates to play video games, you may as well. You have to beat them consistently. This man invited me over to his place to
I
play
was.
video game, and I beat you.
And then he eventually got the game himself and got better at it.
A good show.
But he will never touch me in NHL 94.
Karen,
Never.
if
I
we
will
work together
talk
and I
trash in
invited
that
you over to
game
my place,
to
there is no
anyone.
way I am letting you beat me. Period.
And it happened to him.
Not in my house.
In this house.
Not in my house.
Right in his living room.
Listen.
Gave him the beatings on 94. If
We
he
are-
even scored a goal, it was because I was nice about
Not
it.
saying a word.
We're
I
gonna-
had to let him play his fool, let him do whatever he wants.
TJ, we're gonna set
Listen,
up a date.
I
We're
used
gonna
to
get a TV. We're gonna bring the old SNES system. I'm gonna prove this.
Listen,
I'm gonna make this guy an
listen.
example.
Listen,
I'm gonna make an example.
Not
Trust me.
necessarily.
me and my cousin used to play this game so much that we got so good at it that we had to make stipulations
You
for
got-
it to be good.
You got so
we
good
had
at
to,
it.
We had to make stipulations where it's like, listen, none of this cheap stuff, walking and do wrap around. No. One timers only. The only how you can go is if you hear that breakaway beat. It goes beep beep. Then you can go up and do whatever you want. Other than that, it's gotta be one time because it's too easy to score in that game. I'll let this brother do whatever he wants in the game, and he still get smacked up easily.
Those are some serious
Easy.
words,
I
now.
will talk the most in each other.
Woo!
To anyone, I will talk smack in that game.
Yeah.
Every other
We
game,
need that game.
shooting games, any other, you can take that.
Hey,
I am
listen.
not a shotter in the games. I'm
Listen.
not a shooter. I'll give that to the wife. I am not a shooter in the game. I'm not that great. Yeah. She's a gunner.
I didn't know that.
When it comes to those type of games, bow and
You
arrow
play
stuff
Call
and
of
stuff,
Duty?
gunner. I'll get my moments,
Oh shoot,
but
that's
I'm
a
not,
thousand
I
gems.
can admit that. But
So what you got? You got Contra. You got NHL. What else?
Contra, N94.
Yeah, it is.
You know what? The Mario parties. They're wicked games. But there's one for the Wii. That I think it's.
What is it called?
Is it Mario Party 8? No, I can't remember which one it is. It's a good one that we like. But all the Mario parties are good.
Which one is it? When with the
Anyone, any Super Mario Party.
Well, the one he's talking about is 8, right?
Did it go tape? I don't know what tape. Did it go tape?
I don't know which one. We have the latest one. I can't.
Oh.
There's not even numbers on those ones. Those don't even have numbers. But the Mario Party ones, those are good.
Galaxy,
games.
Mario Galaxy.
I think do we have that one. I think
Probably
Aiden,
had that
I
one.
think he has that one. I don't really play that one.
Isn't it only for the Wii?
Yeah, so
You know what Super Mario I like? You like 3? I like 3 too.
yeah. Three's
But
the
I like
best.
number 2.
No man, 3's the best.
You know,
Number 2.
I'm not talking about what's the best. I'm
Oh.
saying I like 2.
Yeah.
The reason I like 2, no time.
Very
You can
good
be
time.
no. Mario 2 has
Oh,
no time
is
for
it
your
true?
board. It's you die, that's how the board ends.
Oh.
Other than that, you can sit there in the spot and let the game sit there. Go do what you gotta do, come back and it's there.
Oh my god.
And I like using Princess because she floats.
Yeah.
So you can jump and she'll float a bit and then she'll
Then she
land on
falls
something.
down.
So I use her for a lot of
Yeah,
stuff in that game.
and mushroom.
Mushroom's cool
Mushroom's fast.
because he's quick.
Yeah,
quick.
he's
Yo, you guys
fast.
sound
Yeah,
like the
but he
experts
doesn't
on Super
float.
Mario.
But he doesn't float though. He
No,
just
but
jumps.
he's fast.
But if you need to get across something, it's
I
not
know,
just
yeah,
a leap.
it's
It's with
there.
Princess, you just
Wait,
so you're good with that
so
one.
true.
I didn't mind it. And then you, obviously with all the Marios, if you jump
But
above and go
Louis-
be
but no,
over,
but-
you can skip.
But
you
no,
can
but
skip places.
Luigi is also like her.
Luigi,
Because
I
he
used
goes
to-
like this and he's in the
Yeah.
air for a little bit.
Yeah,
before
he has
he
the
goes.
legs
remember
running.
this.
He has the
Yeah.
legs running and all that.
I know.
Yeah, he does that.
He's
But-
like,
yeah,
and
he
drops.
jumps and he goes like this.
Yeah,
And
and
he
he
goes-
falls slowly.
But like Princess, because Princess, you can
floats.
go up and
She
float.
floats.
You hold her
then she
and then
falls.
she'll drop,
Yeah.
kind of. But
Yeah.
I like number
agree.
2 for
I
that
agree
one.
with
It's
that
hard.
one.
It's kind
It
of.
was those
I haven't
two.
beaten it, but I like.
So,
like them.
so clearly,
Those will be my.
I beat it.
You beat
I
number 2.
beat
Number
it.
2.
Yeah, number 2.
so clearly Mario has to come up with a new game. For
I
these
think
two.
I did, but I don't have time.
Yeah,
These two
probably
really
did.
need a new Mario
Yeah.
game.
No, Switch. No, I killed Switch.
Absolutely.
And
But
then-
the Galaxy was my last one that I played with Mario. Yeah.
But yeah, those
The
would be
Galaxy.
mine. But my top game, yeah, NHL 94.
NHL 94.
Favorite one overall. And
What about what is it? Jam.
maybe a jam?
Yeah.
Oh, that's up there too.
Okay, I was gonna say. 'cause
stole
I
my
haven't heard
thunder,
that
though. You
one.
stole my thunder.
I haven't heard that one.
You stole my thunder.
Okay, because I remember you. I think it was you that got me into that, and I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah. So those that's your Mount Rushmore. Those three. Anything else?
Those would be because I'm not a heavy video game, so those are the ones I played. Like Contra, I put up there. I haven't played in a long time, but
That would have been.
Contra.
I would have
I don't
loved
need to
that
explain
again.
Contra.
Right?
You say Contra,
Right?
video
Boom.
game heads know. Okay,
Boom.
right?
Yeah.
So
I
those are my 3.
That's like
I gotta
ultimate.
again. I have to be like Contra is up there as one of the top games
Yes, it was.
of all times.
Yes.
So
And Ninja Turtles.
Oh my
number
God,
two,
I played
Secret of the
Ninja
Ooze.
Turtles!
Secret of the Ooze was a sick one.
you know I'm surprised
So,
that you
That
guys
was my
Super
hero.
NES.
James Bond 007.
Listen,
That belongs up there.
and 64. I
Nah.
hate
Hated
that
that
game.
game?
I told you, I do not like shooting games.
No, that game's
But
a
when I'm
classic.
hanging,
I
when I'm
did not
hanging
like
with,
that one.
with some of the brethren, them,
Yeah.
they love that game. So I was basically the sacrifice. And if we have to play 2-on-2, I'm letting you know ahead of hit. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to carry this team because I am not
Not
helping
letting
you.
loose.
I might get 1 or 2 kills, but other than that, because I'm there. And the ones I don't like the most is the one where one moves you like this, and then the other one controls this way. Hell no, hell no, because I'm there all
I swear to God,
getting shot because
I
I
swear to
can't.
God, it seems as if you just played this yesterday.
Can't do that.
It seems as if you just played this yesterday.
What?
The way that you're explaining it.
Yeah, it feels like it because every time I play those games, that's what it is. I can't do the one makes you do this and then one this way, one nah. Just let me run for. Just let me move forward. A B jump. A shoot, jump.
C.
Shoot. I don't even need C. Nintendo. It's A and B. A B. That's it.
A, B, or what? A, B, is there a C though?
That's Sega. I think Sega had the C.
Okay.
I think they had A, B, C for
Or
Sega.
was it Xbox?
I
Yeah,
didn't
Xbox had
know.
the C. And the Y.
For me, it would have to be Contra, NBA Jam, good mention. Thank you for
I
reminding
made
me.
jams up there too.
Obviously, Call of Duty.
What Call of Duty is the newer version? I'm talking about.
It belongs.
No,
we're still,
Call of Duty is not in there.
we're still sticking to back in the day.
Yes.
Okay. So
Call of Duty's
Contra,
not in there.
Contra, NBA Jam, Mortal Kombat, hands down.
I sucked at those games too.
Yeah. But Mortal Kombat.
Now that you say that, I have all the voices
coming
and the
back?
things in
Street
my head.
Fighter?
Okay.
Yeah,
Street
sure.
Fighter,
I got them
yeah.
mixed up. I think it was Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, Contra,
Either one.
NBA Jam, and I gotta go with Zelda.
Zelda was good.
gotta go
Oh
with
my
Zelda.
God, Zelda was
gotta go with
actually
Zelda.
good for play Super Mario.
See, but the thing with
The Zelda, older Zelda was the Nintendo.
Yeah.
No, Super Nintendo is when Zelda was good.
See, but the thing with
Yeah.
Zelda is, you can get stuck and it'll piss you off so much that you just want to stick there just to see, yo, I need to get past this level. It's not one of those games where you quit out of rage. You actually want to play. Just to prove the game that, yo, I'm better than you. You know what I mean? You're a computer. I'm a real person. I can beat you. So Zelda, NBA Jam, Contra, and Mortal Kombat. Mount Rushmore. What you got?
So I'm gonna go old school pinball, like the original pinball machines down on Young
Pull it.
Street or Square One
Okay.
in the arcade that you
Okay.
were pulling.
Radio?
Pac-Man and the original Mario Brothers.
The original Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't go
I
wrong.
hear that.
Those are classics.
Yeah.
Can't argue that.
Okay.
I think anything with Super Mario, you can't argue. Period.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't hate on Mario. You don't have to play it, but you can't hate.
I know. I just like to fly, so I prefer flying in the air for a long
I get
time.
that.
Instead of
You go
flying
on
for like
Yoshi.
5 seconds, like the 2 and the 1. Yeah.
But you
One
had
you
to
never
start
flew.
from
but that's
somewhere.
but that made it harder.
Yeah.
Yes. It made it harder because
You
it
had to
wasn't
develop.
those like
I know,
flying
it's
and
true.
everything else.
Bex, what you got?
Just Super Mario, the first one,
Mhm.
and that that shooting game. I'm not a
Duck Hunt.
pro, yes,
Oh,
but I remember
the
that.
duck one.
I
remember
forgot about
Pac-Man.
Hey,
Duck
did you
Hunt.
guys know you can control the bird with the second controller?
Yes. Yes, Jason taught me that. Pops taught me that. That's true.
That
I remember I heard that back in
Whoa.
the day. I forgot about it,
Whoa,
and then I heard about it again
rewind.
recently.
I remember
Apparently, with the second controller,
What the
you can control where the bird is going. They can make it back and all
I
that.
forgot about that. I'm surprised Duck Hunt never came up for anybody yet.
Oh, I forgot Tetris.
Yeah. I think you mentioned
You were
Tetris.
mentioning about beating it. You just
Yeah,
said
but
it about beating
Tetris
it.
was mine too.
Yeah.
Now, did you like playing against somebody or the solo one? Like I
The
love
solo. I
Solo,
like
yeah,
solo.
to get as
You didn't
far
get
as
like
you
did you
can.
do with the Game Boy? You had to have the attachment cord to play somebody.
Oh no.
Oh, that was amazing.
No, see, I bought all the gaming systems for my kids, but this is what I enjoyed in my practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and the snake. I love the snake.
I didn't play
The
much,
snake was
but I
my
mostly
thing.
watched my sister. She was always trying to do, and then I would play a little bit, but then I got her.
Solitaire.
No.
On the phone.
On the
No.
computer.
On the
Blocks,
computer.
blocks on the phone.
The blocks?
Yeah.
Nah, forget
Hold
that.
on.
Cherry Crush.
Nah,
Hold
forget
on,
that.
hold on.
Forget that. What's up?
Okay.
What's up?
No, hold on.
Back
Hold
in
on.
the day.
I'm gonna
talking
ask
about computer
I'm gonna-
now?
Hold on. I'm gonna ask
It
you
was
guys a question.
solitaire.
Yes. It might be the same game you're thinking of.
Muhang?
No. There's a game on the computer. Everyone did it.
Jump.
But did you know actually how to play it? Minesweeper.
No.
No.
Where you have to put
No.
the flags and thing and
No.
after
No.
the
No.
Nope.
so bro, I just put stuff anywhere. And
Nope.
just
Facts.
waited and hoped that
100%.
Oh my
100%.
God.
I know they're trying to say like if you open one.
Battleship.
Battleship
Touch
Galactica.
one.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Yes.
Honorable
There's a,
mention.
there's a
We
more,
didn't say anything about
Honorable
but
it.
those are
mention.
board games.
Honorable
Those are
mention.
more board games.
No, but we're gonna
No.
get to
No. I know you played
Games.
video. No, I know it is a video game too. But that I knew more as a board
Good
game.
mention.
Yeah,
Good
same.
mention.
I
No,
played
but they
Battleship
had
as
it
a board
on the
game.
No,
computer.
they
board
do.
game.
But I'm saying
Yeah.
when I hear Battleship,
Yeah,
the first thing I think
board
is the
game.
board game,
Same.
not
Yes,
video
yes,
game.
yes.
Okay,
Right?
okay.
Like they have Monopoly
They
Go
have
and
it
all that,
on
but when you
there.
think Monopoly, you're thinking,
The board game.
yeah. And you know
What's
what?
that? What's that game where you had to match the blocks? Like it was like an appearance. I want to say Mahon.
Jenga?
Mahon.
Wait.
They were like Asian symbols
Oh, sorry.
on white
Oh,
cards. I
no.
forgot what
That's
it's
not
called.
even- don't even bring that up.
Maji. Something like that.
Mahjong.
Mahjong or something like that.
Man,
I got it.
Special
I
case,
got
like,
addicted
don't
to
even
that
bring
game.
it up.
That game was fun. That game was fun.
So
But none of my mom
irrelevant.
Okay.
Not even worth topic.
But it's a good game, nonetheless.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, what do we got next? Oh, we're going back
Let
to.
me know when I'm ready. When you guys ready for random questions, right?
Well,
Lots
we're
of
going-
popping off.
Let's go to Becky's
wanna do a-
questions.
Becky's question.
Becky.
We're gonna
sorry.
do one of them.
Beck.
Bex.
Also,
Bex.
we're gonna take too long.
Next. What's your,
Beck.
We gotta do one of them.
okay, what's your
Let her
what is it?
let her choose
I
which
don't
one of the
know.
ones
I don't
she
remember.
suggested.
What do you want me to say?
Those are the three. There's three they said you.
Just pick one.
Pick one.
Okay, I can remember one.
That's not about you. It's about
I know, I'm trying to think of one she said. Why do men
Welcome y'all to the first ever
why do
annual
men
Ladies First Barbecue.
say all these things and then they change up on you?
Ah.
Period.
Or what? Because then I will be the only one if I pick.
No.
No.
That's
you're
fine.
not.
We
Everybody
all have
lead
an
in charge
opinion,
on this
girl.
one.
I have an opinion.
Oh yeah,
girl.
we were
On
ready.
this show,
number
Bex,
three.
Bex,
Why
on
do-
this show,
This is
everybody voices their opinion.
Today, this is the Ladies First
I don't want you to
podcast
think
right
it's just
now.
like-
Ladies
Yeah,
are
no.
No,
Ask your
not at all.
question.
Not at
Here.
So,
Ask your question.
I think it is why. I want to do two.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
Go
one
first, one
is
first.
First one.
why is there a lack of consistency in relationships when there's like ups and downs? So I understand everyone's way of thinking and dealing with things are different, but why, when it gets really hard for some people, I don't know, they run
Or
or
shut
they
down?
start turning to other things or people. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Men.
It's one
Okay,
of
well, I'm not
those
single.
things.
I'm not single. Been married.
But in your single life.
Obviously. Let's not talk about my single days. Let's not worry about those single
He's
days.
like,
My single days were single days. Okay? Leave me alone. Okay, leave me alone. I count on one hand how much relationships I had, okay? So I'm not a whore. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh,
Okay.
We're not judging.
we're
But
not judging.
We're not
consistency
judging.
wise, okay, what do you mean isn't like
So like okay, so like something happens or you would meet. Okay, so
Give us the narrative.
yeah, a scenario if you can.
So you meet with the person, you're out for tea or coffee, whatever. They're saying this, and this. You're asking questions, you're talking about things, and then they're agreeing with you just to agree because I
Yeah.
understand this now, having gone through what I've gone through. And then they get you guys are together, and then the words are not matching up with the actions after a period of time. So they know how to get you for the first month or two.
They say the
That
things and
works.
then they
Then
don't do
start
it.
lacking
works.
off and slapping off, and then they're not consistent. Yeah,
Okay.
in their actions as well.
And I never did this. Maybe if I did, I might have gotten more girls. I don't know. But I'm not saying it's a good thing.
But I was just gonna say.
I know. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it would be a good thing.
Or in the
But
end now, I don't
I
even,
think with in that aspect, majority of the men, sad to say, but yeah, they're probably looking just to get some.
you don't know who to believe in.
Exactly. Because they'll agree with, they'll say yes, this is right, this is this, oh yeah, oh yeah,
Just
this
to
is that.
get you.
And then once they get,
They
then
did.
that's when you kind of see maybe the realness, or they'll back up on certain things that they said before. Like I've
They
heard
w-
before,
they
you know,
weren't-
some men are just trash. Like
Not trash. Not to
I-
say
it's
trash.
not- I
Not
won't
to say
say trash.
trash. It's that they're not mature enough.
It's maybe the way, it's what they've
Right?
seen in society and what has been put out there in a sense that
And they're not ready.
do what you can to get
What you want.
to get the girl in the bedroom kind of thing. You know what I mean? And it's not the right thing.
And then when you do that, you're not even proper in there too. You think you're
I
good.
I can't
But
speak on that. You can
you
speak
don't
on who
know
you
better,
dealt with.
So you just try to
You can speak on who you dealt
person-
with.
Heat's in the house!
Even know how to treat you.
And you know what?
Can
I get
can we put a disclaimer?
understandable.
This is not directed towards anybody.
Right under the table!
Oh, it is.
Oh,
We're
Jesus.
not
Oh,
here.
listen,
Honestly, not here.
this is directed to the men she's dealt with. Okay, you guys were
Clearly.
okay. We'll just put it. You guys were trash. If somehow you're watching this and you were one of them, I'm sorry.
We're not
I
saying you
hope you
is.
don't get too much in your feelings.
Okay, my bad. We're
But
our bad.
hopefully you learn from this, because that's what we're trying to do here is learn. But to answer your question, a lot of the times,
You're in a safe space. Don't worry.
I don't know about the young bucks now, like what they call them, the YNs or whatever it is. You know what I mean? I know that's not supposed to be a good term for you, but anyway,
Oh my god.
the young people now, I don't know what it is now, what they're looking for. They're probably still looking for the same thing. But I know coming up, that's what it was. And the reason I think men did that just to get is because the box is put on a pedestal. And for guys to, it's known as like, it's harder for guys to get the girl than the girl to get a guy.
100%.
In a sense, right? Meaning, sexual wise, girl goes up to a guy properly, not just like, here, come have me. But you know what I mean? She like puts, spins a little game on him, and then be like, want to go do a little something. 95% of the guys are gonna be like, yeah, I'll follow you. But a man to do it to the woman,
Oh god, no.
and it's hard. So when they get it, it just feels like, oh my god, can I do that again? Can I get another? It's because it's up. So you feel like, oh, I got one. That means how much can I get? Because boom put up here, penis is put down here.
So
Right?
is it
Do
when
you see
a
what I'm
woman?
saying?
So
Exactly.
is it that when a woman has standards, it's more of a chase and a challenge for the
I think
man because
that's what it
they're
is.
like, she's got these standards, I got it, so I've got
I
the
broke
price.
through those standards,
Okay.
especially
Yeah,
if it's
that's
one
fine.
of those like,
90 days,
I don't
90
do,
day
or
rule.
I don't do these on the first, or if the girl seems like she doesn't do something and then you get her to do it, to a man that's like, because men are here. In society, that's how the treatment of it. No, okay, obviously the treatment of women isn't great, but if women really got together and said, yeah, F men, we're gonna dominate, they can do it.
So I have a
And it's
question
up
for you.
here.
I have another question. How does a man feel when a woman treats them like they're just a sex toy?
Well, yeah, for years it's been the opposite.
It's
Now-
been the opposite, and now in 2025, some women are playing that role.
It
They-
all, I think again, it's going to depend on the guy. In a sense, there's going to be guys that are going to be, hey, that's cool with that, but then you got to ask the guy, what if you're not the only guy that she says? Now are you going to have an issue with it? You may not have feelings for her and want to date her and just want sex, but knowing that she's
All
next
over.
man after you or even before you that she got with, can you deal with that?
So
And I think that's what it is. If he knows you're the only one that he's banging and you're not in a relationship, for him that's perfect. Most guys, because they're getting what they want, they don't have to deal with the relationship aspect of it. So they're getting that. Not all guys. There's guys that want the relationship,
right.
that want that and want all of that
So
together.
why is it when a man gets bun, because he's burnt multiple women along his conquer stage, but then when it's reversed and he's the one with the burn, why is it so detrimental to a male?
Because it's an ego thing.
Okay.
It's an ego thing.
And you put him down, he's probably feeling like,
And it's how it's also how he's seen amongst his peers, right? as males, we don't want to be that BITC, quote unquote, BITCH person, right? You get treated like one, right?
Okay.
So when we're treated like that, we feel less than a man, right? So it does something to our stigma, to our ego. And in the female's case, I guess you guys would feel the same way, but it hurts males more. Would you agree? No, maybe.
I think here's the thing. You know how that reggae song "When a Man Get Born"? Like when a woman gets burned, she's like, okay, it happened. I'm gonna like level up.
I don't think so.
But no, but when a man gets burned, it's like, oh my God, this happened to me. And you're right, it's like that ego got crushed.
No, I think females can feel the same way. I don't think they move.
No, but I'm not talking before. I'm talking 2025 because there's a lot of females now that have that male attribute to them.
Possibly, but I still think females take getting cheated on or not being valued as they're supposed to. They take it more to heart. I can't. You can't say that because we're.
That's true.
You can't say that we're in
That's true.
2025 and because of women empowerment, they feel.
No,
we
but
can
there's
move
a
on.
lot of women that are treating males now
I agree.
as their piece of meat. Where
Treated
before,
males like males treated women.
right, exactly. Where we never used to do it
That's
before.
like down on the floor, but it's facing up or something.
No, you're not that type of person, girl.
To answer
see how
your
it
answer your question. Go ahead.
What are you saying about the
Oh,
see when it
put it there. Put it where?
why it hurts more if a man
Oh, right there.
gets cheated on is because it's simple.
There you go.
Obviously, everyone knows it.
Thank you.
When women do it
Yeah.
and they find
Okay.
a guy,
Yay.
most women aren't just having sex with the next man just for the sex. Not to say there isn't,
There's some women that do.
but there is some.
Right.
But majority, if she cheats on the man, it's because the other man is doing something. Either there's something maybe the next man's not, her man's not doing, or she's losing the connection, whatever. But there's some type of connection she has with the guy. So it's not just sex. Because I think with a guy, if it was just you said, okay, I had sex with this guy, it was just that night, we never after that, he'll still be hurt. But I think he could get past that, right? Depending on your relationship, he could get past that, knowing that okay, it's not intentional. But you know if she cheats on you, there's that next man did something to get her attention. It's not just I'm sorry, I just needed some penis that night. Not saying it's right, but you can kind of because there's no attachment.
So is it
You
safe
still
to
have
say?
that attachment with her, and it's just.
So is it safe to say when a man cheats, it's just for his sexual pleasure?
Majority of the time,
Majority
yes.
of the time.
Majority of the
but
time,
when
yes.
a
And I
woman
think that's why
cheats,
women can
and when women
accept
cheat, there's
More
some
of a
kind of a
connection.
connection. There's an attachment. There's something that's missing that this individual now provided to them.
And the thought of losing her is much stronger than the other way, because the guy was just like, it's just sex, I want you, baby. I don't care
But is
about
it
her.
okay for a woman to accept that a man's cheated than a man to accept that a woman
I don't
is
think
cheated?
it's
Go over there and look.
acceptable wise. I think that depends on you and
Or
your
just like zoom out.
relationship.
Zoom in or zoom out.
What happened? Because I can't just be general. Like, if you cheat, you leave.
Because most men are like,
But,
well,
but when you say accept, like accept as in okay.
the infidelity. The
No,
infidelity.
but when you say accept as in okay, I'm not accepting it. We're done, or
No, accept it as
not
okay,
accepting
you
it,
did
but
this
you
time.
did it. You did it. We're gonna talk about
Okay.
it. We're gonna work from it.
Yeah.
I'm not condoning it,
No.
and I'm not quote
working
unquote
past it.
accepting
It
it.
works,
But
yeah.
I understand. I appreciate that you told
Nice.
me, and it happened, but we're not gonna move on.
Oh, it's gone.
Oh,
Okay,
he just
so
did something.
both of you being married individuals,
Is it on? Is it
if
on?
your wife had an infidelity,
Oh, no.
how is it that you would now deal with that infidelity?
That's a
We
conversation.
had to turn the other way, maybe?
Because you're throwing kids in the mix now.
Exactly.
Okay, but if it's
Oh,
okay.
there.
There's no kids? There's still a conversation. You have to have a conversation.
So you've been together, let's set it up. You've been together 10 years.
Yep.
one scenario you have kids, the other scenario you don't have kids, but there was an infidelity on the female's part. What is your next recourse?
You have to speak on it.
Yeah.
Speak on it.
You have to speak on it.
Okay.
I don't believe in you you have to talk to your female. You have to talk to her and say, listen, why did this happen? Where do we go from here? And like there's so much
Questions?
levels. Like there's so much questions that need to be answered.
Okay,
To
so
to make a decision after 10 years in a split moment, because you may
exactly.
because your attitude towards that person may change the following day. It may change a week from now, right? So you can't make a decision in a split second like that. I do believe in conversation initially.
All right.
And if things don't work out because of that reason, then call it.
Okay,
call
so
it.
What?
and before you answer, and in that, as a black man, would you be willing to take counseling sessions to
Yes.
overcome those obstacles?
That's part of the conversation.
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm going to say is, before you even have the conversation with her, conversate with yourself. Is this what you want to? Are you willing to? Do you love this woman that much? Is this something you can deal with? Has this how hurt are you
Remember,
by what they did?
the
Did
kicker was-
you do something to cause
To
this?
cause
Well, what
Because
if you
like I
don't
said,
even know how
the
to
kick-
have that
because
conversation?
like I
the
said,
kicker-
Some men
after
don't even
10
know
years-
how
The
to
kicker
do
was
that.
10 years.
listen, after 10,
They
if it's
keep
10
blaming
years,
the woman for
No, but
something
after
and
10
turning it
years,
back
but
on
that's-
them.
but that's when you
10
find
years,
out.
You have to have a
need-
conversation.
because
have
after
to have
10
that
years, you
conversation.
can't have
It's
that
just
conversation
not
with
okay. We're
yourself.
done.
Yeah.
To me,
You
You
should
never
do
had
that
a
with-
relationship. You never had a relationship.
You probably weren't really into that relationship, or somehow you might have checked out. Because, like you said, if right off the bat, you're first, obviously you're hurt, and maybe in your mind is, I'm done. But after you let 5 minutes set,
5
you-
minutes?
or a
Oh,
day.
yeah,
No,
5
Or a
minutes?
day.
no, no.
How about
It's
a
a
whole
day.
day?
No.
I'm talking about my cousin over there. It needs to be
No,
a
no.
day.
Right?
This
It's
is
a
what-
whole
no, no.
day of calm, relax.
No. This is what I'm saying. No, I'm not saying you're coming to a decision after 5 minutes. I'm saying
Okay.
after 5 minutes of in your head, oh, we're done.
Okay.
When you say that, you're
It
gonna
can't be
start
5
things are gonna
minutes.
start running in your head, right?
Right, absolutely.
After the 5 minutes, it's gonna be like, okay.
Funny.
Then you start thinking,
No,
whatever.
hold on.
You know what I mean?
We're
in
getting
general.
the male perspective because
In
we
ge-
always
in-
get the female
in general.
perspective.
When I say
of
5
this.
minutes, I'm saying
And
in a
much-
certain
much
amount of time.
Yes.
You maybe
Might be a
give
day
you an
or
hour.
two.
Yeah.
I would consider it a week.
You want to assess the situation,
I understand.
right? You want to assess the situation, right? Because off the bat you're gonna be, oh, forget that, I'm done. I'm not gonna have a what? It's 10 years. You had stuff, and again, like I said, if the woman does it, you gotta look to okay. What did I do for her to do it? That's gonna be your first question, no matter what. You're gonna be like, did I do something? And you gotta look at that. And you gotta analyze over the time because women will let you know things, right? They'll let you know things over time. Then you gotta look back and be like, you know what?
Well, you're
She
talking
did
from
say
a
this
male's
stuff.
perspective that has that leadership aspect, that has the maturity
I will give you
level,
both answers.
emotionally
I will give you
intelligent.
mine. I'm giving you for me,
Yeah.
for myself, for what
Because
I
if
would
you're not
do.
like that,
Yeah.
you're gonna manipulate and blame and put
Oh, yeah,
everything
that's what I'm
back
saying.
onto the woman, and then it's the woman that's going crazy, like starts
That's-
to be crazy. Right?
that is the typical male that will do that. I'm giving you me personally what I do. Right? I would have to analyze, especially if you're saying 10 years.
10
plus.
years.
Listen.
10 plus.
Things happen. She might have done some stuff that you didn't like, that you know. So now you did something, and you're gonna hope that she.
So
can,
what are what are some of the red flags that males normally miss when they're in a relationship and their partner's not happy?
the red flags of them or what we're doing?
What you're missing.
Missing.
So,
Red
males,
flags
the
of
male.
So the red
What the
flags
males
of the
are
male.
missing?
Yes. Good
That's a
question.
good question.
Where,
That's a very good
there
question.
could be attention. I think a lot
Eye
of it
contact.
is I think
Eye
it's
I'm a
It's
big
attention and
person
where-
of eye contact.
it's where it's I think a lot of where the woman
Eye
feels
contact?
I love eye
positioned in your life. Like, is she here? Is she here? Is she here? Like, they want to be here,
Right.
right? And the only reason they'll drop to here, you gotta have really like something life-threatening, that's like, all right, fine, I'll take the back burner for this moment. But other than that, you gotta be here.
But did you realize, like, from a woman's point of view, when a woman's nagging you, she still cares.
Yeah.
And when she becomes silent,
Oh yes.
It's when she's done.
Is when she's done.
She's done.
Yes.
So how do you prevent from the nagging to the silence? How as a male do you interject in all of that?
I cannot answer for all males.
No, I'm just
for
from
me,
your
Yeah, for
perspective.
you.
see with me,
You and
it's yes, it's weird. It's weird, and I gotta take it for myself because of how I am. I was an only child.
Oh, so you're
You
spoiled.
can't.
right?
No. Whoa. There's a difference between. Hold on. There's a difference. Spoiled does mean you're getting what you want.
You didn't get what you wanted. Not from mommy.
Mama, they ain't got
Yeah.
money to but spoil me like that. No, it wasn't like that. It was spoiling in the sense that I didn't have to share stuff. You're damn right I ain't sharing with you. Get it yourself, bruh. Maybe I'll share with you. Let me offer. Don't reach.
Yeah, you ain't getting it.
But do me off track.
But no, because
Okay.
you're giving
What
me
you
an
say?
answer from an only child's
Yes.
perspective.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where,
How I look at it,
where
if you
he's
want to
gonna
play
give
the
it to
silent
me
treatment,
from,
I can do it too.
but that's spiteful.
No, it's not
No,
spiteful.
not
That's
necessarily.
that's me. How I grew up. I know how to be by myself.
Okay.
It's
all
not.
right.
That's what I'm saying. It comes across as that,
Right.
and that's what I gotta learn to not do.
Okay.
But that's why I said it. He has
Right.
to be emotionally intelligent and mature, like mentally as well, to handle things.
Because like
they're
if
gonna keep doing
if
things
we
back
get
to
into
you.
the argument and you were like you're not talking to me. Most of the time, guys are gonna be like, come on, baby. Fine. You want to talk to me? All right. I can deal with myself on my own. I'm
And
not
how
saying
would
that's a
you-
good thing,
right.
Right? I'm not saying it's a good thing, but because I've learned to be able to be by myself,
Right.
you leaving me by myself is not a punishment.
Right. It's like this is my peace, my happy place.
And that's how I will solve my. If I have an issue, I can solve it on my own in silence, and I'll be good.
Right. And
If
for
if
you?
I'm still bothered, then I'll bring it up to you. But I can solve it.
I
So
think-
you need a little quiet time by yourself.
And I know not everyone is
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
People need to talk.
So
it
do you need
out.
to? Do you leave the
Yeah,
house
I
to
need
do
both.
that, or do
I
you
need
stay
both.
inside?
I could,
I like
but
to talk.
she may not want me to. Leave.
Okay, but do you? If she doesn't want you to leave the house, do you?
Remember what I said? She doesn't want
I won't leave
Yeah,
the
she
house.
doesn't want
I
you.
might leave
Find
the
a different
room.
Room? Okay.
A
I might
different
step
spot
out
in
the
the house.
room
Yeah.
and
And
might
go
take
in your own
you might
corner.
take that as are you leaving the car? No,
Yeah.
I'm not leaving the car. I don't want to say something stupid,
Mhm.
something that I'm saying it now because I'm angry, but
Yeah.
I don't mean it. But it's
Yeah.
because I'm angry. I'm
I'm
saying,
saying it. Okay.
But
and now
that's
you
it.
might take that as
But-
that's how you feel.
That's right.
Because a
Because you're
woman,
angry.
from a woman's point of view, whatever you say when you're angry or you're drunk,
Doesn't
It's
matter.
part
is what
Truth.
you wanted to say in the
That's
first place,
right.
but you never had the guts,
Guts to say it.
But then there's things. But there's
And
a
that's
lot.
what we
But you know what?
feel.
There's a lot of things that you may have a feeling about me, and that's only in that moment. That doesn't mean that's how you feel
You-
all the time about me. So that's why, in that moment I might say something because I'm drunk. But for you to now feel like, oh, that's how you always felt about me. No, it's just maybe in these moments when we fight. Yeah, that's how I feel. I want to do something to you in that moment. Not that I'm going to do it.
Right.
I'm not going to do it. I said it. I didn't mean it, but I get what you're saying. Even jokes. When someone busts a joke,
Yeah.
there's a small truth behind the joke. But it doesn't mean I believe it or that's my truth.
Right.
It's just, I understand it. I'm gonna make a joke.
I think the thing that we're missing here is that everybody is an individual.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Everybody
Situation's different.
everybody grew up differently. Everybody was
That's
raised
right, raised
everybody
differently.
was raised differently.
Yeah.
Not every household is the exact same,
Same.
right? Individual, 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 right? So if someone, for example, the way that DJ H2O said, if he wants to be in his quiet space, right, in his room by himself, and if people are like that, that's his way of calming down.
Right, and we
That's-
shouldn't, and a woman shouldn't antagonize that if he's like, I need my space. This is my quiet zone to think through this.
Right? Hold
As
on.
a mature individual, we should allow that person to have their quiet space.
Alternatively, though, right? Again, everybody does their own thing. So if my thing isn't, or if his thing isn't, or if your thing isn't staying in a household or staying in a room where there's constant bickering or there's constant angst,
Correct.
and your way of peace is going for a walk, or going to the library,
Right.
or
Going for a drive.
going for a drive, or as long as it's not anything negative,
Destructive.
destructive to your relationship, but that's your piece. Some people say they go to a spot where their and their parents used to go fishing,
Right.
or they used to have some quiet time with their loved one that deceased. That's their area of peace.
But we need to respect that, and that's
You need
where
to respect that.
Yes.
But like I said, not all people are the same. So putting everybody in one box saying, okay, well, you have to be like this because you're the man and this is the argument, so
Yeah.
or you have to be like this because you're the woman and this is that doesn't make, to me, that's not fair to the individual, and it's not respected to how they grew up and how they were raised. Right?
No, absolutely. Because for me, if I'm in that zone, I will go for an hour massage because I'm zoning out the entire world
Yeah.
for that hour. I'm getting my massage. I'm getting my zen back, and then I can come and deal with that situation.
Yeah, mine
Because
is
I
shopping.
need to detach. I
That's
need
what
to
I was getting to.
detach in order to collect my thoughts
You gotta
to
come
even
back
have
to
the
it.
conversation.
That's right.
I can't deal with it right then and there because I know I'm a pit bull. I know whatever you give me, I'm
You
giving
see
you
me
back
shopping?
in that
What's
moment.
wrong?
So I will remove myself, collect my thoughts, come back and address the conversation after.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's different.
Everyone's
Everybody's
different. Yeah, mine is actually shopping. Like I literally go and say, you know what?
See,
I'm going
retail
shopping
therapy
and I'm
can
gonna
be
get something
dangerous.
really nice.
Yeah, like eating too.
But even so,
Eating
both
too,
dangerous.
But-
yeah,
but-
like
but-
going to a restaurant by
there you go.
myself.
But even so, it's not the same every single time.
Exactly.
Like
it's different.
like her thing may
Yeah.
be shopping.
yeah.
One day it may be
Yeah.
staying inside the house.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
go,
One
going
day
to the
could be
restaurant
video
myself,
games,
eating
right?
something. Yeah.
For me, it's going out for a drive.
Yeah.
Sticking inside my
Scenery.
room and playing Call of Duty for freaking
Yeah.
3 hours.
Right.
And
I know.
Oh,
But that's
3 hours is nothing.
No, but
Three
that's
hours
the
is
problem. We need to learn the people that we're with
Yes,
and
sir.
what their de-escalation or their methodical way of thinking and what they need to process a situation.
Yeah.
And I think in this generation, we're not allowing people to be individuals.
Be themselves.
right.
And to be themselves and to even have that conversation because
Yeah.
one of the questions I ask people like when I'm talking to them is like when you're in a stressful situation how do you de-escalate yourself because then I know if we ever encounter this when you do this
Yeah.
you're not mad at me, it has nothing to do with me,
Good
you're just
point.
trying to process
Good point.
what's happening in the
Good
moment.
point, good point. And for all those couples or people that actually have sit-down conversations at that time, we're not knocking that at all.
Yeah.
Like if that's comfortable,
can do it.
if you can do that, that's
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine.
But not everyone.
Everyone's gonna be like
is
you.
Like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I have told the wife at the end of like, it's not about fighting. It's not that you fight.
Or
A
you
lot of
win.
people-
No, it's a winning. It's a
no,
winning.
it's not even that. It's
But
not,
it is. It is.
No,
Oh,
no, 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 no,
I'm
no,
right. I'm right.
But it's not
It's-
about
And
that.
it's
I'm
not
saying
about
it's
that.
not. It's not the fact that you fight. Because some people break up. Oh, we fight a lot. That's not because you fight. What it is how you handle it.
Correct.
You're gonna fight. You have to fight.
Because you're
If you
two
don't
different
fight,
individuals,
you-
somebody's fake.
You got to figure out how you handle it, and how you handle it is what's gonna either keep your relationship or break it. Not that you're fighting.
Right.
When people say, "Oh, we fought too much," did
Okay.
you solve the fight? Did you try and solve the fight? No, we just got into fights and we just kept fighting. No. You gotta sit. You gotta talk it out. You gotta come to a compromise in the end. At the end of it, you gotta compromise.
And I think that's the problem. People don't want to put in the work in order to have a substantial relationship because it's two different individuals coming together to form this relationship and backgrounds, cultures, experiences.
Yeah.
There's always going to be some negativity, but if you can work through that and have conversations, then you're on a better playing field.
Okay. Hold up.
And it's not about who's winning and who's losing
Yeah.
and I won this argument. It's not about that.
And that shouldn't be. But a lot of people do that.
A lot of people
Exactly.
do that. Yeah.
But you should
I mean,
also-
but we're all guilty for it too.
All right,
Hold
so
on one day.
so apparently we live on the TikTok here. Someone's TikTok here.
we're live on the
And
TikTok.
supposedly someone is just comments
Do you have
being
a
made
random
here.
comment?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what up? Shout out.
Who's
Shout
the
out
user?
TikTok.
User's name is?
Make sure you follow. Make sure you
Who knows
follow
the
us on
username?
Instagram.
Shout out to who? Shout out to who?
Jay.
Shout out to Jay.
Shout out to Jay.
Okay, so apparently
Wait, is that guy or girl?
it's a guy.
What up, Jay? Big Jay.
So
Follow the podcast, Jay.
he's saying,
She's on Instagram.
but in the nutshell, deep underlining issues in the deep to express and another deeper level and of trauma, men hold on to emotions that erupt to express. They need to ask the questions why, where, when, how, and what.
I
Thank
was
you,
gonna
Jay.
talk about that.
Good response, Jay. Good response.
Thank you, Jay.
The
Like
way
that.
to
Good for you.
you should be able
Keep them coming.
you should be able to bring up stuff without the other person thinking you're coming at them or trying to cause a fight or trying to, make it into a negative thing. Because I found that if you're not able to discuss things, as you were saying in the beginning, like especially in the moment, you're having your whatever's going on, and you're trying to talk, you're trying to say something, and you want to talk about it, but the other person thinks you're just coming at them and you're fighting
Or
them.
being too dramatic.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have that. Because sometimes when you try to discuss things, the person is feeling that way. Like you're coming at them,
Yeah.
wanting to fight when you're not. You just want to discuss.
That's why I was saying before, like, don't use stuff that they've told you against.
As a
Don't
tool.
throw it
As
back
a
at
tool.
them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right?
as a
Like,
tool.
So if
like
I've
the
gone through
trauma, if I had-
something in my
yeah.
childhood,
Don't
don't bring
use
it up
yeah.
in an argument,
yeah.
when
Yeah.
we're going through our situation.
Yeah.
That you're not playing fair.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
almost playing dirty at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
You can't be like, oh,
I
that's
agree.
why your mother did it
I
when you were a
agree.
child, or that's why your father when you were a child.
Yeah, like that's underhanded. Like that's
Yeah.
dirty.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't. Thank you, Jay.
Good
Thank
answer,
you, Jay.
Thank you for your comment. Shout out to
Thank
Jay.
you.
Keep them coming, by the way.
Follow us.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow too.
All right, so
Want to go on the podcast, be in the audience too, guys.
Be here.
DM us if you want to be on podcast or even be in the audience.
So we got a
We
next
welcome
topic.
all, baby.
We got a next topic here.
How many?
Now this one is a little bit touchy.
Good. 10.
Oh,
The career.
okay.
All right.
Oh.
So
14.
Before we go to randoms.
Okay.
I want everybody to get to put in their input on this. All right, male and female. Prostitution.
Oh, prostitution. Here we
Do
go.
you guys consider it an actual job or a result of being too lazy to work hard to get a job?
No, it's a multiple things because I think the person could have went through a lot of stuff in their childhood. It's a buildup of things that were never probably worked on, or the person was never helped, or just never gotten the support and help needed to deal with certain things. So over time, that's the only way they know how to manage it, and then they go into that same direction, and that's how all they know to an extent.
Why prostitution?
So I'm gonna add to that.
Okay.
In our line of work, some people are forced into prostitution because they're with a partner and the partner
That
starts
introduce
selling
them.
them, and that's how they introduce, and that's how the money comes in. So because we work in the region of Peel, Mississauga has every highway and the airport coming through. So prostitution and employment trafficking is the highest within the city in which we live in. And some people are introduced from the minute they come to the airport. Their passports are
Right
taken
away.
from them,
Right
and they've
away.
got to work off the debt that's owed in a country where they came from.
Thank you.
So
That's how they
it's
got here,
not
okay.
it's not a matter of are they being lazy.
Yeah.
They're trying to protect their family from being killed
They
in a
don't wanna
different
do it.
country. They don't want to do it,
Okay.
but it's a survival mode.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Good point. Good point.
What about the ones that are not in that situation, but just doing it because they need the
Quick
money?
money.
Quick
Yeah.
money
And-
to pay for their college funds, whatever they
And
need
to
it
that,
for.
I don't agree with that because you're right. There are some people who are like, I can go on the pole, I can be this
And get this
escort
amount of money.
or I can be on sugardaddies.com and I'm gonna get like $4,000 a month, and then I'm gonna become a lawyer, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
In that instance, I don't agree with it.
But what if it's to actually support their family?
It's like, the
So
outcome
they have
is that
two,
they're
they
doing
have two young
good.
kids.
That's you.
The outcome is that they're trying to build
well, that's-
themselves. Not just to get money and buy it on shoes and purses, but they're actually using that money to go further their career.
So that I'm not trying to say I agree or disagree, but
Okay.
you always have to wonder what that person went through to get where they are. I always try to put myself in their position. So doesn't mean I'm agreeing with things or whatever, but I understand and empathize, and I feel for that person and try to see why they got there. Why are they in this position? So if it's to further themselves,
Yeah.
this is hard because my body to me
Is
is
a
more
temple.
important. Yeah. And I'm not just a piece of
Absolutely.
meat or material.
Then survivor.
You might think something else, but for me, after everything I've been through too, you
Well,
don't
hold on.
just get that.
Right.
Hold on.
That work.
Your body is more. Your body is more important to you than surviving and getting a
But here's the
maintaining a
thing.
life for your family.
No, but here's the thing. We
Surviving
live
in
in
that type of way.
no,
surviving
we
that type.
yeah.
That's
Because
what
if
I'm
you're
saying.
not there, how are they? If you're not proper, how is the rest of the stuff going to be proper too?
Well, if your kids are, if you're struggling
but-
to put, right,
But here's the thing: we live in a country
Uh-huh.
where we have social assistance.
okay,
We've got all these
They have
other
all the care.
benefits that the
That's another
government is now kicking in. So you can have a rent that's $2,300, and the government has programs where you can get COP to pay that rent. So it's something that they've decided morally
Absolutely.
within themselves that that's what they want to do because they want the quick money.
Is that,
So
is
I
that
used to
promoted
work
a lot
at
though?
no, I used to
everyone
work for
know about
social
it?
services, and I know a lot of women who are coming in driving BMWs, driving Porsche,
I've seen
getting
that
checks
too.
for
I've seen that too.
$4,000 a month, and I'm working and I'm not even grossing that for the month.
Nor
right?
the car they're
Nor,
pushing.
nor am I able to drive that car, and we have the same amount of kids, but they're getting that money for free. I'm having to work for it. So prostitution, when you put it in that light, it's a choice. It's a lifestyle that they want because they want the bling, they want the glamour and everything else. If you live in Canada, there's so many benefits that you get topped up on that you can afford to have. Is it publicized? Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're on Ontario Works, they're going to tell you. If you
There's
talk
the
to somebody,
resources.
they will explain to you how to get A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
If you're in the U.S., that's a whole different ball game.
so for those people that take advantage of those resources, right? Because there's been a stigma or a complaint that there's a group of whether it be male or females that use those resources for too long, right? How long is too long? Would you say?
Oh my gosh, this is like all me. No,
I
So
think,
some-
I think
so-
if it's generational, so if
Yeah.
it's first, second, and third generation, because I was, privy to some information, it was fourth generation on that. That's too long.
That's too long.
That's way too long. If you're first generation and you're using it to get over a hump until you can get to where you're going, no problem. As of when we're looking at today, if you have to go on it, there's no stigma from me because life right now is hard.
It's hard.
Is
I
there,
was
is
gonna bring
is
that
up.
there,
It's hard.
but there's no date for them to,
Come on.
that they're told to come up.
No,
Yeah.
Because I
no.
know in the
See,
States, I know they used to make that joke about FICA. 2 years, then
Oh
you got 2
my
years. Like, you can only be on something for a
God.
limited time.
Not
Like
anymore.
within that time, you
Not
gotta
anymore.
fund.
Even if
Do you
they-
think it should be though? Do you think there should be a limit?
Well,
Because
you
again,
do have
you
lazy
get that
people
fourth
too,
generation
right?
stuff.
You do have
right?
lazy people that just sit there and just like, you know what?
so as I
This is
said,
the way.
I know someone personally.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm not, and it's a situation where again I'm not judging, but you know what you're getting. You know how much you get. You have a daughter,
Yeah.
and you're living in a certain housing. I'm not stigmatizing. I'm not discriminating against
No, I hear
anybody.
you.
But you know what you're getting. Meanwhile, I'm busting my ass
Yeah.
to do what I have to do. But you're collecting all the money. You're at home getting your nails done and your hair done and whatever. Okay, but yet you don't want to move up. You know what I mean?
So should there be a limit? Should there be a deadline?
In certain situations, I can't. Again, I'm not God,
Yeah.
right? So I think maybe when it comes to certain things, maybe because people will continue to ride the system.
That's
There's
right.
not going to be nothing left for us when we get old.
And we're
in
paying
our-
for
when we're
it with
seniors.
taxes. You gotta pay
I think.
for it.
I think. they-
My heart still goes out to people. Don't get me wrong. Mental health, addictions, and
Yes.
whatever situations you're in. I'm thankful that there is support.
That's what I'm gonna say.
My
I
heart
think
is
it
going out
depends on
to
your
you.
situation.
But it does depend on what's going on because again, this person I know, she knows
Nothing
what she's
wrong.
getting. So why are you gonna leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
She
I'm
don't
saying.
wanna move up.
Aside from those stuff, they should be watching. Like, okay, we see you actively going for work, doing stuff. Maybe it's not working out. We'll support you until you get it. But if you see someone, they're not trying for anything. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not sick, nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Just times were hard or whatever.
not,
But
yeah.
they can try. They're not looking for jobs. They're not applying or anything. They're just taking the checks. And there's no date.
And then you have a
That-
kid.
that
you
shouldn't-
get money
that
for those
shouldn't be
kids.
allowed.
You get
So
money
where
for each child.
where I feel the
Go be a
disconnect is
prostitute.
when people are on the system and they're doing side jobs on the side or opening businesses with my tax dollars and still
There's
collecting.
a
Not-
problem
not shouldn't be
there.
right either.
There's a
That
problem
that
there.
they should be
Checking that out.
criminally charged for that stuff.
Pay back whatever it is.
100%.
Exactly. Pay
Well,
back.
But who's the watchdog for that?
That's the thing.
That's the thing.
There is a
It should be the
watchdog,
government,
and
right?
you can call it in because
No,
I
not
can
me
say
calling it in. they should be on top of that.
They should be on top
But
of
Should
that.
here's
someone
the
watch
thing:
And they should
there
be on
are
top of people who are not.
there are some
who's been
people
killing
that
the
have 4
system.
different names and collect
Oh, yeah.
social assistance
On one
on
name.
one name, then the second name, then the third name, then the fourth
So
name,
my-
and then they open a barbershop and a hairdressing
Oh my
salon.
God, wait,
And then
name.
when they get caught, they're crying.
So,
They'll,
so, so, let- so let me ask you guys a
they'll
question.
get caught. It's just gonna take time.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
they
they
will
probably
eventually get
use their
taught.
kid's name.
So let me ask you guys a question: is the angst then towards the people taking advantage of the system, or should the angst be directed towards the people that are in charge of the system?
It's the ones taking advantage of the system, right? Because
But they're
everybody
taking
has
advantage of the Canadian system.
right. That's what I said. The people taking advantage of the system, because there are some people who genuinely need the
help.
Like
Right.
you and I work at the same place. Used to
Right.
work at the same place,
Mhm.
and I know of 2 of our colleagues that were homeless, right?
Mhm.
So they went through a divorce,
Wow.
had child support,
Mhm.
couldn't afford to live.
Mhm.
They continued working, but they lived out of their vehicle.
Mhm.
Those are the ones we need to help to get back onto their
Well, yeah.
feet.
100%.
Yes.
But what I'm saying
Yes.
is, if I'm in charge of funds, shouldn't I be in charge of where it's going, where it's going to,
But it's hard
responsibly?
because there's so many people.
Like
And
I
I'm
should,
pretty
my,
sure
my anger should
that
be
department is probably like 5 people checking millions of people. So by the time you get to the one person, someone who's like, yeah, they might have gone through. You'll get to them, but it's gonna be time before you get to them. Right? So
I just feel we need to hold the
People more
government's
accountable.
feet to the fire, rather than being so angry at these people that actually take advantage. Because they're using
I
the
get
praise.
it.
They're like, listen, if I'm going into a situation where I'm getting free money for an X amount of time,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why not pull
I'm gonna
it?
keep on
Pull
doing
it.
it.
But they should.
But
Well,
it's
the
like
government-
it's like
there's a
during
limit.
COVID when all those people got served for no reason, and then when they did their taxes and had to pay back, they're blaming the government. But you got that money in the wrong way,
Good
so you
point.
should be paying
Good
it
point.
back.
That's a very good.
yeah, you know
that's a
that.
very good-
Right?
Yeah,
So
if
they
you're
had-
cheating,
but look at that.
No, but
But look
that's a
at that.
different. That's
but-
cheating. Itself.
No.
But if I find a loophole,
Yeah.
that's not necessarily me cheating. Like those guys were cheating. Like they told you, like they're getting money when they're not supposed to.
Okay.
Yeah.
You specifically shouldn't be getting this money, and you're getting it. But if I'm supposed to be getting the money, but now I find a little loophole that makes me continuously get the money, then it's on the government to
Governments,
close the
100%.
loophole, not necessarily me to stop. Because the
100%.
But
next
here's
person,
the thing: when the
next
government
person's gonna take
closes,
advantage
when
of
the
it.
government closes the loophole, we're gonna become like the United States, where people who desperately need it will get it, right? So we're in a situation now where the lower income they're getting it, the middle class, which we all are sitting at, we are maybe a couple paychecks away from being in the poverty line and not really going up, right?
Yeah.
And that's the problem. We don't know how to correctly balance the system that we have right now. And yes, the government is responsible. Is there enough social service workers in order to go through and to check all those files? Absolutely not, because
That's
the government's
the-
not
that's
going to
the
hire
hard
all of
truth.
those people
Yeah.
to start combing through, right? But we need to be responsible as Canadians and as individuals. If you don't need it, don't go on the system. Give it to those who actually,
actually
need it.
need
I know.
it.
But you know.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
And
But,
same-
but
it's
to
same
what
goes
you're saying,
for,
though, that's what I'm saying with the loophole.
the
It's not
food
necessarily
banks.
close it, but
Not everybody needs
the
Tight.
reason
it.
you have to close it is because again,
Yeah.
you don't have enough people to check all the ones using that loophole.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Correct.
if you could find them out, you can
You'll
leave the
find them
loophole
out quick,
and just
quick.
kick out the people that are
Yeah.
using it as a disadvantage, and the ones that are using
And-
it
and-
properly,
and-
keep them.
And let's be real, like I don't think anybody really is gonna rat somebody out saying, "Hey, I know Tom and Dickie at this
Allah
address."
yes tell them to rat them out all the time.
Oh, they will. There's people.
Well, I mean, there goes the good Samaritan out the window, but there's not a lot of those people that would do that.
They've got a fraud line, and that fraud line, those messages come in quick and heavy. Oh, so and so has a cleaning business. I see them leaving the house every single day, and they're doing A, B, C, D, and E, and then it's up to that person to validate what that statement was, and they put their funds on hold until that whole investigation's done.
That is a whopping topic that I'm sure is gonna have a lot of conversations and back and forth. But
All right, we
at
go.
the end of the day, we all love this country. We just like people taking advantage of the system all the time. Good time. What do you have next?
You gonna lighten up the mood for the rest?
Sure. What do you have?
Let's
Random questions here.
Random questions.
All right. So, I got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7 questions that I take. Okay. So, all right. If you could have any fictional character's wardrobe There's a lot for the women more anymore.
Oh.
Whose would it be? It's just a fictional. I guess it could mean any character on TV. Doesn't matter.
Not even apply
Pick a
to-
character.
Because I like the Marvel comics and DC comics.
Then if
They,
that's what
they
you-
were the same things all the
No,
time.
that's okay. Any
Like
whatever
Wonder
it is.
Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
It could
I don't know,
it could be a
weirder stuff,
TV. It could be
but
a regular TV show.
I want Michelle Obama's wardrobe.
Hey, but she's not fiction. Is she fiction?
No, you said fiction.
Oh, you
That's
said
what the question
fictional.
is.
Oh, fictional.
Yeah.
Bionic Woman.
Okay. Never watched, but I will take your answer.
Jazzy Fizzle.
I have no idea.
Pick
I'll
one.
be honest.
There's no young.
Marge Simpson.
I like the old stuff.
There's even no Simpson
I like
anymore.
the
You watch
old
Simpson.
stuff.
Peg Bundy.
Jersey
Oh my
Shore?
gosh, no.
I guess they're not fictional. They are real people.
Right. That's why.
I guess you can't use reality show then. Okay.
Yeah.
Fiction.
I don't know what you
I
guys
can't
watch now.
think of any.
I don't know any sitcoms.
I like
that
my
are for young
own
people now.
style. Thank you.
I ain't gonna lie, if we're gonna role play Karen one special K.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
If we're gonna
whoa.
role play one of these
Role play what?
if we're gonna, if
Role play what?
Hold on,
Young ears here.
listen. If we're-
Cover.
I'm keeping this innocent. Relax. If we're gonna, you know what'd be cool? If you came out looking like Peg Bundy.
You're gonna be Al?
And I'll be Al.
That's not fiction.
The nice, what do you call them? The
Come
pumps?
in and just sit there.
The puff hair.
The puff here,
The
the
spandex.
pumps, and the bonbons. Bonbons and
getting
a
a
cigarette.
You're getting a wig.
I'm getting a wig
Yep.
just for this
With
one.
a bonbon.
Yeah, and the
But
bonbons.
just for
That's
this
it.
one. That one
High
special
heels and
night.
bonbons.
Birthday.
One,
Birthday.
one day when he comes home, she should be standing there.
Birthday.
Have you
Birthday.
sit on the couch, have the leg kick you.
Whoa. I didn't say Ted Bundy. I said Peg Bundy.
That's what's
So
up.
Oh, I
Al
thought you
and
said
from
Ted
No, that's just
Bundy.
the hair. That's
Very
what I'm talking
mature.
about.
Ted Bundy
Little
is
children.
Ted Bundy is
Yeah.
completely
Al
different.
and
Where did you get Ted from?
She
No one
I
understands
thought I
had
heard
her
Ted. I thought I heard
bonbons and
Ted.
her glass of wine.
Yeah, and your mom just sit there and
Next
watch
question.
TV.
Woohoo!
Peg Bundy it is.
On your
Wait,
birthday.
you have one?
On your birthday.
For me?
Yeah, I know we don't care about wardrobe.
If I wanted to dress up for somebody?
It's your fictional character's
Fictional character?
wardrobe that you would want, not dress up as.
Spider-Man!
Just their wardrobe.
Ah, man.
You're still you. You're still you, but you just want their wardrobe.
You took it from me. That's a Batman. Hands down. I
Batman.
love Batman. Yo, Batman.
Yeah.
Batman.
And you,
The coat. The cape.
The cape.
Kate Crusader.
The deep voice.
Dropping.
I would love to come into my house like, I am Batman.
I am
Go into my
Batman.
room.
Cape.
Go with my cape. on
Whoosh.
my neck.
Whoosh. Whoosh.
Would you want me to see me as Batman?
No.
Okay.
That's Warren.
All right.
What about you?
I don't really have a fictional. No, I don't really.
Oh my god, no Iron Man.
Wardrobe?
Iron Man?
Iron
I'm
Man.
looking superhero.
Me as Iron Man? Me?
Iron Man, yes. Woo!
I like the mysterious Batman.
No, Iron Man, baby.
Hey, if you got my Peg Bundy, I'm down.
Aquaman is good
I
too.
just said I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
Jazz, what about you? What would you like your significant other to come in like? What character? What costume? If you have to pick one. So he
You
opened
know
up
what?
the door.
You
and
know
he-
what?
Yeah, chest out and everything.
Me as Princess Jasmine.
Oh, I like
Aladdin?
it. That's a nice one. Blah, 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 blah,
You want him riding in a carpet and
Yeah.
everything?
That would be
A
good.
magic
blah.
carpet.
Can you imagine Jasmine?
Would he have to come and
I like
sing
that.
as well?
Yes.
Wow, Arabian Nights and all
We
that?
need
Oh my God.
we need a carpet.
A magic carpet. A
The magic one.
Good answer. Good answer.
I like that.
Yeah.
Aladdin.
Yes.
That was a good answer.
If you could have dinner with a famous person, living or dead, who would you
Wow,
choose?
that's a good one.
I'm having dinner with Barack Obama.
Okay.
Living or dead?
Wait, give me two. Give me a living and a dead. This would be fun.
Oh.
If there's one, you don't have to. If you have.
I'll be
Barack
entertained.
Obama and Bob Marley.
Okay.
Listen, I'll be entertained. I'm not gonna say it. I won't say it.
No,
No, y'all
say it.
say
You gotta
it.
say
No.
it. You gotta say
You
it.
can't do
You
that.
can't
You can't
do
say
that.
not
You can't do
saying
that.
You know what? Let me
can't- no,
let
no,
me
no, no,
let
you
me
can't do
let me
that.
push
And
it
wait,
out.
I have
You
one
can't
more.
do that.
I'm gonna push it
Pop,
out.
too.
Nope.
Pop. Pop, Bob Marley and Barack Obama.
Okay.
Pick one. Come on, Karen.
No, I won't.
It's
I
okay, come on.
refuse to say it.
Why?
Gotta say it.
Now
You can't
you're
say
not-
that.
Now you're in a safe. You're in a
You
safe
can't say
space.
that. You're in a safe space.
Karen, you're in a safe space.
You're in a safe space.
Karen,
The audience is waiting.
Karen, the audience is waiting.
Why?
They're twiddling their.
Because
Come on.
I wanna pick his brain.
Okay, let's go.
Okay,
I'm
that's
not
not
saying
a
it.
bad
Who
one.
is
So it is bad.
It's not bad.
It is.
It's not
Now
bad.
you're doing that.
Donald Trump.
Hey,
It
that
wasn't
would
Donald
still
Trump.
be okay
No, it
with
was
you.
Donald
It
Trump.
wasn't Donald
I
Trump.
wanna pick his brain.
Yeah, that's
Okay, what's
not.
wrong with Donald
That's not
Trump?
what's wrong with that.
That's nothing.
Bad.
Why?
No.
You want to see how loony is and
Yeah.
how his train of thinking is,
You
right?
think you're gonna get backlash?
There you go.
I wanna pick his brain.
Okay. Who
That's a
else?
good one.
Who else?
Anybody else?
Kanye West.
Oh my god, yes!
So you're all
No,
right.
Oh,
Yes.
I would love. I mean, the things that he
It's yours,
said,
yeah.
I would love
That's
to
your
know.
dinner.
Now,
That's
What's
your dinner.
really going on? Like, I have to pick his brain.
now keep in mind, are you picking his brain to find out why he is
The way he is.
Or,
I'm
or,
reading
or,
you. I want to read you. I'm a reader.
or do you
I'm
like,
a reader.
or do you like his business acumen? He's a billionaire.
I'm not talking about that.
So you wouldn't want to know how to become a billionaire?
No, I just want to pick his brain. I want to know why he is the way he is.
But he's made a lot of money. That part wouldn't come into the conversation. How he made his money?
He has a team, babe. His team is in his ear.
So it's only because
Why?
you only want to see how the way you want to find out why he is.
Why is the way he is.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Absolutely.
Jazzy,
You know, the Kardashians.
Oh
Really?
boy. Which one?
No, like the whole family.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
okay. Remember her generation. You can't be all looking down. That's good. That's what they know.
And they made the money.
They made money. Hey.
I understand why too.
But that's because
That's
roles are
a
different
small
then.
part. I know everyone wants to say because of the tape, but they've done a lot since then.
They've
There's
done
been
a
a lot
whole
So
since
they
then.
were doing something before that.
And the
Before the
mother,
tape,
as a
because she was
business
rolling
manager,
with them.
she's just pushed them
She
to
was
a whole
rolling
new
with the
level.
what's the girl's
What were they
name?
called?
Paris
Kylie
Paris
Hilton.
Hilton.
Yeah.
Okay,
Besides
Paris
that,
Hilton.
Yeah.
Okay.
what about you?
She just said it. Oh. Michael Jackson.
You gotta say it though.
I do Michael Jackson, Jordan,
Yes.
Kobe.
help. Leave that to him.
Exactly.
Those would be my two for now. There's others that I would throw in there, but if I just had to pick two majors, probably be
And
those.
for you?
For me, so my three, the obvious one would be Kobe Bryant. The second one would have to be O.J. Simpson.
OJ.
I want to have a one.
Okay, why
You want
OJ?
to know if you did it?
No cameras. OJ, did you do
Did you
it?
do it?
Or did you
I know that you
know?
did it, but just friggin' say it.
You ain't gonna say it.
Just say it. It's just me
You
and
can't
you.
say that because then you'll
So
be like,
that's
okay,
why-
if you know I did it, why do I need to say
Listen,
it?
bro. I just want to hear you say it. Just say you did it and get it over with. I won't tell anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
All right.
So OJ, Kobe, and my third one would have to be Denzel Washington. And the reason why I picked Denzel Washington is that I want to find out how he manages to keep away from all the people.
Yes.
He's such a mature, down-to-earth celebrity, and you have all these kooks running around Hollywood acting some type of different way.
Right.
But he's managed to have a stable relationship with his wife, keep out of the circus,
Yeah.
and have a sense of normalcy within his
Yeah.
day-to-day life.
No,
I would love to
absolutely.
pick his brain to see how the hell he does that. And he's a man of God.
All right.
I'm just thinking, because I was just thought, I can't believe I just thought of this in my head. It's so bad, just like you.
Yeah.
And I don't know why this thought.
Oh my God, I started something.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Who?
Say it.
You gotta
gotta
say it. If I said it, you gotta
It's,
say it.
it's in the whole media now with him.
Oh my
That
God.
guy. Yeah.
Oh.
What is going on?
On.
Like,
Yes. Why?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what? Like,
What made
led
you?
to do this?
Thank
what
you.
were you thinking at this point?
You'd
That's
honestly
right.
want to know why he does
He
things
does what he does.
Yeah. Instead of
He
being
did
instead of
it.
speculating, let me
Yeah.
find out.
Let me
Yeah.
find the facts.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
exactly. Because
Yeah.
you need to know. We would love to know that.
Now, would you?
Oh, in the video. Like how we saw that.
Yes.
How the hell could you
Will
do
you
that?
justify
And then
that?
they're not even charging him for that.
Is there
There
any?
was a whole bunch of other
Oh,
charges
she
they're
missed that
charging him
whole
for.
episode.
Is there anything in that conversation that dinner that would change your view of him whatsoever? You want to have a conversation with him.
Oh,
You want to pick his brain. Is there anything that could come out of his mouth to say, for you to say, I kind of get it?
No.
Then what's the
Aside from
then what's the point of the dinner?
Aside from Cassie.
I just want to know.
Then what's the point of the dinner?
You want to know?
I just want to know, like,
His
thought
mindset.
His
process.
methodical thinking was.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
thinking.
because you have money, and then you could see it in the other shows because he did other groups.
He's
He was selling
controlling.
other groups, and you saw how he would speak to some of them.
Yeah, he
girls
was
at times.
controlling. It's his way
Because
of
you have
knowing.
money, so you think you're a god, and you think you own everybody and
That's
everything, right? So what leads you to think in this kind of way, and that you're better and you're bigger because you have money,
Money.
and that you can do what you want, and then no one's gonna come at you if you do something.
Do you know
wrong.
why? Because he's got away with it for so many years, and that's the issue.
You're right.
Thank you.
You're
That's
right.
the issue. So it's not
That's
like
all
it's not like
Hollywood.
oh
Yeah,
why?
okay, they didn't keep
It's
doing
because
it.
he's been getting away with it for so many years that now he's like, oh, I feel like I am.
Entitled.
Yeah, and it's like I'm invincible. But now he caught up to him because now the person that seen it leaked it out there, and now he's in trouble.
You can. It's not a wrong answer. If you want to pick his grade, pick his grade. But
Yeah, I can't
let's
believe
make sure
it.
at the end of the dinner.
Normally
he says,
I would never. And
I
then
know.
you
It's so like so
started
yeah.
it, and
Like
now
I
that
would
just
love
came
to
into
know
my
why
head.
you think the way you think.
Yeah.
Why like I want to get into it. I want to know why. I want to pick your brain, bro.
good one. Good topics.
Alright.
Very good. What any more randoms?
We'll do two more.
Two more.
Okay.
We'll stop it.
I love the randoms.
Barbecue after.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
Alright.
Barbecue should be rolling. What's happening? It's not
Okay,
heating
so-
up.
Hopefully this amount works, but whatever. You just won 100,000 to open your own business. This is not you to go buy
Gallivant.
cars and gallivant. It's
Show
you to
us.
open
Show
your
us.
own business. What kind of business is it? He already heard you now.
Oh.
What kind of business would you open? You get $100,000 here to open a business.
Okay.
Start a business.
Hold on. How much?
100,000 or
100,000.
whatever can work now. I don't know.
Okay. So you know what? Because I know school is mandatory, and you need a school in society. I'll open up a busing company where I get the kids to and from school, to trips, etc. That is what I would do because I am capable of driving a bus. I know the ins and outs of a bus, and that will be my business. And the twist is y'all get food because I'm a
Okay.
cook.
Yes.
So you damn well know when you're going on trips, I am giving y'all some food.
All right. So you got like a 3-in-1 on there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Straight
You
up.
better start that quick.
I'm gonna start that quick.
Someone might
Give
take
me
your-
some money!
Someone might take your idea. You better get that.
Oh shoes, okay.
Oh, we have it
We
recorded.
have it recorded.
We have it recorded.
It's
It's
live.
dated. It's
On
dated. So we're good.
5/19.
Yeah.
On today's
Alrighty.
date, it was her
Well,
idea.
hey, I'm still the best cook, so y'all can try.
Facts.
So we
Facts.
good. We good. We good. You ain't gonna take it. You ain't gonna take it.
What you got, Jazz? 100 G's.
I've always wanted to like open like a bakery, like
Nice.
a cafe or something.
Bakery be on there.
Like a coffee shop. I
Yeah,
want to
like
have
my
that
own
too.
little
Yeah.
one, like you know those cute.
What would it be called?
Jazzy.
Jazzy.
Tea taste.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't thought that much of it yet, but like you know, I've always like wanted to like a cute little one that I just ran by myself.
Well, you're still young, and that's still a dream that's
That's
attainable.
right.
You
Let's
can
do
that.
it. Make
Shout
it
out to
happen.
Jazz. Jesus, Jazz. That's gonna happen. Speak that into existence.
Yes.
What about you, DJ H2O?
Bro, I have a one goal that I want. I don't know if it'll happen, but I want to open
Somebody that.
like a community center, like a multi-purpose community center.
Okay.
Like it's not just it's like sports, like you do everything in there. Like there's sports, like you know sports. If you're in the arts, so you want a studio in there, like you can record music, make music, whatever. If you're an artist in drawing and stuff like that in there. Like just basically somewhere you can go if you have nowhere to go. And
I
you
like
can
that.
learn,
I like that.
you can do anything while you're there just to keep people off the streets.
Amen.
You have nowhere to go, like oh,
Amen.
I'm bored, I don't have nothing to do. Instead of just going wandering the streets to go to the mall and just walk around, where you might end up doing something, hey, let me go to the community center and I can learn something.
I like that.
Make something, create
I like
something,
that. I like
whatever it is.
I like that.
I want to have one big one and then have a bunch of little ones in different places. I
I like
don't know where I want the big one, but
I like that. I like that. For me, I'm all about catering to individuals and couples. So I think I've talked to you before about this. I want to open up a shop or an establishment where you get a sauna, You get dinner, and you get a massage all in one. So it's like a 3-in-1. So if you want a new dating experience with your significant other, you could come to this spot. You can start off at either. You can either start with the dinner and with the sauna, right? And then a massage in any order. I love it. Complete package. It could be good for Valentine's Day, your birthday, anniversary. Instead of just going to one spot for a massage or one spot for a sauna or one spot for dinner, it's combined into one spot. One stop
Everything.
spot. That's my idea.
Like that.
What about you? What you got?
Just like kind of like a cafe slash place where you know you can learn stuff, arts, singing, prayer, learning about different things. So it's kind of like Europe, but more at a cafe kind of perspective.
Settings?
Yeah, where
Okay.
you can have tea, coffee,
Nice.
food,
We'll
like
open up the
bakery.
cafe in the community center.
There you go. There you go.
What about you?
I would open a safe haven for women who want to reinvent themselves. So if they were going through domestic abuse or they've just lost their husband, a center where they can come and learn those skills to if they want to open their own business or they want to change their career path, something like that.
I like that. I like that. These are all excellent answers, and I actually do believe that these are going to come true. If not one, two. If not two,
Yeah, someone
three.
take it over.
If not three, every single one of these are going to come true.
Okay.
I speak that into existence.
Amen.
Very good ideas. Very good.
I'm gonna make this one.
This the last one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, what we got?
A short enough question.
All right.
All right. Gotta dip into your TV bag here, folks. If you could be part of a family of any TV show, which
Oh
family would
my
you choose?
god. TV
like this.
shows?
I would be the Cosby Show.
Ah.
I don't care what they say.
Yeah,
about
no, we're not
Cosby.
talking about that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
We're
that.
talking
I
about
would
TV.
be-
That's not
Bill
TV.
Cosby.
Okay,
That's a
okay.
good
so
one.
He's
yeah.
not TV. Huxtable's who you're talking about.
Amen.
That's who we're talking about.
Yes,
We're not talking about
because growing up, they showed
That
us
was
good
nice.
example
Yeah, that was
of like an urban family up and coming.
Got you.
All right.
I like that.
I'm jumping in there before anyone else because I know you're gonna say it. Since you took them, I'm gonna take the next family. I'm gonna be a Banks.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
That's my black family.
Fresh Prince of
Praise
Bel-Air.
up Bel-Air.
That's what I said. I'm a
That's
Banks.
a Banks.
Yeah,
Jump on
I'm
it
with
first.
you. I'm with you on that.
Alright.
Actually.
Okay.
That's my black
I'm
family.
with you. I want to be in a rich family, okay, baby?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking, so it's up to you.
I thought you would
said
choose
that.
Al.
I said
The Bundys. You want to be a Bundy?
Oh my god.
Go ahead. Jazz?
Or even
She already said
Full House.
Kardashian.
Full House is
Oh
good.
my god, yeah.
Yeah, see? Oh, you want to be a part of the Kardashians?
No, okay. The only show I can think of right now is That's So Raven. But like
Okay.
the family.
Oh,
No,
the
that's
family's
sick.
not that great though.
Yeah.
They're
You
like,
mean?
dude, they're just chill. They're just
The
like,
Raven. Tell me what's gonna happen.
Right? Yeah.
Raven.
That's the only show I can think of right now.
Wow.
But
What do you got?
I've been having That's So Raven. I told you That's So Raven moments, like flashbacks.
Both on the
So
same
every
show.
time I tell her what I remember something, I'm like,
That's what it is.
I'll be like cleaning or washing the dishes, and I'm like,
That's what it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can relate to that. But I said Cosby Show and Fresh Prince.
Yeah. What about Full House?
Yeah, I would
I
choose
grew
that.
up
For
with
my
that
white
too.
family,
Yeah,
I choose Full
I,
House.
know, I think Full
That
House
would
would
be
be my
mine.
second choice.
Yeah.
What's the fascination
Or
with Full House? I still don't get it.
Little House on the Prairie is
that's a
actually
little
really
too
good.
much. So that's a little
I
too
love
white.
it.
In the
That's a little too
beginning,
white.
I liked it in the beginning.
I love the whole little house on the prairie. They're outside running in a
On
field.
the field.
Just the field, just to be away from everybody. Oh,
True story.
amazing.
True story. True story. The soundtrack to that
It made
made
so
me cry.
sad.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
That soundtrack made me shed a tear still.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it made me. That and the Lassie soundtrack.
Yeah.
No idea why.
Lassie?
Yeah, man. For me, I like to live in color. I want to be part
Live
of
in
sketch comedy.
color?
Yeah.
That's a family? That's not really a family.
No.
It's a TV family.
Urkel. What
not
is
really a
Urkel
family.
again? What is
Family
Urkel?
Matters?
Family
Family
Matters is a
Matters?
good one too.
Okay, if we're keeping with just the family,
Family
I
Matters.
know where you go. You go Rosie.
no, I'm not going to this.
I'm joking.
Oh my god.
No. You know what? You know what? Does it have to be family? It could be like a sitcom.
Family. We said
Sitcom,
family.
I
Like,
mean,
you gotta
if
be in
there's
the
a family aspect, it doesn't have to have kids. It could be a married couple. I don't know, but just a little aspect of a family.
Then I gotta keep it Married with Children.
Okay.
Like
Married with
that's my
Children.
number one show.
I hear you.
I gotta keep it Married with Children.
I hear you.
I love the dynamic there between Peg and Al. I love the kids. I like how the kids just do whatever they want.
Oh my God, that's
No.
not gonna be our kids.
Exactly.
No, I like it. I would have to say Married with Children.
Never.
Married with Children. That's my pick. That's my pick.
Train those kids.
What about you, off-screen TJ? What's your show that you'd be a part of? You have to pick one. Family show. Keeping it G-rated.
Boys Meet World, man.
Boy Meets
Boy
World?
Meets World?
Okay! That's trying to get a Topanga in his house. I hear that. You know what? Yeah, that
Would it be
that's
would
a
it-
sick one too. Still.
Is it a way to get closer to Panga?
Alright. Yeah, that Topanga.
You see that or Power Rangers?
Oh my
Alright.
God, okay,
You
stop.
know what?
Yeah, I guess
That
they're a
reminds
family.
me now of
That is so not
the
family.
Wonder Years. Remember that?
Wonder
show?
Years, yeah, but I don't know.
I know, yeah.
Wonder Years was
Oh, Wonder
at times
Years.
were too serious.
Oh, I
Yes.
forgot about
yeah,
that.
yeah. It got a little too serious.
forgot.
Yeah, we
sometimes.
Full House. Full House is good.
Yeah. Well,
All right, let's wrap it up.
let's say thank
We
you.
want to give special thanks. We need.
He's not here.
We need her up.
Well, she's not here, so we
not
give her. She'll
left
give her a
the
shout out. She'll
screen.
see it.
We'll give her a shout out. Oh no, she's coming. She's coming. She's coming. She's coming with her.
Is she
All right, so then we'll
asking?
start this
Let's
way.
hustle.
Start this way. Start
Okay.
this way. We'll
We
start
want to
here.
give a special shout out and a special thanks to Special K
Okay,
for
off
coming
screen
and
K.
joining us for the first time.
Off screen K, becoming on screen.
Special K, excellent job, excellent opinions.
Thank you,
We
man.
want to give a shout out to, I'm gonna get her name right this time for sure,
Jazzy.
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 Jazzy up in
Special
the
shout out to Jazzy, thank you for joining us. We
Bringing the
appreciate
TikTok
you.
live to us. Thank you. Thank you.
We want to give an also special shout out to
SWB.
People.
the Eagles in the house. Special shout out, thank you for coming out and joining us. We appreciate you.
You're welcome.
And we want to give a special shout out and thanks to Bex. She made the
Late, but she made
she
it.
made the journey from
Fashionably late.
from Timbuktu.
Brampton.
Oh,
Timbuktu.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you all for attending our little podcast here.
First
We look forward to having
Ladies
you guys
First
back.
Barbecue.
Okay.
Right, you guys. I said we look forward to having you all back.
Next year's.
Yes, that is a firm commitment.
Even before then, but definitely for the next year's second annual Ladies First Barbecue.
That's right.
Hopefully, also we got some ladies who want to
And before we
be a
go,
part of that.
want to give any special shout outs to anybody? Special K, any special shout outs? Any groups? Any
Anything?
To
people?
my followers.
Okay.
Oh, we need to tag.
Followers on what?
Tag.
On what?
We need to
On what?
tag.
You gotta
On
tag
TikTok.
them. What
We
do
need
you
to
tag?
tag. You're tagged.
So
He
you
just
gotta let
tagged.
everyone be tagged. Alright, you just jam.
Special shout out.
You know you on the TikTok. Shout out to all our followers that joined. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Okay.
Anyone follow?
Anybody else?
You want followers?
Special
No,
shout
no
out.
shout out for me.
Okay.
Special shout out to her future hubby.
Ooh.
Putting on the spot. Putting on the spot.
Yes.
J to the
But
O
you're
to the
here,
S
though.
to the
I
E
can't
to
do
the
that
P
to
to the
you.
H. Put you on the spot. You're a king, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hurricane.
DJ H2O, any special shout outs?
I'm last. Yeah, we gotta be guests.
Okay,
Everyone
special
else
shout
gotta
out.
get guests first.
To my Saga Gears family, boom.
Bex, any shout out?
To her mama.
Yeah, and to thank everybody here for having this
Oh,
and
thank
you.
to letting me be a part of it.
That's
This was
right.
awesome.
That's
Yes.
right. H2O?
Yeah, you know the typical shout outs. We gotta shout out Mr. G's Auto Care.
That's right.
You want your car taken care of in a proper way, and you want to feel like you're with a family setting. It is a family. Mr. G's.
That's right.
Jeez,
That's
man.
right. Special shout out to the one and only G.O.D. who gave us
Greatest of all.
a beautiful day.
Yes, no rain.
Cooled it down right now too.
Right, in time for the grill.
Beautiful people to hang around with and talk about
Yeah,
a
baby.
whole assortment of topics.
Yes.
Every single one of you have smart minds, and I am blessed and I'm grateful to be in the presence of all of you,
Woo!
including you, off-screen TJ.
You. Den
Shout
of
out to
Owl
Off-Screen
Network.
TJ.
Make sure you follow Den of Owl Network. He has a bunch of stuff. You need a videographer for this greatness that we have here.
Amen.
He's there for a Good feet.
That's right. And I'm also
Ain't
gonna
free.
shout out my brother, G Brown, Garfield Gary Brown. He has his own clothing line. PNR gang up in the house. If you want to order any clothes, any sweaters, any shirts, any hats, reach out to me. I will send you towards his info.
Amen.
And he's a great entrepreneur, great individual, great businessman. So we're gonna get that clothing line up and going. PNR gang, we're proud of you, Gary. Proud of you, brother. Proud of you. And to everybody joining us live and everybody watching, we thank you, we salute you. We want everybody to have a wonderful day, a wonderful week ahead. Be blessed. And at the end of the day,
hold on. Check the YouTube.
Check the YouTube.
You'll see this one will be out soon, maybe
In a week.
or so.
Mhm.
We'll have it put up, but we have other episodes on there. Check them out. Leave
Sure.
your comments.
That's right.
All of that. Follow us on the Instagram. Leave the comments or whatever there and all that stuff. You know,
Because
we are all we got. And we are for the people. And we have to thank the people and all the ladies here. And now, hold on. Even if you don't have in your cup, we're gonna raise a cup. Raise your, whatever you're drinking.
Green tea up in the house. We all we got.
We all we got.
We out.
Cheers.
Good job. Good job.
I need some spots and little spots.
You know you're old on your back when you get up.
It's like,
You got cracking going.
stop.
That's why I said you needed to take
Oh
that
my
break.
God.